will be able to clear him out. It's the SEN classic that goes to work for John QT.
All right, perfect. I think we're all Gucci now. How's it going, everybody? It's been a long time, a very long time.
And close the gap.
Artson wasn't able to recover a rifle, so a bit of economic damage.
Let me just lower this for a bit. I want this to be a little lower so I can hear myself, but I'll play it louder on stream. It should be good like that.
Saw this on Lotus. He was forced into a retake and actually ended up dying with the weapon late in the round.
Do a little Instagram
So he wants to control
message. Say I'm live. I haven't done an Instagram live in a long time, or Instagram story say I'm live in a very long time.
Will they be careful enough? Will they be playing around the potential of an AWP already?
There's a chance they probably expected to come up a couple of times
add
in
a
a
link?
series against mibr. It's actually been a bit of a pattern from Aspas in the past.
Sure.
On this map though,
This early?
and honestly on Split, taking it to me.
Link.
This is an mibr that have essentially fully economically committed to this. It's only Bruno and Shenum that have a bank after this round plays out.
Initially it looked like mibr would try and play forward, but they give this space. They hear Sentinels coming as they make enough noise to wake the dead. They'll hope that mibr will join them. Salvo's coming in second and bang takes a bunch of damage. Digital is able to win the fight on the
Sorry, Chad. I know we missed the first map because I was away. Yo, what's up, Cursed? Long time no see, bro. How you been?
But he finds the trade nonetheless.
John wins out that
Cursed,
fight
if you're
as well
free
without
tonight and you want to
taking
play
any
some
damage.
games, there's a
So
possibility I might try to get a stack going. If
on the last
it's
cannon op, has to find a way
not
to
with the
clear this.
casters, I know
Two,
Ginny
by the
asked,
way,
but
Shenum, bro.
I'm gonna see who's playing what, and then we'll try to
The
organize.
spike is off to Shenum's
Hopefully you've
left.
been well, dude. Hopefully
This is
the
very
grind
dangerous now for Sentinels, who
has
have
been going well
no
as well on
neutral
your
to
path to
speak
pro.
of.
30 seconds left.
None.
Want you to be the next
To do a thing he can let off.
Verdi.
Player standing.
Easy.
And by the way,
I need to
they've got an
turn
AWP.
on my
Just discovered
epic
that
pen.
little tragic fact.
Yep, the other shoe dropped at the worst time for Sen.
Where'd my epic pen go after I clicked it?
John, left alone, saving the rifle, doesn't have
10 seconds
a
left.
single dollar to his name at the moment.
Where the hell my epic pen go?
Yep, shuffling away in his little
Just don't want to open?
MIBR, they fully committed economically to this round.
It's okay. Oh, it's there.
Beautiful.
Word. Rough showings, I would assume.
Aspas actually had full armor, so wasn't quite as risky as we'd expected.
Dude, why is my epic pen not opening?
And very quickly, he's gotten back into the half in a big way. The game has now shrunk to a one-round difference, and Sen are coming into this one.
Oh, man.
Bro is a turret. I mean,
Sorry, chat won't be too long. Just need to open my.
He finds that first kill on
Oh, there it
the
is.
move.
My epic pen finally opened.
I think Shenum killed at least one through the Viper wall. Tough though. Tough
Were you
round
guys trying to
20%.
grind through
Looks like
Premier
we might be looking at an even
and make it to
ledger.
challengers and just have a
They're
small
on
little
an
break?
Interesting buy right now. John and Zekin, not a lot of
My
cash
quality
left,
seems
a lot
pretty
of
ass.
slayers, and Zekin has been thrown the hero rifle.
It is
John
ass.
saved, and Zekin has been
There we
thrown
go.
the hero rifle that John saved from that.
Yo,
rifle.
DT.
Interesting as
Thanks so
Carson
much for the
picked
resub, brother.
Rancid, folks. In case
How
you're
you been,
wondering.
dude? How's the
Zekin, though, with that hero rifle,
how's the flight back and everything been? I haven't been online since I came back home. I was just spending most of my time chilling with the family and chilling with the wife.
Dangerous. Wayward spray through the smoke, but the traces aren't there.
I did see that you streamed for like 2 days though.
And MIBR, they have found themselves again in this. Not again, for the first time this season.
You're in another fight
Aspas
right now.
has
What the fuck
off
you
on a
doing?
Retake. This is going to be difficult and man disadvantage. Zekin, what a timing! He can't collect onto Verno, but no one from MIBR was in position to swing.
Big damage. Sen, I'm gonna
Oh wait, I
go
was gonna.
Aspas
Oh yeah, I
goes
remember now.
crazy.
You were gonna fly back to fucking
Takes
see
one for the team.
finals.
Zekin is down.
I thought it was for Split 2. I'm stupid.
Bang is very, very
Are you
low.
staying with
Just a
Prius?
single quartet left for Sentinels now, and Narrate is trying to let those shots ring out across the map.
Oh, and a low HP bang was just forced out into
Nice.
the open. The clock is getting so low.
Dude, your
that
Wi-Fi is
MIBR
good enough on the
haven't
plane
even
to
really
fucking
scaled
watch
into
the stream.
site
That's
Cortezia
fucking
down.
dedication.
Verno was very, very low.
And you have
This
enough
is so
Wi-Fi
dangerous,
on your
and Aspas
plane
tries
to
get
watch
in
the
there.
stream and to
And
give me a
Narrate's the
sub,
last
bro.
one standing. Has he done enough
This
for
guy
Sentinels?
owns. Yeah, he
The
definitely did
answer
enough.
is yes.
So much delay was caused there. The fight's over towards ramp that Zekin was taking. No one could actually.
Let me just make sure I have the
trade
right
onto him.
internet
He was
on
just
as well. Give me one
delaying
sec,
and
chat.
drawing attention with
Yeah.
the
Chat, we're gonna
flashes.
lose the stream for like a quick second. I'm gonna go should have way better internet now.
Economic situation.
More burnouts.
Player standing.
Oh shit, so your players got picked up? Damn, you guys were
What a moment over there
that
at
promising of a team, huh,
Well,
Cursed?
it's like a tsunami of fudge. Another good time. I don't know what I'm looking at. Aspas dives in. Zekin's is flashing.
Stop, start.
Got his one. Here's that dimensional drift.
Has invested into the operator yet again, positioned over towards A, where there are a lot of potential targets coming his way. Zekin doesn't clear out screen. He needs to prioritize backside so they don't know that the hitting
No defensive initiator ultimates available.
I thought it would just like
MIBR
re-pick up, but I
nothing
just had to
but
close
outside
OBS and
Barnes
restart
into
it. But I think we're good now.
Cover is perilous for
But yeah,
Shen.
sorry, I was on that. Thanks, DT. I was on that topic that some of your players in your team got scalped. That's amazing.
Emerges out for a spray. Cortesia eats it. And somehow Zelsis gets
That
away
means
with
that
more. He's done so much
you had a
damage
fucking good
here.
team.
He's looking to reach even further. But that likely will be enough. That operator got recovered.
If you know what I mean. Yeah, so basically he's trying to build the organization to be more profitable. So pick up good players. Pick up good players, sell them. Pick up up and coming hungry players. Don't give them too much money. And then you cycle until you have a winning team. What's up, Sid?
Is going to cause so much confusion, and I love how Zelsis plays.
How you been, Sydney?
I mean, this is
Wait, I'm saying Sydney as if I knew Sid was short for Sydney. I don't even know what your full name is. How are you doing, Sid?
Yeah, he's paranoid.
He's trying to shoot him. I mean, Cortesia can only laugh it off.
Did he get paranoid by... No. Did he get hit by Cortesia? Is that why he was partially blinded? I think Cortesia hit both Shadow.
We would need another replay. It's
I think he hit both of them.
It's possible.
Oh, that's
Yeah, what's up, Malik? How's it going, dude? Welcome back as well.
All right. That is pretty devastating. Prod here, starting to wrinkle the brow in concern. First map wasn't the outing that MIBR were hoping for. A much better start here on Split has all but fizzled out.
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, Chad, I missed the first map. We only started watching now because I was spending time with the family. Technically, I was supposed to come after the second series, but when I picked up my kid from school, or sorry, from daycare, he did look like he was having a good time. As in like he, I think he was feeling sick. So brought him home, tried to have dinner, but he didn't want to eat too much, and he was starting to get like fussy and crying and stuff. So I calmed him down, and then we gave him some milk, and then we just put him to bed. So now he's just like in bed chilling. So I'm like, okay, well, if he's going to bed, and my wife is tired too, and she's gonna go to bed early, I'm gonna stream earlier than anticipated. So now we're here watching this game. But I've been good. Outside of that, I've been good. I'm finally less sick. DT, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not coughing as much anymore. But the thing is my allergies are hitting here. So now my eyes are watery, dry, itchy. My nose is leaking all the time. It's fucking great. I fucking love life. How's that meme go? Actually, I don't even want to say that meme.
Bang is patient. King of the off angle, they say, but Cortesia bests him.
Just swings a little wider than
what do we got for a buy here?
He had his crosshair placed.
Shit on pit on middle. No fault line yet, no salvos yet, so you can start activating around the map now for Sentinels. They were playing this so passively. I was gonna say, as they were playing this so passively, there was an opportunity to like scale. This kill would have forced probably a rotate and give you some A control. Now everything is just gonna be different on how they're gonna scale around the map. I think they're just gonna pincer maneuver him. Right now, fault line salvos. You're waiting for that here from both the breach and a tail, maybe, so that Zek can come through. They decide not to do that and go for a hit towards a side contact play.
Sentinels are inching, scaling into heaven.
30 seconds
Looks like Werner's pulled himself back from mid-A side there. Aspas will see a player crossing if the time
Holy
is
shit,
correct.
Malik playing Sentinel instead of fucking Duelist?
Have to hold that
What's
position.
going on with my internet today? Zekin had a map on Lotus? Damn. Is he just like feeling it where he just wants to get the finals and win it?
He's going to go in, committed while stunned.
Oh, the double flash is good. Aspas
Bro,
gets away. Werner not quite
Zekin's
so lucky.
insane.
Shorting in hand, but John can handle it himself.
They still plant this.
Apparently. Just enough time for a plant.
Wait, Zekin's so good.
Shot here as well, which will delay a flood that comes in. But Zekin will be
Delay as much as you could. You have a second flash.
He's leaving. Narrate on his own for
He gets
the
his
time
kill,
being.
goes
Oh,
back
the
down
timing is
because
good.
it's not planted for him.
Shadow is down.
Oh my god,
Holds
they're
his own.
amazing.
And the House of Cards come crumbling down. Not even the ace up the sleeve.
You're on smokes? Yo, let's go. Let's go, Kirsten. Alright, sounds good, DT. Have a safe flight, man. I'll see you in I'll see you online from LA. How are you liking a smoke star, Kirsten? Isn't it fun? Not gonna lie, playing smokes is kind of easy for me. It's just difficult sometimes where I have to like drop smokes on the fly as Astra. But overall, smokes is it's kind of easy. I just don't play like fucking brimmy lineups, you know?
Second flash to follow it up.
Yeah, what's up, Zero? How's it going, bro? Long time no see.
Getting some ultimates online.
Hopefully you've been well.
Cortesia, great round the last one. Scales into B main, gets a second kill on Zelsis. This time, though, he will have his hands
yo, it's Van Silly. Someone pass me the banh mi, the one with the Vietnamese salami. Put that shit in my tummy. Let me munch on that, bite on that. Let me get a taste of that gooey, ooey, lardy.
He's hungry, and Cortesia served up like a snack. John will wait in the drop. Sees Artazine
The tech pauses look so much better today, by the way.
Will be a trade. Vernon gets involved.
I didn't watch the whole day of EMEA today, but I'm glad that it was just a short delay between maps or between series. It's just unfortunate though that the casters had to cast from home.
Into our grand final has the upper seed.
This Sentinels team are in such unbelievable form.
One tech versus everything in the whole season, we'll fucking take it. We'll take fucking anything right now, Sarah.
Unbelievable.
I'm like a fucking. I'm like a guy that's. I'm like a person who's trying to like I don't know.
Bro, you're so good, bro.
In withdrawal, and I need my fix. I need anything, you know.
I agree.
So give me a small tech pause, I'll fucking take it, you know. Yo, what's up, Hugger Logic? Long time no see. How you been?
People in agreement, I'm sure. MIBR again. They've been forcing. Another half arm around with a smattering of
Oh, bro, that's fucking funny, Sarah. So you're like, oh fuck, I gotta wake up then at some point.
Feels like the jury's about made their verdict.
You guys didn't even do like a fucking story beating or anything like that, Sarah, for today? That's fucking.
Oh,
man, we really went bare bones today just to make sure that the PCs fucking worked. I think EMEA said, fuck the show. Let's just make the PCs work, and it's a good show.
He will be allowed a way out.
Just has to cloudburst to...
Yo, what's up? Yeah. I've been good, Hugger Logic. Thank you. I was just telling DT earlier. I've been fighting a cough for like the past month and a half, which fucking sucks. I feel maybe it was like like a lung infection or something, but it's gone a lot better in the last 2 days. So I'm coughing a lot less, which is good. But I'm getting like my fucking spring allergies in Montreal right now. So my nose is like consistently leaking. My eyes feel currently dry right now. I think at some point I'm gonna turn off the spotlight and we might game in the dark today, chat, because too much light is just fucking my eyes right now. And yeah, my nose keeps leaking, so I can't stop fucking blowing my nose. And to be honest, I have no idea who the fuck to go for. I can't root for anybody between the EG G2 game. I think I'm just gonna like every single cool play. Because I love Potter, and I also love all the EG guys, but I also love Josh RT and all the fucking G2 guys. So I don't know who the fuck to go for today. I think for sake of competition, dude, even then, I don't even know. For sake of competition, would I rather have EG or G2 in Toronto? I think both of those teams would fuck on LAN. Right now, they're both at a turning point where they're both gonna fuck on LAN for G2 and EG. But the story also writes for itself. If G2 goes, they have a chance of redemption to get a Masters trophy this year, if they could reach another Grand Finals. If EG goes, it's going to be the exact same story as the fucking EG 2023 Champions run. So I don't know who the fuck to go for.
That was nicely done. 4 chances for Sentinels to close out this game and get into the Grand
Yesterday was a massive public holiday in Berlin, so we're planning on having a Rager. That's dope. That's dope. If SEN wins this series, they would have beaten the top 2 teams from the opposite group this split. So G2... Did they beat G2? They did beat G2. I casted that, didn't I? I can't remember. I did cast that. Yes, they beat G2 and they beat MIBR. If they beat this one here, and they'll beat Crew. They lost to Crew, right? Yeah, they lost to Crew, actually. Their only loss this season, this split, was to Crew in this group. I thought you casted 100 Thieves G2. I casted that as well.
Talk about a bounce back.
Like, honestly, this playoffs, Riv and I had banger games. Our opening game was C9 Sentinels, then Sentinels G2, then 100 Thieves G2.
Now it looks like they're in their element. Getting out that initial wave of utility from Sentinels, and then flooding back in here. Shenum gets that first kill onto Nere, and the awareness. I like now that on A, you can see that they're just ignoring ramp. On those
100
other
Thieves making you
ramps,
sad
they
again?
spend way
Yeah.
too much time
Dude,
trying to
honestly,
get the
like,
kill on the
also,
player there, force them
I felt
back,
this year,
and it just ended up
like this
wasting their own
playoffs,
time.
or these
So there,
playoffs, me
Shannon
going
says,
back to color
"Okay, have fun
commentator,
standing over there. There's also
Riv and I
somebody
hit a
there.
stride.
We're fighting towards the site
I
together.
think
We're gonna deal with you later."
I
And
think
they
the
did.
C9
They've
Sentinels
adjusted their approach there, and
a
it's
SEN
worked
game that
out
we
well.
casted
It's
was
just a
probably the
matter
best cast
of,
we ever did
is
so
this
far.
too little, too late? Still 3 chances for SEN.
Like, we're in
We've got
flow
enough
state and stuff
money
like that
to
too.
buy when we get into this next
The
round.
only thing that I didn't enjoy, unfortunately, was the, like, for example, the 100 Thieves and G2 game was actually super fun to cast. I think we really did for that one. But I think like closing stories, you know, like eliminating 100 Thieves, talking about their run, talking about the game, or even the closing moments with G2 winning and 100 Thieves are about to get eliminated. I felt Riv and I were a little bit off sync, but I haven't had that discussion with him yet. But this is just me reflecting off the cuff. But I just felt like Riv and I were a little bit off sync on how we wanted to like close that series, and to like really put the sense of urgency that 100 Thieves were about to get eliminated and that they needed to do something. But outside of that, everything leading to that was actually quite nice, and I quite enjoyed it. I've been doing a good job highlighting the macro stuff. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. That's my goal. That's my goal as a color, is to try to mention like the easiest shit from a gold platinum level, because I'm plat diamond myself. But just try to explain like what are they trying to do without having to think like 3 steps ahead. You know what I mean? It's like, just if I think 3 steps ahead and try to like really go into the whole, if this, then this, then this, then this, and this, and try to do that, it's boring to listen to in the first place. And secondly, maybe people won't be able to catch on to the story, you know what I mean? Or the explanation that I'm trying to bring. So like, you pick and choose whatever you want to lock into when you want to explain the macro things, or just explain from a color perspective. What do you mean you're immortal? I wish. One day, if I become like a full-time content creator, I'm gonna join that Japanese sniper team, and I'm gonna fucking grind to immortal. I'm gonna be able to fucking first 45 plus 40-year-old fucking rating player in Valorant. Every time you cast 100 Thieves, I just hope you don't cast a curse it. Technically, I didn't cast a curse anything for 100 Thieves because they were always playing from behind. Wasn't I right? No, actually, they weren't. Dude, those games went into like overtime and shit. No, Malik?
His Armageddon, but Aspas shuts down the duelists of Sentinels.
Dude, I appreciate that, Sarah. That's 100% the goal that I'm trying to reach when I'm doing my cast. So I'm glad that it hits and it resonates that way.
Rolling Thunder is going to stop them from Artzin.
Narrate hit by Headbang, trying to drop down. Spike is trying to get there, and it's not going to happen. Narrate has a knock.
Yo, this game's going OT, chat.
Everything falls apart for Sentinels. Bizarre round.
Yeah, yes, I did. Thank you. They were so fun to cast.
It seems like they could never get their plans online because of mibr controlling so much of the map towards
What I did, Sarah, was pretty much everything that I'm doing currently when we're doing these watch parties. Like, you're already seeing how I'm looking at the game. So now I'm treating my color casting as if I'm doing a watch party without having a fucking yap the whole time. Because this time I have a play-by-play to like do the micro shit. I felt like when I used to be play-by-play last year in the combination with Riv, I had to do a little bit of color and a lot of play-by-play. This time I do like an inch of play-by-play, but like a mile of color, which is, it suits me better. Well, it suits the duo better. And I think it allows Riv to be more in his element as well in his play-by-play. He had some good calls in our cast as well.
They're going to slink away to the B side of the map. This will allow mibr, though, getting
there are still like some minute nitpicky things that I would like for us to work on, but we haven't done a VOD review since we came back, and we probably won't do one until we get like closer to the second split, and then we'll get into the lab, and I'll fucking jot down everything I'd like for him and I to work on.
Potential dangers if Narrate gets, when he gets the spike down, he'll have the rolling.
But until then, focus on challengers, focus on game changers. Cross our fingers that we get Toronto. Although Toronto's coming in like a month. I think my chances are slim now.
So they might allow for a plant. Now right with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, honestly, Sarah, it's kind of like of a blessing and a curse because we're pitted against some fucking top tier casters in Americas. You know what I mean? You got Brett and Josh, Mitch and Uber, Mitch and Wyatt, Mimi and Ender, Doug and Baby Bay, and then Riv and myself. Like we have to be on top of our game. If not, we're just fucking getting all the shit games or whatever, you know? Or we not necessarily get all the shit games, we just lose opportunities.
Numbers are even. Berno got it to half, and narrator's lining it up. He's got to stop this. The defuse for Berno. It's happening.
Oh my gosh, Stinger Bite almost won it.
The Stinger is getting so much damage off.
And he's got Armageddon in round 24.
And it literally just comes down to the fact that MIBR had.
You have to go to Toronto. It's going to be your first Valorant. Nice. You're going, Malik? Nice. I don't know when they're going live, Sid. Sid, are you going to Toronto as well?
Beating out of my chest there, man.
To give up the side, like against a team that.
If I do, you'll see the announcements, Malik, and then we can maybe work it out.
So scary.
But for now, I just keep my head down and work and see what happens.
That's still online. Berno with an Armageddon to play with.
You're hella broke right now. Word. I feel you. I feel you.
Armageddon ready by finding the kills, getting that spike defuse as well.
Hold on, let's focus on this last round. We have Armageddon versus Rolling Thunder here as well for both teams. What's my control shift one?
MIBR bring us to OT, winning a string of rounds.
Says they're just playing contact for now. They're trying to create space here. And then they'll probably finish here, unless the Viper moves over. It just depends what happens here now.
Retake mode. That's the mentality by the sounds.
But they are taking control of B main. I do like that decision from the two players here that they have.
So they are definitely trying to do a split. You need to try to pull this rotate, but it's not going to do much. The reason why it's not going to do much is because of these two players right here. The two players right here, they know that this has to be a fake.
Chunks of catnip out there and hope for the best.
Is committed in the site right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could play soft.
Find a kill. He just needs to, at very least, he's got to go 1-for-1 here.
He's walking up on this.
Oh, he just got hit.
Shorty pulled out.
Shorty kill maybe.
Only Aspas would go for this kind of play, and only he'd make it work. It's only good for one though. Zell says very quickly.
I feel like because they had two players over here, they probably should have had like maybe one like. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like maybe with the two here, one jiggles here, one watches B main. And then you have just three still on this side. It's over because of that now. Because I was going to say, it's nice that they have these two so they can stronghold this. But now if it's 2-1-1-1, this guy has to play soft. You have no choice.
Sentinels will advance to our grand finals with a map advantage. Get themselves set up for another crack at international glory.
This Sentinels that we're seeing on this playoff run has been the best SEN that we have seen.
You want to eat the good food? Dude, if ever you make it to Toronto and I'm there, dude, somehow, like by pure luck and draw, we both make it, we'll go out. We'll go out and I bring you to the Vietnamese restaurants out here, out in Toronto. I got 3-4 spots I like. Alright, banger game about to happen though. We're here for this.
On fire. Both maps, 20+ kills. Bang on defense for split was really incredible. John's util, I mean, there's a lot to talk about as far as the quality we saw from SEN today. MIBR, they started to really step it up towards the end, but it just wasn't enough. It was too little, too late.
I mean, we've been waiting for this matchup for all of this stage. Wanting to see what these two teams would look like. It's a bizarre
Oh shit, you live in Toronto for 6 months in your mid-20s? Bro. So, if you've liked Vietnamese food in those years, you probably remember like Golden Turtle, Joel Vang, Golden Turtle. But because Golden Turtle was always like so packed in downtown Toronto, there's a new restaurant. There's like a second place that people go after. It's called Pho Tin Tan, which is like just down the block. And now that restaurant became Michelin recommended. More than Golden Turtle. How crazy is that, huh?
I've got to say, stunning stuff on this B side, backed up by the double initiator util that stuffed every fast hit that came out from MIBR. This one especially. Aspas could get nothing going on the first half.
That's certainly one of
One sec, chat. I'm just gonna go full face so I could look at. I'm gonna open Discord.
So on point in regard to providing the
I already have it open.
Utility
Never mind.
Guys
We're
like
good.
Zekin could capitalize off of, and on defense, Bang could capitalize off of.
That's not what I wanted. Is it watch party? There we go.
Dodge that wave of stuns, damaging abilities coming at them. The strategic.
I was gonna say like, but
is
Berlin's not too bad.
so
But then
lights
Berlin,
out.
I didn't have the
It's
best
really the
Vietnamese
best thing we've
restaurants,
been seeing all year.
best Vietnamese
And
experiences
again, on the
in
MIBR
Berlin.
side,
But
Shaq
you have
was the better
Donaire,
player over the
so
whole series.
Yeah,
Aspas
definitely.
was muted, basically absent in that first map. Lotus was
That's what I'm
really
saying.
Tough. I mean, when you come into a series against a team
Dude,
like
they don't even have fucking
and you
sriracha,
score
bro.
that Lotus
They don't even have
you've
sriracha,
absolutely
nor
got to
fucking
take it away.
hoisin sauce.
That's tough. To bounce back like they did on Split, very impressive. Not enough against a team of Sentinels caliber. Let's now
They
head
don't
over to
even
Rick
have
down the
that.
stage for the Verizon post-match interview with Narrate.
They don't even have that in fucking Berlin.
Thank you, gentlemen. Great cast on the day. I am joined by Narrate from SEN.
Yo, it's my duo.
Locking grand finals. That map.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Well, it's
Melbourne's
gotta feel
pretty
good.
close,
You guys
too.
are gonna be going into grand finals set up perfectly.
Wait, how come
Gotta
everybody has
ask you
fucking
there
no
at the
strips
end,
now?
though. Start to get
Is this
close
some new
again.
meta?
A little
No strips to
reminiscent of
fucking
last
breathe?
week. What's kind of been plaguing the team in those last moments, but what's the solution as well to make sure you win the map?
What's fun for a viewer if you don't have an easy win? Like, come on. We're making it close for the fans.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. And you had a pretty hot game today, especially on Split. How are you feeling? How are things going for Narrate?
I mean, I'm still obviously a little bit inconsistent in terms of, like, you know, how I am feeling when I go into the game, but overall, like, as the longer the game goes on,
I would have to
like,
try
better.
Vietnamese food in
So,
Melbourne,
it's
or
good.
at least in Australia.
Heck yeah, you've seen
But I
Mendes
had
so
Viet
much
food
more
in
emotion
Orange
on
County
stage.
in
You're
Los
super
Angeles,
happy,
and
you've-
it's
since the beginning we saw you kind of
It's
being
pretty
your
good.
biggest critic.
It's pretty mad
What's
good.
been the solution to that, and just kind of like getting past that and focusing on the game the whole time?
I mean, you just said it yourself. It's just try to focus on the game mainly, and, like,
Okay.
obviously mental really matters a lot in this game. Just trying to focus on, you know, staying healthy as possible, you know, everything outside of the game, keeping it all in check,
Hell
and
yeah.
then in-game.
All right, I'm
the
listening to
results will
Narrate.
come.
I hit the
And I'll
gym
talk
today.
about that
Now I'm
in a
going to try to be more
picture.
consistent again.
Back to grand finals. What's different about the squad here that's going to make a big change as you guys go into that best of five?
You know what can help you,
I mean,
Sarah?
individually, we're
You live in
all
Berlin,
online
dude.
right now, I feel.
It's like the home of
And,
fucking
I
techno
think that's like
clubs.
the biggest thing. Like, we have the strategy, we've had
Just
the
fucking hit some
strategy.
after
It
hours,
just
bro. Live
comes
that
down to
fucking,
whether on the game
live
day
that
are we
fucking
ready to
EDM
play.
life.
And the team coming together to be ready to play. It looks like you guys are really coming online. What's it been
I
like
see.
growing with Sentinels?
Derek.
How's it been with these guys
Yay.
over the course of this stage?
Yay.
This stage has been
Superman,
great.
Unk.
I'd say over the course of the team, it's been a little tough for me. I mean,
Okay.
as you could tell, in
You don't
the
like techno?
performance, But I
It
think
grows on
overall,
you.
like,
It grows on
we
you.
are
I didn't
growing
like
really
techno.
well
I
as
didn't
a
like
team,
trance.
and we're
And
constantly
both of
learning
that
new
shit
things
grew on
as we
me.
go about ourselves and, you know, about how to play the game. So yeah, it's just great to play.
That's amazing. Anybody super got your back out there?
On the team?
Yeah.
Oh, you know who it is. It's John QT.
Okay.
He's
okay.
him, bro. He's a little sly guy. He'll make some wise jokes out of nowhere. Like, he'll have quote of the day out of nowhere, and you just like, yep, this guy. Every time. It always brings a smile to my face.
That's amazing. And as you continue to move on, you've been learning under one of the big brains, Kaplan. Final question for you. What's that been like to kind of learn and be tutored by that guy?
Yeah, I mean, the difference between KC, like my old team, and
Yeah.
Sentinels is that I was like the star player of KC. So
Okay.
the team was built around me, and now I'm kind of like fitting into a team that is already existing with tons of ideas and strats. So it's definitely been a bit of a struggle at the start, but I think I'm slowly learning how to implement how I want to
Dude,
play.
this is sick how
with they
Narrate's
wanna play.
answering these
I think it's
questions.
working really well now.
I like
Awesome
him.
insight.
He
Narrate,
doesn't
thank
seem
you
like
so
a
much.
fucking
Let's hear
cocky
one
kid,
more
you know?
time for Sentinels. Narrate, locking in the grand finals with the squad today over MIBR in a fast 2-0 fashion. And don't go anywhere. On the other side, we are going to have the analysts starting up our next match. That's going to be G2 Esports versus Evil Geniuses. Don't go anywhere.
It was too good for you, Mie? Dude, what happened? What happened to KC? Because weren't they like fucking good at kickoff? And then what happened after at split one? Did Narrate just figure out how Narrate plays? What happened? Or just not Narrate, but like KC as a whole. Aang is an overrated coach. Does that make M3C overrated outside of Nats and Chronicle?
The human body was
Yo, what's up, friendliest Titus? Marty was crazy in kickoff too and just stopped shooting for the rest of the... Ah, that's unlucky, dude.
for 12 hours
That's
a day.
unlucky.
It's time
Wait, didn't they have... They had two guys, right? They had Martine and somebody else.
Lab Titan Evo
There was somebody else I'm thinking about here for
for you.
KC. Tomashi. Wasn't Tomashi also owning a bit?
Backing your every move.
Carmine Corp. Yeah, Tomashi. That's what I was saying. Like Tomashi, both. Like I was watching kickoff and I was like, narrate's chill and all, but Tomashi and Martin are kind of fucking like on one. Shit, and I didn't even know he fucking played for KC, dude. Yo, what's up, Gary? Who's the third guy? Sarah. Redgar? Redgar's playing tier 2 or something right now, right? Or is he playing with Na'Vi? I can't even remember anymore. I can only remember Chronicle. Yeah, I can only remember Chronicle and Nats right now. They look like a Heretics clone? Exactly, that's what I was thinking too. And then suddenly Heretics kept coming up and then KC just fucking went a downward spiral. But I don't know what slowed them down when they were doing so well during kickoff. You know? Did they crumble after kickoff? By the way, chat, have you watched the EG comms from yesterday?
Shoes are off.
Bro, I love this. Let's watch this. Let's watch this while we wait for the second map to start. Actually, let me see who's on the desk. I want to see if Mimi. I think Mimi's on the desk, right? She has to be on the desk. Because I want to see if after this cast, if they're gonna 5-stack. But I would assume that their 5-stack would be like Ren, Josh, Wyatt, Mimi, and Dan Dryad. But if they need me, I'll join. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna message Ren right now. Ren, if you guys are stacking tonight and need one, let me know. But see, that's the thing. Were they that ahead of the meta though? Because a lot of teams are still running Neon. I think they were like the unstoppable team on Sunset, if I remember correctly. There was something on Martin on Sunset that was just like really good. Oh, KC with best Euro adopters. Word. Well, let's see what's on the desk here. And let's watch this hype video too.
It's going to be a real tough game. They've been to the finals before, and they've been looking like probably the strongest like NA team.
Knowing this game is the do or die match, definitely a lot of pressure.
In my eyes, it's like you have to beat everyone, you know.
You know who unfortunately is not living up to my expectations? It's Na'Vi.
I think the game plan
when Na'Vi picked up Koala Noob, I was like, this is perfect. Like Angel needed a fucking Euro player. You know what I mean? Angel needed a Euro player because he was playing it himself or some shit. And I'm like, bro, they got Koala Noob. Koala Noob outside of Jet cannot play Raze, so he's just gonna play like Jet Chamber and fucking Yoru. And I thought it would have been perfect for Na'Vi. And then suddenly it still didn't work out in the system, which is unfortunate. Yeah, exactly, Titus.
To take down G2 today, I mean, it would be a crazy moment. All the hard work and conversations we've had.
Hard capture ceiling? Is it because you think that he overcooks? Are they trying to play a game too elaborate? They also do some funny shenanigans though, you know? Oh, Mimi is on the desk. I don't know if they'll need me to stack or not.
Someone is going to be very unhappy at the end of this day, but someone is going to be feeling quite good because they'll be seeing the great white...
Yeah, I would agree that he dies too much to be on smokes, which is why I say the shenanigans thing. Because he just fucking like TPs out in the open, dies, or like tries to go for a pick for first blood as an omen, and then there's no more smokes for an exec. Okay, so while they're slowly yapping, let's watch this.
The dogs are f***ing out. Let's do this shit, team.
Heard that.
Yo, Superman, chat. Superman is called Unk by the team in the team, which is fucking hilarious. Because Superman is like way younger than I am, which is funny. But he's got so much vibes for the team, which I didn't expect this coming out of Superman. I thought he was just like a silent fragger, but this is very fun to watch. I feel like he definitely stopped after like doing a little bit of throwing after like split 1 of last year. I would say yes. Also, Shao isn't like the Shao that I remember from like very similar to the era of M3C, you know?
Get close to this.
I'm gonna flash in the box. Ready?
Go, go, go.
You're rooting for EG, right? You seem like a cultured person with
I have
taste.
one smoke. I'm smoking dish.
I don't know who to go for. I don't know who to go for. TLDR, love both coaches. I'm very good friends with both Josh RT and Potter. Both of them and I go way back from like 20 years ago. So I always have mad respect and fucking love the shit out of those two. I love both rosters. And it's like from storyline to personality wise, like I love all 10 players in the server. I do connect more with EG though, because I went out drinking with them as well. Like I hung out with Supa, and actually it was just Supa. It was like Supa, Potter, me, and a couple of talent, and they're like super chill. But we went to meet with everybody for ice cream before we went to the bar and like split off. So like they're super nice, like down to earth kids, very hungry kids wanting to win. But G2's very much the same. I don't hang out with the G2 players, but like within the server or with, like in the hallways and shit, and I see them in the hallway, like we dab and shit, and we catch up and have a good time. So love both rosters. And like I said, Masters Toronto, both stories will write for each other, right? Yay, back on an international stage since fucking Optic. EG, back on a fucking Cinderella 2023 Champions run with a brand new roster, building around Superman. G2, if they make it to Toronto, a chance to make back to a grand finals and win and finally win a trophy. First team coming from Ascension and Challengers that wins a fucking Masters trophy ever. That's gonna fucking blow up the tier 2 scene even more. Like if you look at how like orgs potentially, I can't say offhand, but like I feel like it would drive a lot of growth and attention to the tier 2 scene if people are going to continue to talk about the story of G2 coming from the guard and then coming from fucking Challengers.
Go, go, go. I'm gonna quick
It is
right.
insane G2's in the lores.
Close right, good. Top side dead.
Nice.
Me too, Gary, in theory.
After missiles.
He's dish.
I'm firing right now.
Get on, get on, get on, get on.
Look,
This full sick, full sick, full sick.
if you put a gun to my head and you want me to predict a team
Yes, we did. We got
to
it.
go between EG and G2,
Oh my.
I'd just be like, shoot me. I can't think of it anymore. I was gonna pick one, and as I was about to utter the word, I was like, nope, I can't fucking go for either team more than the other. They both deserve it so much, and I love both teams so much.
I am 20.
Yo, what's up, Kratos? Long time no see, dude.
Don't know Cypher.
I'm gonna go to the right now. You're going to the right.
Like I would say, let's go EG, but then Josh RT would fucking get the clip and fucking hate me. And then I'll say like, go G2, and Potter would message me like, yo, bro, what the fuck are you going for G2?
Okay, I'm gonna open door. Can we all fight?
On tap, on tap, on tap, on tap. Now, go. 100 on the end, okay? Go.
This is a 2.
Stun at 2, stun at 2. Just wait for stun and missiles.
Okay, call it.
Go now.
One peeking. Going wide, Nick. One fizzing. 100, 100, 100.
I think the comms are pretty smooth as well in how EG plays.
Wait, I'm grabbing my ult.
Okay, I think this is where Superman gets a 2K.
Ult.
No, this is the IC. I think.
I'm ulti tower.
Is this the one?
One is arcade.
Yeah, this is the IC Superman 2v2 that they win. So it's not this one.
Taking off.
Nice. Lane.
I'm playing with him, playing with him.
No more
Go,
4
go.
AM America's
Tap next.
games? True.
This one. He's holding me.
And he
No stun,
turns
no
to
stun.
Flash too before, man. That's sick.
Nice! My revenge. This guy.
Go ammo.
I love how in this video also, sometimes it's censored a bleeping from Fox, but sometimes it just blatantly just says fuck.
They might touch you there. They might touch you there.
Marketing.
But we're technically not in the land of United States with McDonald's. We're in the land of fucking Tim Hortons per block.
The tower, I'm jumping on.
Tower.
Both trips down. No trips. No trips.
Have this canteen run.
Yeah, I'm in. 120.
Hyper canteen.
They're pushing through. They're sprinting through. There's 120 in the end. There's double flank. One tower, double flank. Two flank.
All right, here it is.
Fight this tower guy.
Here it is. Here's the uncall.
Okay, leave him.
The vibe censoring, true.
Careful with B-man.
Yeah, just like the replay censors, 100%, 100%.
You have stun, Nick. And missiles.
Yeah, walls.
Walling up, yep.
I like their
One
herd
shot.
calls.
In front of you.
Absolute. Nice.
Nice, Unk.
Yes, sir.
This guy's doing, bro.
Oh, make this guy pie. Make this guy pie.
Actually, no. The funniest one, I'm not going to play the whole thing because I do want to watch the pregame, but the funniest part is this part right here. Okay. Chat. Pay attention to nature. Nature's about to fucking get killed here.
Tag.
Reloading. Yellow.
Hold on, right here.
Talking him.
Together, guys. Together.
The whitest boy. The fucking whitest boy I know. fucking drops a doma like a fucking real Viet. He said the accent perfectly.
Yellow,
Listen to
yellow,
this.
yellow,
Listen to
yellow.
this.
Yellow. Talking him. Together, guys. Together. Ready?
It's so good. It's so good. Oh my god, he sounded Soviet on that one. Soviet. And it fucking dude, that threw me when I heard it the first time.
All things considered, but what G2 are doing is
Who gave him lessons? 100% Superman. So Foe and Nature gets so much Vietnamese training from fucking from Superman. Because as much as I call Derek my Vietnamese duo, with Superman, Derek is actually half Chinese, half Viet, and he doesn't really speak Viet. I think he speaks more Chinese than he does in Viet. Because when I saw him, I'm like, yo, what's up? And I started speaking in Vietnamese, so I was like, sorry, bro, I don't understand. I was alright, it's all good. And then Superman came from Vietnam in like 2008, so he's still pretty fobby, you know what I mean? Dude, 100% he practiced it for days. If anything, every practice, I would only assume that it's just doma all the time.
Have an IGL like Valen who puts up some great numbers and good calls in the server. We had an opportunity to
What is the win rate, Gary, in theory? I didn't see that ticker. I would assume it would be still pretty high though, because their stinger buys are so successful. I'm gonna turn off this light chat. It's hard in my head.
The team has been pushed this season.
I mean, yeah, season on the line. Map
Little headache.
Down 11-6, I gotta say so, but it feels like every game.
6-2 enforced buys? That's
it feels
insane.
Like the hardest one we've had, so I'm expecting the same thing today. We've been battling a lot of adversity, but coming out on top. So we're just maintaining a lot of composure, and I'm proud of the guys. Hopefully, we can do it again today.
What do you think the key to maintaining composure in that game was?
Man, I think it just comes down to people being clutch in the moment, like people stepping up, taking lead, taking charge for others, helping each other when we're down. Sometimes Jogamo steps up and helps the team with the comm. Sometimes I step up. Everyone is just so good at this game and so high IQ.
Man,
so
now that I think about it, should the story be EG to Toronto,
When you look back at the great
but then
teams in
G2
any
to
sport,
champs,
their stories are usually written in just a
and
few
wins
critical
champs?
moments. Those
I don't know.
moments are what define their legacy. Think about last year for G2. What do you remember clearly? Well, to me, they were the new team that ascended into the league. And the games that ultimately
everybody's
shaped
doing
their
monologues
story
now.
were faltering in back-to-back America's finals. Now think about this year.
Yeah, both the champs would be kind of sick because G2 would probably have a sick ass amount of points. You know what I mean?
Versus Sentinels after the addition of Jogamo. They cast off the curse of losing in back-to-back finals.
Oh, look at that fucking moving portrait from Jogamo.
They lived up to the hype.
It's like I'm fucking watching a Harry Potter fucking frame.
Even lose, but expectations weigh heavy, and things changed in Bangkok. It was a bumpier ride to the finals versus T1, but they made it there all
That's
the
my
same.
fucking jaw dog.
Then, on the final map,
Yeah,
they
it's a
couldn't take
magic
break.
mirror.
Talk about key moments. Virtually every single
A better
punch
magic
slipped
mirror than
away.
the
Any one of a
fucking
number of smoke
Snow White
spans,
one, right?
full diffuses,
Actually, I don't even know the
and
whole
connecting,
drama around
and
the Snow
they
White
would've been
shit.
victorious.
I don't even know why that
But
actress
going
is
on
getting
the
like so much shit.
It was disheartening to be sure, but still, they were right there. It was
Sorry,
in
chat.
their grasp, and people
Can
didn't
we
stop
educate
believing.
my fucking old
That could
fucking
all
senile
change today, because their
ass?
third year
Do we still say
defining season
actress in
right now
2025,
versus a fourth
or is
in
it still,
groups
or is it
evil
now
geniuses
actor
that
for both?
nobody believed in. It sounds insane.
Well, not even
to
both.
say it out
Is
loud,
it
but it's
actor for
true.
everyone?
You failed today, and G2 would lose the chance to defend their title here at home. G2 failed today, and they lose their chance to return to the global stage and do what they couldn't do the last time around. They'd become a team that washed out, that choked, that couldn't quite get it together after Bangkok, and we'd forget about them.
Yeah, this is our 3-wall. We got we call this a 3-wall here. We have a 3-wall here. On the right side over here, we have the wide wall, and then the one that we have in the desk is called the curve wall.
Today would rewrite the story of their year. It would cease to be about domination, but become about redemption. Even if they were to go on and win everything else,
Nothing wrong with specifying as far as I'm aware. Word. Yeah, I just don't know. Because I know at some point we generalized actor, actress to just actor. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I was corrected.
Hey, it feels that way with the talent team because we all feel for at this point, this has to be G2, except for Wyatt, the lone man.
Yo, Emi was at the desk today?
Defending evil geniuses, Mimi.
EG has a 4-match
Why is this
win
based?
streak. Their players are hitting the best
Why
form
is
they had
based?
had in years or ever for Ye and Icy.
So this
Super
is
serious.
our
This is a team
curve wall
that
because
is
it's
hot. But
a
G2,
huge ass fucking curve
whenever
wall.
they've lost in the past, they are always a team who
Oxy was at the desk too. That's
This
amazing.
is going to be it, folks. The last spot in Toronto is up for grabs. So let's send it down to the stage for Riv.
Oh fuck, we're fucking starting now, chat. Oh, never mind. We're doing EG
I am here with Potter. We're
Arrival.
just moments away from the match, and I have to ask, you're going up against one of the strongest teams.
Yeah, what's up, nerds?
Now, it's been since 2020.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really felt, I was just saying earlier, Nerks, I felt like Riv and I really hit a fucking stride on the casting this year, which is great.
Well, G2 have had a great year so far. They're fundamentally sound.
There were some moments where I wish our closings were a little bit better for the 100 Thieves G2 game, but overall,
Thank you so much.
we fucking
Good luck
killed
in
it.
the match.
I'm very happy.
All right,
Very, very
ladies and
happy.
gentlemen, it is time to get this elimination match started. So let's bring out our first team. Make some noise for Evil Geniuses!
Oh shit, they did the walk in from the back? That's fucking sick.
All on the line for this team. Evil
Wait, that's
Geniuses
kind of
in a
fucking sick.
position here where
I
they
like that.
Could very well shock the world. And this organization, that
I don't know if
coach
they
in
pre-taped to make it
particular,
live,
has
but that
done
was
just
sick.
that in the past with a bunch of misfits and brought them to a world title. So this isn't out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
for
Nerks,
Evil
I'm glad that
Geniuses.
it's working out as well, so I'm pretty happy.
Team is still coming
I think
in
Riv is
as
happy too to be
massive,
able to play
massive
again.
underdogs, and they will be the whole way through.
I see Derek Nature Gain 100%. 100%. Sorry, let me turn on my baby monitor to see if my kid's awake. If he wakes up and my wife's asleep, I'm gonna have to go upstairs to tend to him.
And actually make another global for EG.
I'm with
Oh, yeah,
Josh
he's passed out.
RT. You come out of one of your strongest splits as #1 seed, but now find yourselves in an elimination match. As kickoff champs, is a team that's expected to go international. What's the team's focus here to make sure that's a possibility?
Well, EG is a dangerous team for finding their identity so recently, but it's all about taking away their strengths, but also
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
showcasing ours. And I think we're going to try to exploit everything they showed so far and play our best game today.
All right, good luck in the matchup. Thank you. All right, let's bring out our second team in this elimination match. Their opponents, make some noise for G2 Esports!
And here comes the tournament favorite at one point in time, but now
That's cool.
they're in a
That's cool. I like
position
it.
No one thought
He's
they
loving
would
PvP. Let's go.
close in.
Let's go.
Lower bracket fighting for that last Toronto spot.
It was back-to-back 13-11.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool. The only thing is, like, I like the first one with Potter, but the second one with Josh RT, it feels like with the da-da-da, but that's also because as a spectator and watching Americas for a very long time, I'm very used to, like, analysts talking, and then once they're done talking, then you just call out the other team. But because they go into an interview, and then you just hear the background, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. It was getting like pressing to be like, oh shit, when are we gonna be done so we can actually get the team out? So there's definitely room to improve, where we could potentially remove a little bit more of the this part. Not now because the maps are out, but like the analysts talking, and then give more time for Riv and the coach.
Here is of course your series layout. You got Lotus, Split, Pearl, if necessary.
EG took
We'll be
Lotus,
making the
chat.
series layout here, team.
I think it's
EG
two good
took
maps,
Lotus.
honestly, to start for G2. EG's been really strong on Lotus, and I want to see
Bro,
G2
G2 is 9 and fucking 0 this season on Lotus, if I'm not mistaken. Because everybody batted against G2 this playoff. So that EG wanted to play this against G2 is fucking insane. But EG has also been playing Lotus quite well, but their positive results and where they find the confidence from is by beating Crew on this map. Twice, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I'm not convinced. G2's won this veto, chat.
Yeah, with the Clove comp, they're almost always playing Ye plus another player. Front B, ready to duel in that space. Map 2, we'll get to Split, and that's straight up.
Why pick Defender side on Lotus? I think they just know how EG plays.
I'd say that's one of the strongest maps for G2. A great place to go, especially.
Here's also something I want to myth bust, chat. A lot of people are saying that EG are very slow and methodical. But EG are only slow and methodical because they wait and see what their opponents are trying to do first.
Yeah, a lot of,
like for example
comfort
against
there
crew,
for
if they're always gonna like
teams,
fight against you,
which
why do you
gonna
want
make
to
this
force
first
the
clash
fight
that
at the
much
beginning of the
more
rounds?
interesting. Agents
Just let them come
coming up
towards
here
you
in
and you just
a
counter
second
util.
as we see what
I just
team's
feel they
gonna
probably,
be
if they have a
opting
good
for here, see
read
if we get any
on how G2 is gonna play,
shenanigans,
they could
but of course,
definitely
you're
up the
gonna see that pull
tempo
coming up for Ye.
against
Same composition
G2.
here with Ye on the clove. Icy picking into the Rays. We've seen this one quite a bit from EG thus far this year. I'm just
But yeah, I
excited
just
to
feel that
see
it's
if Icy and
it
Ye
would
can
be
keep
easy
form.
for
They've been
G2 to
so
take
good on this map.
defense
They have been the
against
reason
EG
that
just
has made
because
this
they have a good
playoff
comp.
happen. But he's gonna have
Good
to do it against
stalls,
the guy who took his job.
good pressure, easy and fast rotates, good shooters.
Series of all time. If Icy's gonna prove the haters wrong, if Icy's gonna
Yeah, and I would assume it's something that
face,
Bren
this
would
is the match to show
would
up.
underline a lot,
This is
Titus.
the moment. Masters Toronto is on the line, so let's go ahead and
But
jump into match one, shall we?
it makes sense. You're just trying to feel your team, and they're mostly prominent in the mid rounding for sure. Joy, oi, Unk, I love that.
Thank you very much, gang. Yeah, ready to get into this one here.
What,
The
Cat?
stakes have been set up
What an
beautifully, honestly. They
awesome
could be
fucking
simpler.
sweater.
Win and define your
I
year,
fucking
genuinely,
love
and I think
this
Korea's
sweater.
on the line with it alongside it, because G2, all expectations for them to be making it to Toronto, of course, but they find themselves facing off against an unlikely foe, which is EG in that lower bracket.
But
And the last two matches
like I
for
said,
G2 have been
I would not be
remarkably
surprised
good
if you're going to
games.
see EG
I'm so used to seeing
have
G2
faster
just
rounds.
slaughter their opponents. We thought there was a big gap in Americas between G2 and the rest.
100% Titus. The
You look at their loss
the wardrobe
percentile,
stylist are like, oh, you like
really
these,
tight win
Josh?
that
We're just gonna
G2
keep
managed to
buying
get
these
over
for you.
100
And then he
thieves.
just became
They are great
the guy
games.
wearing the
Nail
fucking
biters,
animal
edge
sweaters,
of
which
your
is
seat
hilarious.
kind of stuff. And if you look at this match, G2 have a
I
serious
feel like I
chance of
became
missing
like the
Toronto.
crop jacket
On
guy.
the flip side, EG have a serious chance of making it. Which of those would you say was more unlikely at the beginning of this
No
stage?
raid boss here for
I don't
Jogimo.
even know.
We're seeing that slow beginning.
Goes,
EG are
pull
known for
util,
defining themselves. Josh RT
pull
saying in that
util.
interview, hearing from him, that EG are a dangerous team. They're finding their identity, heating up at the right time.
I don't know if he does. I think he returns them.
And that's this
Look, you see what I mean,
double walk
chat?
forward.
It's been 120, only 20 seconds in. Two players walked in first and went contact and already did so much damage to Jonah P. I'm telling you, Potter and Foe are the type of team that would understand how their opponents play and just counter the fuck out of them.
And now it's Valen who has to back off as the door is open.
Look how they're pressing this so far.
Respect a lot of the space.
There's still a big fight happening towards A main, where Superman versus Jogmo is huge.
Maintain control as well over towards A rubble.
And this is really crucial because we've seen games where Superman just dominates by taking this really
Oh,
late
they gave up
A
all that
lurk
space
timing.
again now, though.
A
They
very
lost this, they lost
standard
this.
Slow round from EG so far, seeing if they can work a lurk. But
They need
generally
this
creeping
fight from
over towards
Superman.
C-mount.
Yeah, and now you might see the hit come through, but
He
still
missed
that
the
util was
missed the
safe for
prowler,
a
which is
rainy
fine.
day. G2 had it in their back pocket, trying to get the refight as
Oh,
well,
big
but
first
the
blood,
exchange
but there's
delay.
two
It's Valen who's
players that
gonna
are heavily
be first on the
damaged here.
drop. Quick little pivot now.
This is a big fight towards A still.
G2 are going to be waiting with open arms to try and absorb most of this
Oh, he's got to get the backstab.
Nature dropped into the
Oh, he dinked him and didn't kill him.
Already finding one of his own. Off to the side here. It's off to the extremities. EG going hunting for any chance.
Okay, wait.
To lay claim
They're
to this
all
side
low.
plan.
Jogamo and Jonah
Finally
P are
got
both
down here,
low.
defended in time here with a
Oh my
native
god,
back
Icy's
pocket,
popping
and
off again.
done. Icy and
Icy's
Derek
popping off again.
are tearing G2 to
Oh my
pieces.
god, let's go, boys. Chat, Icy
What a pivot
is
from EG.
shutting
Late
the
round
fuck
into B.
out of everybody right now.
Icy springs forward and takes heaven.
Including myself.
The team gets stuck a little bit in the choke
I was
point.
so caught up.
Jonah, despite his weak health, did
I was
everything
so
he could.
caught up the whole storyline that
Icy's
that
still on the
Icy
fight
is not the
really
perfect
opened
fit
the
for
door.
G2.
You're gonna see a
But
ton of this.
dude,
EG,
I met this kid
doesn't matter how much pressure
when they
apply
qualified to
throughout the early and
playoffs
mid
at the
rounds,
ice cream spot.
generally they're gonna be quite slow.
And
It's
he's
late
the most
round where
fucking
all the action
genuine, down-to-earth, selfless fucking kid. And doesn't deserve any of the fucking hate. Like, look at how, when he smiles the way that he does right now in this game, and he's so polite and would never rage, that's how he is in person. So, when you're receiving so much fucking hate from everybody, and you're still able to act this way in the server, dude, I'm a fucking huge-ass Icy fan. I will fucking protect this kid to my grave. Unless he does something bad. but outside of that, awesome. Yeah, yeah. So Icy's getting a lot of heat in general because he never had the fragging power or the star duelist aura of somebody that could just be the difference maker for a team as an entry fragger. And you also notice that sometimes in these games versus like EG where he needs to create the space, but he's not necessarily there to create the space. You know what I mean?
line. That's going to be
Like that. You see what happens there? He's like, oh man, Icy's always dying first. Icy's always dying first. He's such a shit duelist. Like, he can't entry for the team. But like, bro, he is a fucking clutch player.
If you can hold on to control of this one, it's a bit of an exchange. And look at this call by EG.
I like this. Yeah, decisive, fast.
I think with G2, where he got, for me personally, where he doesn't get as much hate, unwarranted hate, is because he's, oh my god.
Okay. Knocking the heads clean off the
Is that he's still very selfless, right? And in 2025 for me, he's not only selfless, but he's also fragging the fuck out of everybody, which I love. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree, Titus. I would agree.
Prime Ye is here for playoffs, man.
But the thing is like with mibr, he's still in like a fucking sick ass team. You know what I mean? So like with EG, with him dying or him fragging, people still don't think that he's a difference maker for the team.
From Icy when he was playing with G2.
At least that's my assessment when I try to get a pulse of the community on Icy.
Looking ahead for a bonus conversion as well. I mean, EG.
Nice metal fault line. Oh, he just got stunned by. That was a stun from Jonah P, right? That was very nice. Yeah, as he landed, got stunned, but I mean, these are good trades. Very good bonus. You get this orb and have ult. Yeah, give it to Ye.
Definitely not to be denied that share of blood, and there's no other response.
Now what could be good here is he's going in for the fight. Drone, get the information on that player. Yeah, open the door, and then Ye's gonna run in. Oh no. At least he got the ult, but that's gonna be Superman having to play a 2v1. And, okay, I was gonna say he's so focused on going to plant that he's not gonna be able to get a rifle, but he's getting a rifle now. Now he knows spawn is not necessarily clear yet, but he's gambling for it. Oh my god, what a shot by Superman. Oh, just saw him against Jogamo too. Oh, let's go.
Trying to get these wins on Lotus is a map. Up against Jorgamo though.
Flash himself too. Oh, let's go. Yeah, if Superman wins this.
And one to the chest will do it. Superman is in a sorry state in terms of the health, and Jorgamo primed.
Oh my.
Perched up there just onto the slightest of high ground.
Chad, this is going to be a good game, right? This is going to be a fucking good game.
That his former team might have been able to get going early on here.
That's a great bonus round.
I think you zoom out a little bit.
They get a plant out of it too.
They've done some serious damage to the economy there. Only Jorg left alive. They're on defense side G2 as well, so they don't even get plant money or anything like that to try to boost the economy. It's going to really hurt. They're going to be coming into the next round with light armor, guardians, this kind of stuff.
I was still pretty good from Jonah P to play off angle to get those 2 kills. Because you probably didn't expect him out there.
Josh RT with a little golf clap, but I don't think you can feel like that was the most decisive.
Big buy still.
G2's going to have a tough one here. Like I said, no Guardians, but Bulldogs instead. And a Judge.
Judge just played front B.
Just to get this buy together.
Leaf's position over here towards the front of B. This is something the analyst desk was talking about. You're expecting double walk-ups over towards B in a lot of these rounds, and Leaf putting himself in this position, expecting that at some point.
Probably this is a drone going out now.
At the same time,
at the minute mark.
You'd love to default over towards Mound, and then that door could get open from behind you, and you get put in a really tough spot.
Not much control for it here.
So right now they're trying to make noise here and probably figure out if there's anybody pushing forward on this side. So once they group up, they're going to start droning. Now that they met like so much opposition on that side first with their early drone, and now they have Superman inserted too.
Leaf could be in.
Leaf's going to be hearing a lot of this. Now the question is, do they cut noise, open the door, and flush Leaf out, or is this a commitment?
Jonah P's here too now. Oh, closes the gap for the opener is huge. Valen stunned. Oh, Jogamo's there for the help. That's what I was saying, man. The TP still available. Big fight coming up on towards door.
Chance to set past the threshold, and they should be aware of this one. Superman has been doing it against teams. More towards the tail end of stage 1. Trent fully aware.
It's bad clearing coming out from EG so far.
Derek's left to pick up the pieces in this.
You're like scaling and strafing out in the open, kind of, and giving an easy angle for your opponents.
Unlikely indeed. An inclination as to where Trent was, but got 9 seconds to do it, and they are right there behind you.
great idea of how Superman is going to
All
be
right, so that
lurking.
cancels everything,
This has
but
caught off a lot of teams.
you
We
still
heard
have
the analysts
Showstopper
talk
from
about the fact
Icy.
that you want to be flushing out these lurk players, but what's caught other teams like
2 away
Crew, for
from
example,
Pit,
off
2 away
guard
from
playing against
Armageddon.
EG, is that the lurks come so late on.
You guys think Potter, if Potter calls a timeout,
25 seconds
they're
left on
going
the
for it.
clock. Still watching for a lurk at that point in the time is
I don't think you call a
tough.
timeout,
Not many teams
but
play
if
that
Potter
style.
calls a timeout, they're gonna orb max and try to get a
I do
fucking
wanna give a lot of
showstopper
credit
entry.
to Leaf there. You might not have thought that he got much action done in that round with his
So
judge,
pressure
but he
this,
heard
do
all
the
rotates.
salvos, push
And
him
he
out,
told his
get the
team to go
haunt,
and
get the
stack sleep.
fucking
The
dog,
Jorg was there in time
push
to
Leaf
get the
away.
double spray down and support Valen, who got
Get this
stunned up.
orb.
That's the kind of information you need when playing against EG. The info game is so important because
Give
EG's
Derek the orb
worst
and
enemy
give
is gonna
Derek
be
the plant.
clock. Yeah. They're hitting sites with 25 seconds left, so if you can find the right read in the late round without getting punished for grabbing that information, you're hunky-dory.
Yeah, so after joining this, I
Making
think
sure
Derek
to
could
save
pick this up now.
One of their util for these
Icy's not showing himself, which is good. They tap this orb not to bait the ult, or so to bait the any trap plays. But I'm actually surprised that it's Nature picking it up instead of Derek. I would have liked to see the Showstopper Armageddon play towards the end.
Just to stop any of the defenders from taking.
This is probably just orb maxing, and I don't think EG's gonna win this round now.
Played pretty well by EG so far, but remember, it's just sheriffs.
Comes down now.
Steadily making its way over towards A here.
And
a lot of uncertainty.
It is tough to gather information over here with Superman's
30
wall.
seconds left.
That's an ult expended. Okay.
That's a really large expenditure.
He's getting a backstab there.
There'll be someone home at least onto the side, but G2 have completely evacuated.
Dropping spike.
Almost near dimensional drift.
They get a pit with, they won't even get pit with this.
For his team. There's a late backstab that potentially could be occurring. Derek up the gut through mid. There's 9 seconds left. Finally, that plant's going down. Yay, forward, off angle. Sheriff in hand, and it's a nice
He's gonna get the backstab from door.
Pete bounced off into it. Are they aware of this?
Oh, forces out to Rolling Thunder. We'll take it.
Stunned up, round to the side. Leaf.
Derek has timing.
The swift hand necessary. Still 2 shots. All it takes for Derek finally coming alive and
I
activating.
think probably they don't have
C's.
C's.
The
There's just salvos on plant.
Applying the pressure indeed.
Huge. It's not even half.
Still,
wait, hold on. This is huge. They have stun 2 on Derek, but he's too far away.
CG have a decent chance of this. Another time to try and push them out, but composure maintained. Word of the day for a team like G2, and there's no real chance here for Derek. See if he can clean it up.
It did land a second shot there. It
You're
would have been
talking
kind
about
of clean.
composure. I was worried watching that from G2's perspective. They weren't getting onto Icy, who was holding it backside. They weren't clearing out the pit, but they know better than me. They still had the patience to be able to slowly group up and clear it out, make sure that they were.
There's definitely a timeout call.
I just relied
like I said, I feel like.
I was getting confused about the time. I thought they were.
Wait, there is no timeout?
potentially gonna.
Yeah, there has to be a timeout.
Squeaky territory there, but cool,
No timeout.
calm, collected. And G2
This or
into
this
the lead
should have
here.
been procced up
But
if
the
they were going to go
ults
Showstopper, in my
favor
opinion.
EG right now.
It's very important.
I guess they're playing the longer game. They're not trying to capitalize on like big rounds yet. They're just trying to like leverage maybe 4 or 5 rounds attack side. I would assume. I don't know. Because you're gonna try to cycle like big ults into the next or starting now actually. Because now they have weapons to work with.
Handle the early round utility that they're using. That metal can be real nasty. So getting into a clean 5v4 is going to help a ton. Especially because Icy is that tip of the spear that dives in on the XX. And if you don't have that with 30 seconds left on the clock, who the hell's going to be going in making space for you?
Jorgamo, this is a precarious spot indeed. Lying in wait here, side of the smoke. Timing onto the drone and a reposition is smart.
Jorgamo gets free kills now.
Looking for options, looking for picks. There's danger here, crossing out into the open. He just spots out to the hand as well, and he's going to be laying claim potentially.
Oh my god, unlucky. Unlucky timing from Jorgamo. Actually, that might help EG now. There was a fault line that came in, so they can't really go in quickly yet. And Armageddon to slow him down. Now they can run all the way back towards the A side, so Superman has to be huge here. Superman has to come up huge. And now it's up to this guy to hold.
He's found one of his own. Already taking this space up to B.
Oh my god, let's go fat. Choi,
how did they do it?
Timings on timings on timings.
Holy shit.
With the clock ticking down at all times.
Go, man. Dude, the amount of timings that they all had. Unlucky for Jogamo, and then everything was great for Superman and for Ye. That's so unlucky for G2.
Just wondering where he's going, getting pulled from site to site, trying to find a safe location. Superman's 2 on B were perfect, and Valen in an essentially impossible
to get
situation.
backstabbed too.
Not long for the word if Derek can land that one. Indeed, he does. So 3-3. EG proving that it can really dish it out against the gun round.
Dude, I'm heartbroken watching this game, chat. No matter who takes the lead in this game, I was like, fuck, poor other team.
That they would pressure the sites just a little bit earlier so they had more wiggle room, but here, 25 seconds left on the clock. Superman essentially has to win both of those 1v1s that he catches the timing on in B. Otherwise, even if Jonah trades him, Jonah's going to be there, denying the spike from getting planted.
That's what he said.
I don't know how I got into that position, but I made it work.
Okay, so none of there's pressure on Mountain because of that
They've been deadly with these.
taunt break, and Jonah's already ready to fault line to support on Mound. So they triple walk up. I love that.
And that's the one rifle player, Jonah P.
Like a great start coming out here for EG to walk up the way that he did. Like that was a perfect read, but Jonah P is just fucking amazing.
See if it helps. This one right here.
Yeah, they had a clean 5v4 in the previous round. No Icy, and just the lurkers getting the job done. And now you see G2 holding a much more aggressive control over Rubble, trying to deny Superman any entry, and that's spam for Jonah P, and it works like a charm.
1-3-1 now with support from fault line salvos.
Both.
So it'll be hard to get into sight this time around here for EG.
Really hasn't he?
They're actually gonna use their ult.
Aggro positions now out towards B, and they are primed and ready here. With the door opens up and a fault line towards it. It's a bit of a spray down, spam down. With guns in their hands, happy days for G2.
One rifle, 4 stingers, and they win it for G2.
Is beautiful from G2. Complete control of Rubble with 2 players. Jorgamo gets posted. Then they control the front of B, an open door in case C gets punished. I think they can use this system quite a lot to abuse EG.
Good tap from Derek, but not anticipating the position there from Valen.
They just got very unlucky on the 3-player push though from EG. Quite honestly, Macro was an upper hand here for EG at the beginning of this round, but it was Jonah P that gets this.
Will be able to just activate on alert.
Oh, that was kind of stupid from Ye, unfortunately.
Caught a glimpse of it right before the wall went up a bit.
I guess he missed the timing. I think he thought the wall was still up, and then when he crossed the wall came down, I don't know what happened, to be honest.
They were going to be able to re-clear towards the front of B with about, I don't know, 40 seconds left on the clock, something like that. So they're pretty confident.
G2 Singers need to get nerfed, 100%.
That's where you know EG.
Although, I'm always down for the win con.
While they're focused forward.
I will always be down for the win con come Masters Toronto if G2 makes it, because that's what's going to help G2 win fucking a Masters trophy.
Pot of timeouts usually pretty good as well. I mean, when we've done some listen-ins, we've had segments, I think, really just built around it. I think the effectiveness, Potter's usually coming in with a couple of core game plans and being able to diagnose what's going on with the team. Right now for EG, it seems like, okay, against other teams have been getting away with Superman with his late lurks out towards A-Rubble with the heavy premium that G2 are placing on it. Having control, the later those rounds go, it really does limit the options for a team like EG.
Yeah, we'll see what the adjustment is. We've already had a look at rounds where EG's lurks have been super effective. In the pistol, I think it was, maybe round 2, something like that. They double walked up with Ye and Icy towards front B. There's definitely options for EG. And it looks like they might want to put a bit more of an emphasis on control.
Damn,
at the start of the round.
I did not know this. That's a cool stat. Let's go.
This Fade utility leaning C at the start. So probably another slow beginning for Evil Geniuses. But this slow-paced style...
Apparently. And like, all of them... But that number probably dropped with how things are going with his entry denials by G2 so far.
Yeah, and it's going to be an A re-clear. They've realized that Jorgamo is getting pushed up here with Trent's util.
I'm just trying to get a pin into A site, really, for EG right now.
Easier said than done sometimes, Jorgamo. Gets set up initially, but he is on a bit of an island. The Gatecrash is going to be running out soon enough here. Vulnerable. There it is. Did it out. Jorgamo is going to be trying to piece out. The salvo's out towards the door.
They put the salvos right to where his TP was. Or where he was going to escape. That's sick. While he was getting vulnerable too.
He react accordingly. Going to short the distance over towards C with that Viper's Pit. That does leave A.
Wait, they
almost
might
open
mid
for
to
the
B here.
taking.
If Superman gets his kill on Jonah P, they go mid to B.
Jonah P.
It's about this fight here. Superman, he's been caught off to the side as well, but barely stays alive. Straight bullets. Jonah P now is the one.
I love that he's pushing him.
Take that challenge.
That was a nice try by Jonah P. What else could you do, right? You know you've lost control of blue. You have to go back towards B main to fight. Loses that one, and now there's a pit. That doesn't even need to get used towards B.
Superman's just been amazing.
What a beautiful macro from EG again.
Last few rounds.
Doubled up towards heaven. Discipline from EG.
I know he's up there.
Trying to still but again, a lot of space out
Nice
here.
shot.
Damage done to a lot of them too.
Play salvos.
No one
I
from
think
EG willing to.
just got a save here for Trent.
Target. Salvos. An attempt to try and clear the
Wait,
way through into blue room, but
why did he
EG
already
wrapping all the
go?
way around, looking to be one step ahead of this one. Potential options here. Trent taps. Here's the footsteps. Gets the kill, but time is running short now. That's the one commodity that he really needs into this spot. Yeah, he knows it.
I don't like the salvos going
Plays
up
the
too
time
early.
down. 4-4.
I know he's trying to get the backstab in the flank, but dropping that early, that's probably a tell that you're going to try to come for a flank.
It looks phenomenal in these kind of spots. I mean, this play is lovely. What a great play that Potter cooked up coming out of the tank timeout. But Superman gets such a crucial kill there onto Jonah P and turns around and deals with Leaf. So he controls B main, and then he goes back and deals with the flank, with the lurk.
Go fat.
Beautiful stuff. This was the map where Super put on a masterclass performance against Crew, and that was really where the
Do you think the
tide
streak
turned
of
and people
games from
started waking up
G2
and
takes
paying
them off the
attention.
pedestal of the game meta right now? I don't think so.
Here for G2, different look at things.
I think they're still a very dominant team. I think that the difference right now is going to happen during Toronto.
Be careful, Nature. You can narrowly sidestep, but just onto that angle, not anticipating.
I would like to
G2 is
assume
gonna overload
that
them.
the Tejo Nurse are coming into Toronto.
They got
And that's
posted
probably
up
going to change
early
everything so
towards B
far.
main and left Yay here as an
Probably
insert.
see Trent back on
So
Sova.
imagine that they're looking to try to pivot through blue room. First, they'd have to deal with Trent. There would be
And
Odin's
N18
spam
was
as
like
well,
actually
coming
really good at
through
playing
this
on
wall,
site
through to the blue room, if they decided to pivot like this into B.
or for
And then,
pushes.
of course, Leaf is tucked towards B main. It looks
Should
so
take
tough.
the upper hand. I think G2 still has it, right?
Smokes to obfuscate. Here in the drone now, you're going to know inclination, of course, here. EG.
Dude, how many times has
trying to step
EG
their
been
way
playing
forwards
like
into that B hit? That's
4v5s?
Denies that chance. Over towards Ye now and just backs himself out and away. Jorgamo.
What a shot by Jaw.
Once more, steps to the side. Quick dismissal, but a spam into the smoke. Hello.
That was a
Okay,
mistake
Superman's
there.
found that one still. Ults are going to be offloaded. This is G2 not really just trying to not lose control of the round. I think they've achieved that.
Yo, Jaw's
Completely.
owning.
Jorgamo is just running rampant right now. 3-piece in to the round, looking for that fourth to seal it all the way up here, but nowhere to
That's true,
run, nowhere to
Kratos,
hide.
100%. If Trent can listen to music again, they're winning
Take the lead
champs
just by
for the
one.
next like 4 years.
Jorg was styling on them. He's inside a smoke trying to no-scope somebody if they try to put pressure towards
That is
there.
also very true
Mad
that
decision.
EMEA is kind of like
And then-
just doomed.
And then he's trying to hit flick shots and spray the ground, assuming that he'd won the round. And then holding it with the operator. He was feeling himself.
This
in
is
off.
definitely the event for an
He hit
America's
a
team to
nasty
win.
shot on Nature, a gorgeous shot on
There's
Derek.
no EDG. You have Wolves, Billy
Repositioned, by the
Billy,
way, with the
and
help of a
XLG.
paranoia from C.
XLG is going to be top 4.
I moved backwards, and as soon as I moved backwards, he peaked, so I just can't shoot.
They had,
But,
they
like,
had breach util coming from Tree.
Sentinels-
They had a paranoia coming from C. So much cross
MIBR,
to apply onto EG.
G2
who are
or
now knocked down
EG,
onto an eco.
Still up
XLG,
against this operator in the hands of Jorgamo.
and
No
like,
catching him.
what?
Back out and away.
Not
here,
even
but a
Gen G yet,
tempo
right?
increase
Maybe
by EG is called
not
for.
even DRX either.
No slowing down.
I don't think Pacific's going to be
Access to the A side
going to
is
be
given
there.
up freely here. G2 have a lot of confidence in their ability. Try and play retake here.
But they are going to be playing retake with an off. And an Odin. Could be slightly challenging.
Derek. He spots it. He hears it. That pressure coming from the side.
Dear
He's got
Uncle
that
Delt,
go-to.
Wolverhampton Esports Club.
No way
Are you
whatsoever. And now
are
he's
you a
gonna be the thorn in
TMV
their
shill?
side. G2. So they get a move on. They got to worry about their backs the entire time this is occurring. Trent is forwards as well.
Oh.
Should have been an easy kill, but he's left just wondering.
No.
Wait, what the hell is happening?
He's actually
And what has
Wade.
gone wrong so
What's
far?
going on?
G2
What is
fighting
going
the wall,
on?
seeing if they can try and salvage this entire operation. It's an ult. Not dead yet. Fallon from the
Oh
side.
my God, they're
Jonah
winning
P
this.
To put the squeeze down onto Ye, leaves it just down to Derek. He was the one to try and make it happen.
Time. They got
He's
it.
got it.
Yeah, narrow
Bro.
margins.
Super close. Less than a second by the look of things. But they're going to be able to get the job done.
Bro, Jonah
That
P and
is
Valen
so
just
similar to
saved
the
the
round that we
fuck
saw
out of
earlier
that
when
round.
EG were on an eco. EG take the site, and G2, they're trying to play it slow, trying to play it controlled. but there is chaos.
Yeah.
And credit to them, they've won both of those
An
situations.
Asia Glazer for
but
sure. I feel you. I feel you.
Wide lead at Blue Room. Do we really need to see this again? Oh. Trent, I mean, my pick for like the best player of 2025, and you're doing him dirty like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they had that EG.
6-4. EG, they're putting pressure on.
But
remember, they
good on
won the
Jonah
pistol.
P, man. Fucking
since
farming
then,
so
I've only
far.
won 2 rounds.
He's definitely saving
It's
rounds
not
for
actually
G2.
good in the scoreboard department. And it's not getting any better.
Wading out into
Another
the one-way.
4v5, bro.
Jorgamo, he's
How many
getting so
4v5s
active.
are EG playing this game so
And
far?
the slow-paced style of EG, the slightly more contacty approach with the heavy lurk style, it just runs into the operator.
That's the problem for them here. Leaf is tucked to the corner, a bit out into the open. It's Icy offloading with the hold up from the side. That's Nature.
I saw it in a flush him out like that.
Still.
He doesn't
big
get info on a
wrap around now.
triple
G2 does
on a
3
triple
players. That's gonna
flank
be called out
either.
by Superman. And what is the reaction now from EG? Push into CT, try and dominate some control, flip the map in some way or form. Maybe there's a chance for them. Despite that player disadvantage.
Oh, he jumps, bro.
It's picture perfect.
Oh,
G2
the flash is
subvert
perfect as well.
expectations to wrap around again. EG thought they could get access towards it. Armageddon now lay it down.
Oh,
and
the
this is
tail
Nature with
missiles
no
are
chance
perfect. Bro, that was
whatsoever.
huge. That was sick util counter from G2. Holy shit, that was nice from
Fully
G2.
out through A, dominate the player that's in the lurk kind of position, Superman, who was
Huge flash from Valen. Util from Jonah P, from the
stud
fault line to the
Philippe,
flash.
who was
Like,
alone over towards
bro,
CT, they knew would be under pressure.
that's 2 rounds in a row here that
this
Valen
is.
and Jonah P look
They know
pristine.
exactly what the adaptation is going to be from their opponent before it even comes through. That's the kind of G2 you're expecting to see on this stage. And a reminder that it hasn't been clean recently.
No.
They lost the Sentinels.
10
Nailed by their
assists
SGC
already, Jonah P.
ridiculous overtime
He's
against
13, 7, and 10,
Undersea.
chat.
G2 could
He's
have been
fucking
out very
frying
reasonably
right now.
already from these playoffs.
In my eyes.
But they persevered, and they've had an opportunity to stamp authority on this. And actually, in both of those series, they kind of wiped the
I remember being the only dude in chat who believed during Bangkok for the, oh yeah, for G2. Yeah, dude.
Close out the half strong.
It's funny, yeah, Nicole came down to see me too while we were casting a G2 game last time too. I think it was G200 Thieves. And as much as she stresses from home, she also stresses in the fucking arena, which is hilarious. She comes to me like super like relieved, like, oh my god, we fucking won. Thankfully, you know. Yeah, finally, man. First blood on the side of EG.
Rolling thunder forwards, Armageddon on top of it. This is Carnage. And Jonah P.
Jonah again, bro.
Heavy weapons
Derek's
guy
about to die. This is a
occurring right
2v3
from behind.
somehow.
That's a bullet to the brain. And the final round of this half.
2 openings for EG. They're about to fucking lose this round.
Barely carved out a path here over towards the A side with a pit down. There is chances.
Yeah, two of them were cut low, but Jonah is just gonna fucking spray with an Odin, bro.
Anything can happen in these kind of rounds.
Jonah's just gonna spray with an
Nature
Odin
trying
and
to make his way
fucking
forwards.
get Superman
Do they
somehow.
have utility really to clear out
Superman's got
Superman?
1 HP, chat.
Taking the K damage, but he's already so weak.
So damn low. And you're up against Odin.
He already got damaged by the fucking Odin.
Do they have the comms of the damage that they've already done? I would assume so.
Yeah, Jorg knows he liked him. Paranoia is good. Nature has to be the one to try and hold this one down here. The tracers point out the position of Jonah P. Now, look to stand up against this one. It's relentless. No mercy whatsoever. Shorty in hand, you get the one, but how do you get the rest? You just cannot. Time to spare 4 at G2. Wrap up this first half of Lotus.
It's hard, bro. It's hard. G2 are just too good.
And again, remember, EG won the pistol. So after that pistol and follow-up, it's basically been perfection from G2. A statement opener to Lotus, a map that EG picked. Oh, but G2, it's probably their best map as well, if we're being honest.
Through a wall.
This is a tough one for EG to take, and it's going to get even more difficult, I would argue, with them on the defense side.
Huh? Nature sure is full of wonders. Red Bull gives you wings.
The new Red Bull Zero is here. 100% wings with monk fruit extract.
Agreed. But if anything, G2 taking defense first, and they did that type of half is quite nice. It did get like back and forth and close for a bit, but yeah, they definitely still had the upper hand towards the end. Damn. Shilai comes from Ascension and Nongshim. Sorry, Boom. And they both qualified. The Masters.
Now only one of these teams can make it to
Zamboni.
Masters at Toronto.
That is
of course.
so
The
funny.
tickets are on sale right now.
That is so funny for Toronto.
And you can scan that QR code to secure your spot.
Oh
at one
my
of the biggest
God.
global events of the year.
That is so
Watching in
funny.
Toronto, Canada, and yeah.
That is so
I'm
funny.
buying 8 of them right now. I'm scanning those tickets.
Dude,
I mean,
that
on
is
one
so
side
funny.
Of things, you could get to see Ye playing against Crazy Guy.
Boom isn't safe though, right? They already qualified.
On the other side
Boom
of
definitely
things, you might
qualified
get to
already.
see G2 defend their opportunity to.
And
to
are
go
you
back
talking
to the
about being
grand
safe for
finals,
next
so
year? No, they
take
still
a
have to
look.
make champs to guarantee a
book your
spot for
tickets.
next year.
But I mean, I don't know who's going
Dude,
to.
I love
That's what
this.
makes
That's
match
so sick.
So ridiculous. Yeah. Because everybody would have been predicting G2.
That is so good.
And G2 have got a very hot start to the beginning of this series. 8-4. EG's map pick, of course, like opting to bring G2 to Lotus, which, listen, G2 have been no slouches at the entire year. It's a brave choice. It's a bold choice. And clearly come prepared. There's tension, I think, in the posture and the shoulders of some of those EG players, maybe realizing, wait a second, G2 might just be in a different league entirely and starting to open up here. EG. have
Oh
got
yeah,
some
that's true.
cards
It's
up their
RRQ.
sleeves.
I missed
Get an early advantage potentially there,
misremembered
but- okay, it's spotted out. Valor's gonna
RRQ
be
for or
seeing it. Early
Boom for
pressure out
RRQ. My
towards
bad, my
B.
bad.
I'm not sure if they were expecting a single lurk player there, or whether they thought it was going to be a B pistol.
I just know
from
that
G2.
Crazy Guy qualified, and
Either
he's going to
way,
be the
EG
first
didn't fight
Vietnamese
too
player
much.
at a Masters,
And now
which is
because the
fucking
door
sick.
opened on A, they were reading that it was an
Like
A hit.
from
We saw
Vietnam.
rotation from
But
EG,
I thought he was
starting to
RQ
lean
somehow.
over there.
Sorry, I thought he was Boom
And then
somehow.
when the drone came out from Trent, they're like, hold on, we don't know where it's going right now. So you see EG's defense kind of scattered currently, lacking info.
Incredibly passive. Could draw a line all the way back. I mean, it's further back than where the barrier started for a lot of these players.
It really is. And there's not been much utility expended here on either side. The drone, though, is gone from Derek.
This insert's huge, though. This allows for you to have such a big team fight
You don't really have
for
a way
A control.
of gaining info beyond Icy just kind of jiggle peeking this.
And you're not going to wall up. You're just playing contact
Punish
until
zone
IC sees something.
Definitely could get punished. 35 seconds left. G2. Trying to give EG.
Now that they've
their own
inserted
medicine,
everybody,
but
you can just explode here. That's why the wall's up.
no
You
use of
contact
really
until everybody's
expensive,
put
we've already
together.
mentioned as well, and Stone,
And he got a
okay,
fucking
Icy.
body shot through people,
Shots
no?
lay it down as soon as that orb is going straight up.
Yeah, he got
Puts
Jogamo through
EG
him.
into a pretty nice spot. 5v4 now to try and play this one into the retake, looking to potentially flood in and waiting for the right cue.
Trent versus Ye over
G2.
towards Blue Room.
And they're going for a walk of their own. Is it going to be anticipated? The timing is missed. And what a mistake to make there. Just
All right,
missed it
Nature answers
narrowly.
back at
Nature does
least.
his best to try and reclaim some space off to it, but Trent trying to deny it, and damage is done to it. Jonah P, he's alone, he's isolated.
Unk.
And EG
Unk.
put the
The
squeeze
timing on
him.
Derek to look back on this side
around,
and
gonna
the
be able
double
to
lurk
lay
to
claim to.
happen there, and
Nature
Jogamo
just
getting 2 kills,
spanked him with
and
the
Nature
pistol.
just saves him.
He just got 2
EG
super
just won both
important kills,
pistols, and that's going to
denying
keep him in the
that
game.
push. You're right, EG did not have that timing. Ah, look at that. That's how Leaf falls at the beginning from Icy. I thought it was through a smoke. But here's that other push, completely caught Derek and Icy off guard.
I thought that was it.
Nature turns around and deals a death blow back to G2. See what it means to him.
Yeah. Get that fire back a little bit.
And here comes G2 on the force. They've been doing this quite a lot since the beginning of Bangkok. When they force in situations like this, they have a 75% win rate. That's absolutely ludicrous.
Oh, so that's the win rate,
They
75%.
have worse weaponry
Damn.
than their opponents, but they're winning 3/4 of the time.
Trying to control the pace on the attack side here and lying in wait. Yeah, Superman. Jump spot just missing that one onto the timing, and Jorgamo happy to clean him up. Take him out of the picture now. It's open access to that C site. And how do you bounce back?
IC's got Outlaw, though. This probably is going to be the saving grace for EG if he can land some good shots.
Back and away. That's a paranoia. Delaying this attempt and take. EG are trying to get themselves into this one. Outlaw in hand, not the weapon of choice for Icy. But he's got to make two. Stuns. Ricocheting, rebounding here. Picking them apart.
Well, another stinger by one.
G2 at their best. Add another one to the tally, Josh.
It's not quite flawless, but it looks like it. That's amazing. How do they win these rounds so cleanly?
That's just unlucky that Superman got picked there.
And they get themselves
Not unlucky, it's just like good timing on G2. You know? They hugged this wall the whole time by the C long. So the jump spot, you see like the jump spot that Superman does, right? It's not wide.
But they're still only forcing a
Let me try to draw it real quick.
when they lose pistol.
The jump spot is so tight here that it's gonna watch this angle right here. So if you're hugging this wall and you're still jump spotting tight, you're not gonna see those guys. And then fucking Jogbo just got the jump on him because of that.
Thought you were gonna get a bit of respite, but not quite.
You're hoping that, or you're seeing like, or you're seeing this jiggle, or like your gun sticking out and you're forced, like you're making somebody racked and they're gonna try to shoot you.
Risk to be taken here for these EG players.
Better than Celsius, word.
Lucky. So they're going to be spotted going.
And what's wild about this force buy strategy too is because it delays the rifle round by 1 round, you get close to those ults that you can use to snowball the attack side. And it's Trent actually who
That?
absolutely nailed.
And Superman.
Unk?
He's under the pressure right now, but he's really taking control of the map and potentially this round.
Oh my god, he dinked him too, bro. Imagine he got 3.
To not get the kill there.
Look at north side as well.
Leave has to contain this one. He needs to do it.
Sheriff?
Cleanly.
Oh, it's Mucky.
And it's a rough spot in T, but still that fault line from afar. Long range.
2 HP left. Get 2 HP left and kill them.
He's fully healed up.
And now you had alert coming in from nature. A flank with a stinger. No way. No way!
Rolls back the years.
No fucking way!
2022 Ye is here to dominate again. That's
No
outrageous.
fucking
No glimmer
Yay,
of
I need to
reaction.
tweet that.
A small wipe of sweat off the brow. Superman did a great job of picking up 2 earlier on though, but what is that? With the stun, then a body shot to finish off a weak Jonah P, and a beautiful headshot to take down Jorg.
Oh my god, the way I just died!
That's what you're gonna say about that?
There's no way that's your reaction at
That
the
was
end of
insane.
that round. And so all of the good side of the force buy from G2 thrown in the opposite direction, but their economy is actually good enough to basically buy up.
Next, balanced out.
Yeah, he realized Cheaper Share is normal Sheriff, especially when you hit headshots like that.
Pave away
Holy fuck. What a round.
They've already evacuated.
Something I dislike about EG on this map, they're normally very slow to retake on C. They don't throw plant denial util, and they don't fast retake. Are they going to change things up? I mean, Superman just goes for it.
I mean, I think that was an attempt off with the back of some of that util. Leaf's going to be caught, though, just trying to take that timing on that flank still. 4v4, Plant only just going down, by the way, here.
Big war between Nature and Jogamo.
Takes 2 of them, though. Nature opts in and already removed it. Still Armageddon. Forwards, Trent. Stands tall and proud, trying to maintain control out towards the side of it. Spam does the work.
Lovely spam
and gets the number
by Derek.
And now Trent left into the 1v2. He's
2 seconds to salvos.
Fantastic. But can he persevere? Stray shots flying towards him.
Nice jump.
With movement like that.
Nice jump by Derek.
As anything, these EG players.
Baits himself.
Not willing
Make sure that they don't line up.
And
The other one swings by hugging the wall. Great fundamentals.
Superman's in, I mean, way early, ridiculously early.
There you go, chat. You see what Josh just said? So fast on a retake coming out from EG. They're not afraid of playing quick. They're just playing to the style of their opponents. They're just that good. They're such an underrated team. If anything, still a super underrated coach somehow.
A little bit of the carnage there, but it's EG that comes out on top. And I didn't think I'd be saying that in this match.
It's 9-7.
G2 come in, honestly, as heavy favorites in this game. But you could have said that about their match against 100 Thieves most recently. And that one went 3 maps, OT towards the end. And now here again, EG picked Lotus. It's an uphill battle picking Lotus into G2. It's always going to be, no matter how good you are on this map. Here, EG are keeping it within 2, and they've knocked G2
Chet's
down
starting
to
to pot.
eco. So in all likelihood, this is going to be a game where there's only 1 round separating these 2 teams. At the beginning of playoffs, it looked like an ocean was separating these 2 teams.
Yeah, we were having talks about, oh, well, is the playoffs going to be a bit boring for G2? Are they just going to be sealing it up all the way through the upper? Not excitement, man. We got excitement, not a chance at all. One of the things that was rattling around my brain before we even got into this series was wondering, are EG going to keep evolving as a team?
I'm not gonna put on my stream, but
bracket, they haven't really been the favorites.
Chet's just stirring the pot again.
They've done well. They've developed even more as a team. They're finding their style, finding their footing.
I think you can see that evidence of that in this game too. Just in the terms of the way that they were brawling on that C retake, for example, actually. The ultimates are enormous for EG here.
I think people are ready for EG last year when the Potter stocks are sky high. Yeah, agreed.
Possible for round 18 when it has the chance.
But it was also very difficult to keep the stocks super high when they've lost dog mode to G2.
And he could be the danger player there. Definitely opportunities.
I like how they're making G2 fight, man.
G2 just trying to play
G2's struggling to really close this map out. And remember, they were 9-0 this split.
Get closer to the ultimates.
Actually, 9-0 this year, chat. 2025.
A rubble reclear, Superman.
Just like owning kickoff, Masters Bangkok to split 1. Undefeated on this map.
That was a rifle player.
And now they can start rotating people.
The only other team that I could think about that made them really sweat for this map was
where are they going?
Furia somehow. When Furia got like a fucking 8-0 start. And then still somehow lost like 13-11 or some shit. I can't believe they let that happen.
30 seconds left, that's a drone to the side. And
yo, he doesn't care. He doesn't care to get spotted by a drone. Let's go.
That's Derek over the shoulder.
Let's fucking go on.
Some bullets. You got to choose a different direction, but I think this might be heard potentially. Depends how quiet Valen has been. No, it was called for. Just a slight speed up, I think.
Yeah, there was definitely a reason why Potter has sought after Superman for such a long time from FaZe, you know. And now you're finally seeing like the reason.
But it wasn't eco for G2.
Sorry, I keep calling them by their first names because I kind of know them like that, you know. But Unk has been fucking killing it the past like 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, just trying to sidestep most of the bullets, can't quite hold on to it. But you are right, Josh, it was an eco.
The thing is, though, look at the ultimates that are available.
1 round from tying up this game.
It's almost everything. They have Raze ultimate.
If they could cycle ults here, they'll be in a good spot.
Ye is able to have 2 lives in this round, and Superman at any point can try to reactively pop his ult over towards C and ensure that that area of the map is locked down, or at least much more challenging.
EG staring straight down the gut of the map here. Is this an aggro play coming from them nice and early, reminiscent of the pistol? Walk up, tripled up, making sure that they can try and get a kill or 2. Still off to the side, a strong one with a trade, but he's being mopped up regardless.
Leaf got really caught off by that. He wasn't just jump spotting. He went to actually try to hold the angle and contest. Not expecting EG to be doing something aggressive in the first 10 seconds. I think this is an EG that's really trying to shift their game up a little bit just to throw G2 off their rhythm.
That's what I was talking about earlier, man, that evolution of EG that we're witnessing. Because it's been slow going ever since that crew game in stage 1. But they've been adding twists and turns. Unexpected moments. This is a narrow angle indeed. What a peek by Valen. Just crouches straight into it, almost anticipating
That was super nice by Valen. And he's the only one with small shield too, going against the Outlaw, and he gets the fucking pick. That's insane.
Onto the high ground, but he's going to be meeting his match here with a lot of util. Slows them down to a crawl, but just a
wow,
with the util.
What a turnaround by G2 this round.
Spike finally planted, G2. Feels like they've been permanently on the back foot in this round here, but finally with an advantage at least with the players, yay. We'll look to even the odds. Waiting for a bit of pressure now.
Snake bite with this too.
The door wide, but it's a triple face again. That's an ult popped off, not dead yet. Not really anticipated. Still without plenty of util. That's a snake bite wide. The face.
Oh, he's alive. He's alive. The other one's vulnerable. He's got a smoke.
Has brought it to a winnable spot.
Smoke in the back pocket. Not anticipating it. Valen with the reposition up towards the high ground. Yay snaps. Time. He's got it.
Yoy, twice.
Barely shrinking. And Yay just bringing it back from the brink.
Oh my God.
Gets sent to hell and bounces back. Not dead, but for a moment. And springs out, hitting ungodly shots.
Oh my God. Yo, and fucking GOAT status fucking snakebite coming in from Superman. That Varnwell's Jonah P to insta-kill him.
And Potter, gobsmacked, cannot believe what her players are capable of in playoffs. Cold. So cold.
Bro.
Small smile and a wave to the crowd, and
I
that's
got
it.
fucking
He's
shivers,
drawn
chat.
EG
I got
level
fucking
with G2.
shivers. Not gonna fucking lie. No cap, for real, for real.
EG are now in control of
Ye's
the game.
reaction out of that one,
Unbelievable what they've done.
man, I got fucking chills. He's fucking back, baby.
Very clear towards Rubble here for
He's
G2,
fucking
but again,
back.
You already mentioned it, the weaponry less than ideal. Yay once more gets his time to shine or not. Trent.
Trent gets the fucking revenge.
Spotlight with that one. That's going to be Yay drop down, and this is
But
fast
two big ults
indeed,
here.
but out wide is the open leaf. Not expecting this one. It's rapid from EG. Still they out, blinds it up. Valen
Sees
is
him
eager to
too,
try and take that
TP's
fight
out.
Forward. Still, that's a showstopper. It's going to be rattled off and away, and they don't hear a thing. All noise cues cut away. That's a plan. Committed. Jonah P has to ISO
Stunned.
this fight. Has to do it now. Stinger in hand. Just not possible. Leaves it down
Wait,
to 2.
Joggermo's still alive though. They've already used both their ults.
Trent forwards, damage done it just into the
Stunned
landing.
and headshots him.
Pointed out now, but this is it. The net is closing in. Jorgamo can't quite do
Bro.
it.
Bro.
The big moments here are coming from evil geniuses.
Okay, wait, hold on. My
Ye's
ult cycles
performance in
are
the
back for
previous
G2.
round, Nature hits that crucial stun shot there.
We're gonna get a stinger buy with
Back in this
ults.
round from G2.
I didn't even have enough
Look
money
at the
for
string of
rifles. Look at that.
rounds that the defenders have put together.
There's
here.
definitely a timeout from
5
Josh.
in a row. And they forced a timeout from Josh.
What a
RT.
big stun coming out too from Derek. Yo, util from both teams are fucking insane
That
today.
stun is so good that Trent is throwing. Completely pins somebody in the corner.
Let's go.
And Nature still manages to hit the shot.
What an insane game. That, dude, we are definitely treated to a game, chat. I agree with you, Titus, and I am so happy
Really hasn't nor
that
EGs.
we're streaming this game.
And we were expecting a slow siege, a bit of a, burning at a midnight oil type beat. It hasn't been the case.
And G2 normally, in these last 2 matches, they have crushed map 1. Whether it's to do with their preparation or their form, just starting strong, they've dominated. And it's looked like, oh, this is amazing G2. And then, okay, they let it slip a little bit, map 2 or map 3, and things get closer. This, pretty much for the first 8 rounds, and then everything after the halftime, has been dead even. And EG applying the pressure, foot on the gas.
Yeah.
G2 clawing just to stay in this in the final few rounds.
Head above water with everything to play for, of course.
How are EG up, dude?
Final spot
They're
for our
playing
Americas
so
teams
well.
Going to Toronto is defined and decided by
But
this
like
match.
even the games get down to like to wire because
G2, they
both
have
teams
this
just
habit of
have
bringing the best out of their opponents.
good
EG
fundamentals
as well.
this game. There's not too many fumbles.
Here to play.
Mostly there were
Look at
fumbles
the
on the
stay.
EG side, and somehow they still have the fucking lead in this
Ahead
game. That's how
in our
crazy
opening map.
they've been
Despite a one
fighting
round
for this
now.
map so far on the EG side, to be honest.
Who's next?
Gate crash forwards alongside that ult. Looking for the
Probably wish you
information
broke that
here.
gate crash
What's
before.
happened to? I know that EG are just playing this.
How does that
Oh,
kill
how is
Valen?
goes
Wait,
down
Valen?
there?
Oh, that's brutal.
The fight to be taken, that's a door open wide, EG! Yay! He's doing it again to a man, and he's out wide into the open. That's an Armageddon force. Oh, back to the side, that's Jorgamo looking to see if he
Wait, but
can
Jonah
pick
P
up these
stuck
pieces,
in
make
C
anything
main,
of the round
and Superman
whatsoever. In the
lurked
chaos,
through
in the
and
carnage.
spikes down.
EG
Oh my god.
Dominated Leaf on the lurk.
Okay, when I just talked about fumbles, that's the fucking first big fucking fumble for G2, and that's a huge fumble, chat, because that's ult used around what they tried to do there. Oh, he was smoking. Oh, he tried to TP. He goes in decay, gets eat by the
I
salvos.
don't think he even realizes that the salvos are inside the Viper Orb there. And they've knocked G2
Oh, no.
onto another eco. This is
EG are going to Toronto?
form that we're seeing from EG. The moment's going in their direction.
Well,
And a
EG's
massive
split.
ball.
Oh.
Immediately goes their way. Icy picks up 2 on the spray angle. You're not coming
So-
back from this one.
The thing is like G2's gonna fucking wreck EG on split. To be honest, this is going to Pearl.
That's what they're playing for. Nade rebounds. Quick getaway from Jorgamo here. But
If EG wins this map.
And this is an EG with all the confidence in the world. All the confidence in the world. Surrounding.
Wow,
playing
dude.
into these lives.
Wow,
They
man.
won this opening map.
Wow.
Flawless. And 3 opportunities to close
Dude,
out
this
on
is
Lotus.
insane.
On what I think a lot of people would be pointing to as G2's
Okay,
best
chat.
map. They've got a
Ever
deep
since
map for G2. They've
ever
got other
since
maps
EG
that are
beat
great
Crew,
for them. Split
and I
Pearl.
see Christine Potter. Sorry, I know Potter like that as well, chat. So I call her by her first name. But like every time I see Potter, and also when they got the second win against Crew again, she was like, and they beat C9. She always comes up to me and she goes, Vans, tell me this in front of my players. Did X team lose the game, or did EG win the game? Right? Basically, she's trying to confirm that she's seeing what we're seeing, is that EG are actually winning their games and they're not lucking themselves out of these victories. You know what I mean? Like, they are playing fucking good Valorant. I'm like fucking glazing the shit out of EG, but I mean, you gotta glaze some fucking good Valorant. You know what I mean?
Potential risks to be taken here. Fights swinging wide. EG.
With the Haunt, though, there was cross-map support from Nature. And now Valiant goes through the reclear. That's so risky on his own. Hoping that
Dude, how does Ye still have 36 HP though while being wallbanged for so long?
But this is where Icy and Nature are waiting.
This could be it. Getting more than dangerous here. It's an Armageddon.
Then they're trying to seize nade if they can here. Should go heaven, no?
Access now to the A side, just barely. EG.
All right, so they'll use it for retake.
It's a Viper's Pit. One of the lines of defense that G2 are going to be layering down at it to get into the post plant. One way up top is going to mean it's even more difficult.
I'm saying, Chad, the util is sick from both of these teams. They still have seize nade that they could start using, and it's working.
They're starting to move forwards. It's a relentless march here, and they can taste it.
Oh my god. Overheat there. Wait, the pit's down.
Leaf down, pit drop down. Trent, it's going to be all on him. Swing wide from Jorgamo.
Double swing.
Yet. And Trent, they have to do it all. 1v1. Nature
He's sticking it.
Half earned. 6 bullets left. Trent down to the wire.
No time.
Is there time though? Time.
He's got it.
Goal!
Oh my god.
With 0.3 seconds
Oh my god. This is insane.
An opening blow to G2. It looked at the halftime.
Bro,
like
this is
G2
insane.
Was a better team here, and then EG's run on defense was crazy. Ye ends with 300 ACS and 25 kills, bringing back memories of 2022 when Valen's record against Ye was 1-2, a negative record against that Optic squad, despite beating them in a North American Grand Final.
Dude, it was definitely
we just watched?
100% absolute fucking cinema, that game.
An incredible opening to this series that defines who our third team is going to Toronto. For EG to take it. The peaks in individual form, listen.
This is where I dreamt of watching Bleed Yay.
Honestly, just so many moments where the EG players...
Okay, wait, hold on. One small moment of serious as well in terms of Bleed. Although they're a fraudulent fucking organization.
They couldn't get it done. And yet they still managed to claw together enough so that they could go in a crazy run on their defense side. And Ye, my god, what was this? A 1v3 that I think people are going to be seeing a lot of.
This
in these
roster
highlight
of
reels after
Bleed
the game.
We have been gifted
was an amazing roster, to be
Eyes
honest.
are going to be peeled. Nobody's going to be stepping away from this one, apart from us.
It's
here.
just
Well,
because
Alice
Juicy wasn't fucking 18 when they fucking qualified, so he couldn't fucking play yet. But if this roster stuck together for Pacific, I had so much faith for Bleed. I had them as my fucking sleeper pick. For Pacific, if it was this team that qualified, yeah. Same math as Billy. So you know what I mean now.
I don't really like like committing to things.
Like this roster was sick.
But when Verizon
But
announced that I could
with
lock in a
Juicy, not of age,
I mean, yeah.
and then they picked up Ye, I guess because they probably wanted Ye to play some fucking Duelist too, to replace Juicy, and then role issues, and then the scandals would bleed, and then everything just fucking fell apart.
No one's looking at Reginator. Reginator! Might be too overwhelming for the pool and a whiff. Coming as well, so he's ready for the crosshair. What?
But that's me. What is this? Wait, no, this is console Valorant, no? I didn't cast this. I thought I heard my voice, but I did not cast this. Never mind. Yeah, Darion was something I enjoyed as well, for sure. Darion, Juicy, Crazy Guy, of course, because I'm fucking Vietnamese, so I'm always gonna root for a Vietnamese player. Bro, that's insane. How is EG? Dude. EG just dished G2 their first loss of Lotus in 2025, and it's a fucking qualifying game. A map in a qualifying game. Chad, do you understand how crazy this fucking is and how much fucking momentum EG gains out of this? Knowing that, if I'm fucking Coach Potter, I'm saying that to my fucking team in between maps right now. Guys, did you not realize that you just beat the best team, the best Lotus team of 2025? And in that style and in that fashion, bring that shit over to map 2, and we fucking got this. That's all I'm saying. Fuck the strats, fuck whatever, because from the way that EG's been playing, they already know the game plan. They've been executing it very well. You just gotta fucking hype them up. You just gotta make them believe. When I hang around Potter and her players, she is so good at making her players believe. She is such a good coach.
Can Trent, however, have the firepower for 2
Look at this.
of these members? Oh my god!
Nature takes care of him, but that's just the start.
3-0.
Down to 1v1.
Stage 1. 5-0.
I am here with Potter ahead of map 2.
Bangkok.
First off, I gotta ask
1-0 kickoff. There were 9-0.
With a pick of Lotus, G2's last 10 games or wins. What was the thought coming out there?
I mean, just activate Ye. Activate Ye. Going into the second half, especially as well.
You know, you haven't seen G2 split? G2 split's pretty good.
4 and 8 doesn't feel good for the confidence, but a lot of 1v1s.
They played it against Energy, if I'm not
clutches that
mistaken.
we didn't come out on top of, but the confidence was there and the problem solving was there in the second half for us.
That's amazing. What's the key to that?
Oh, never mind. They play against Sentinel. No, this is kickoff. Hold on.
It always helps when Ye is just popping off, right? I mean, if Ye is getting deagle kills like that, everyone starts to feel really good.
13-5 Sentinels, 12-14 against 100 Thieves. Oh, I casted this game. I didn't fucking remember.
We couldn't agree
Everything's
more
such a blur.
with Coach Potter because, well, Ye.
Such a blur. This series is such a blur.
Let's just show the highlights there because seriously, evil geniuses lock up Lotus and a big reason for it. Ye just popping off.
Think about the risk that Potter took picking up Ye during the offseason. He had come off a winless season in NA Tier 2 with DSG. He had come off of a year in Pacific where he only won
Oh shit, I should have gone to get some water.
Bleed.
Oh, Chad, actually, I forgot to play some ads. Let me just play a quick 2-minute ad, and we'll be back for the second map, so I'll get some water at the same time.
Oh yeah, Prime Ye, he was so clutch in the second half. And remember, you talk about risks that EG took. They picked Lotus. G2 had not lost this map all year. Not at home in Americas, not internationally versus Vitality, EDG, T1. None of those teams were able to beat G2 on this map. EG pick it and just knock them out.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water too.
Because I actually thought their attack side had some really good ideas. I loved some of the slow default around where they're punishing John and TP. It was clear they put a lot of prep into that. But they were still down
Edna, you're watching
4-8
this? Let's
going
go.
into the half. They rally back there after getting ecoed as well, and they still pull it off. It's crazy.
It really is. But also another part of that success, I do got to give a little bit of flowers to Icy. Had a few moments where he had some greatness there. And in that battle between him and Jogamo, right, the guy guys who swapped jerseys and went to the other side of the field. Ender, that matchup did not disappoint.
Yeah, the first half was a little bit hit or miss, I think, for Icy. He got taken down a lot. Both were just like hard angles being held. He also tried to go for that like C boost play with the satchels that he ran in his last series versus Crew. Worked great from there. This time he got shut down. The second half, though, I do have to say there were a few critical rounds where he was able to show up.
Yeah, he looked really nice on some of these retakes for EG. I think that him and Ye together not just are individually excellent, but do a really good job of playing off each other, especially in those retake situations, double swinging, trading each other out. They look really strong as a duo.
Yeah, let's not get it twisted, though. Jogamo was crushing in this opening map. He is not going to feel good about losing this first one, especially with the diff he had going on.
Oh, yeah, you know that G2 lineup not satisfied with this at all. Let's actually get some words from the coach at G2 to find out what's going to go down in map 2.
I am here with Coach Josh ahead of map 2. Looking, that map was so close up until it seems like EG was able to kind of temper the aggression. What have you identified that they were able to do that wasn't allowing G2 to get that result?
I think we were in a position to succeed, honestly, and they were able to absorb our aggression. But it came down to these like micro moments towards the end of like a lot of these like post plants where we were just disconnected, desynced, not understanding. And I was just telling the boys, like, we need to get on the same page here. Whoever wants to lead, and just commit to that call. And there was a lot of those moments that you saw, it was just because like people are overcalling each other, or they're not really like understanding like what the call was. And so uncharacteristically, we were not synced up in those moments. So as long as we take care of that, I feel like our game plans are really solid. We should be able to get to map 3.
All right, I hope to see us on map 2. Thank you so much.
Gotta say, I always appreciate the honesty of Coach Josh RT telling us what's going on with G2 in the comms there. You can kind of see it, but also one has to wonder, is that Ender because you got an EG team that's got nothing to lose, really, and everything to gain? Meanwhile, on the other side, G2, that pressure, they were top of the world, baby.
Yeah.
And now, they're one game away from elimination.
Definitely pressure on them. I was able to listen in to some of their comms as well, and I hear what he's talking about there, where there was a lot of ideas. I was surprised almost by how many different people were giving ideas of how to play the game, especially Leaf. Leaf was actually driving a lot of the calling, especially on the first half for G2. He had a very strong vision of what he wanted to accomplish, but this was not the calm G2 that I think I was usually expecting to see when they go into a game like that.
Yeah, and then of course, you know, they have their strategies, they have their plans, G2, but the problem is, Mimi, is one has to wonder again, is it a bit overexposed? Because now it feels like people are just trying, they're waiting them out, they're figuring it out, and that could spell doom and disaster for G2.
They're the most watched team in the world right now. Potter was saying it when we talked to Amy earlier. He was saying it. This is a team everyone is watching. Everyone is stealing their comps. Teams are familiar with it. But honestly, I don't think that loss comes down to 100% just an incredible EG prep. That is what Josh is talking about there with the team looking out of sync. Their post plans in that second half were getting torn apart by EG on these retakes. And yeah, a ton of individual moments. And that scoreline that's already kind of rough, right? Losing 13-9. That's with them winning 2 Stinger Eco rounds. It's got to be better on split.
They got 1 round on their attacking side of Lotus.
Ooh. Not what you want to see. Not what you want to see if you want to fight for some trophies. Folks, map 2 is coming up after this. It's going to be split. Can G2 force a map 3? You heard me right. We'll find out on the other side.
Sorry, Chad, I'm back. I also had to put my
map 2 coming up, which is split. And
I had to put my balls in a dryer.
We have an absolute series ahead of us here. It's already looking like it with, you know, EG taking that first map.
You'll donate to the BB funds? Hell yeah! What's up, Edna? How are you? How you been?
And it's what the desk was really saying. I think I just want to iterate on even more. When you are the top dog, when everybody's watching your games, even if they're not playing against you,
Fans is friends with them. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's learning from you. Everybody kind of knows what.
I mean, I'm friend. Like I said, I'm friends with both Potter and Josh RT. So as much as I'll be happy for one, I'll be fucking devastated and heartbroken for the other.
Played unbelievably well, and also the post plant's going wrong.
I looked at the stats after the game. I didn't realize this necessarily in the moment. Obviously, their post plans weren't working because they weren't winning.
And are you going to go to
rounds.
Toronto? You're going to watch some games in Toronto for Masters?
Of their post plans. So they were planting the spike 70% of the time, but they actually were only winning 1 out of 7 times. G2 have been defined by how well they play post-plant scenarios. The cringe with the pulls and the salvos. And we didn't really see any of that. They got looped into the chaos and they weren't on the same page. Now they're going to be starting on the attack side of Split. And once again, they're going to have the opportunity, at least in terms of the pulls. After
I don't think EG Split has been the best either. Let me have a look at it.
Post-plant scenarios. Can they pull it off? Or are we just going to see a repeat of the second half of Lotus?
This split,
about themselves here, but as you said, it's up to G2.
This split, they're 1-0 with a 13-11 win allowed. But they also lost like in OT, like 12-14 against Loud during kickoff.
Unexpected results.
And also lost to MIBR 3-13.
Element of any given Sunday when it comes to playoff games.
Yeah, force forwards here. This is the hit footsteps.
Oh, okay. I mean, listen, there's a snake bite and a feed on top of it. Jorgamo trying to take that time when the rest of his team's util here. Here's the reaction though by G2.
They've left Jonah P miles away, so now they've got a breach lurk planting. Trent has to take aggressive screens control with Leaf, which means he's not going to be in position for salvos.
Let's see what a read is here.
Jonah fighting in mid.
Yep, Jonah, okay, that's a critical one to win out here. Make sure you break that one forwards, and over the shoulders is Leaf, and he's made that lane claim to some space into the map.
So I wasn't wrong when I think G2 is going to smack EG on this map.
Sprint for him to try and be active into this
one. Hold on.
Well, has he done enough? Anticipation from IC that it could be peak from heaven, but Jonah P, that's an aftershock from Nasawi. We were just talking about it. Discipline, buying time. 22 seconds left. Stun is avoided, but time is running shy and short of the mark.
He's got it.
He's got it again.
Every time. EG are good for these kind of scenarios. You gotta think, is that the play from Jonah P actually? The net goes over towards heaven, so clearly
okay, but hold on.
No idea really where he's coming from.
EG's gonna win pistol. G2's gonna go in a stinger buy. G2 wins a stinger buy.
Couple of situations where the nerves are getting to people. Jorgamo taking that peek.
4K from Icy though.
Bite, probably a bit ill-advised, though it does set G2 up. Nature running on his own to try to
I've seen this somewhere. Ethan isn't washed though. Ethan is not washed, Kratos.
Cool
Ethan still owns
and he's 4-0
IMO.
to start off this map.
And here's a G2 force.
Oh yeah, again, of course it is. Seeing this on both maps because on the attack side they lost the pistol both times, but managed to get the spike down and get a bunch of kills, so the money looking good. Good enough, in fact, to get Leaf a Guardian.
We're going to try and do this one again. Drone forwards. Fuel and attack there saved by Superman, so obfuscating quite a lot and just walking, stepping forwards. They expect this one. That is a cheeky angle. Icy. Don't expect to clear that one whatsoever, but this is a rapid take of the space by Valen. Jonah P at his back.
And so now they're going to be set up to try to pinch in onto A.
Ethan 2022?
They know roughly where Icy's backed off to, but you got to be a little bit worried about ramp.
But see, Ethan 2022, they were still trying to, they didn't have Demon 1 yet, you know what I mean?
Playing back towards it, that's a great stun though.
They didn't have Demon 1 yet.
Into that fight on top of it.
They also never played fucking Euro and Pearl.
Into the hands of Jonah P.
Flash forwards though, they want to take this fight, they want to get active. This is EG looking at least slice up the map, trying to define themselves here and set themselves up nice and pretty.
Yo, they're playing Stinger to Stinger. I fucking love it. They're playing Stinger to Stinger. I love that for EG.
Leaf left to do it all to pick up the pieces in a spot like this, but there's just no chance, no hope.
Yeah, we're just getting fucking chaotic, aren't we, chat?
Lay it down early.
Yo, let Leaf live.
Wall up, but a timing to be taken. It's all watched for EG. Swift dismissal of that force of G2.
And a great start to their defense side again. This is almost certainly going to put G2 at a 0-3. They don't really have the money here. Didn't get too many kills. Didn't get the plant down. So their economy's not.
Who's still on the Stinger bite in round 3, chat? Is it Jogamo?
Which is usually what they'll go for. How good were these flashes to fight back into heaven?
They probably have to TP him on site, right?
Critical flashes coming out from Nature. And he's got good reason to be excited. EG, one away from getting up to
Who's still on the Stinger bite? Yeah, Jogamo.
This snowball could be devastating.
They probably have to find a way so he TPs and fault lines on site. You don't take heaven control with this.
Over the top. This is all players of G2 grouped up.
There it is. There's a TP lineup. Gonna go in back sight. Try to get a fault line, something flash. Okay, you're drilling first, which is good. Sees nothing, now you get in sight. But he also went without the spike. So the spike still has to run in out in the open. It might get fucked right here. And spike's down. They should have given the spike to Joggimo, TBH, but... Uh-oh. Oh no, now he lost the Phantom. He lost the Phantom. This is winnable now. Just because Joggimo's fucking a champ.
Rifle picked up, rifle gain, TP not committed, that's a fake, off to the side. Still no plant down, this is G2 looking for a bit more.
I feel like this could have been already over if G2 gave the spike to Joggimo. But we might still have the same results.
It's been a real test of how EG play in the chaos. But there's a bit of quiet descending upon the map here.
Back to the side though, Joggimo's good for it. Precision. 3 in a round already for him. His team needed.
The thing is, Titus, most of their gun rounds will be on attack anyways. The Stinger buy is good on attack because G2 is going to buy those when they have a spike plant.
Doing what he did early on Lotus 2, trying to stop EG's momentum.
So if anything, you need to look at the stats of how many Stinger buys G2 gets versus a plant round 1. If they don't get a plant on piss round, I don't even think they buy. That extra 300 credits allows for you to get the util around the Stinger armor buy. So you have a little bit more to like get space with. Especially when you have Teo and Breach, that's going to be breaking a lot of the lines of players jiggling, and it allows Joggimo to like really get into a spot and then for the rest of the team to follow behind, right? But if you don't, it's needed. Like the flash is what 300 credits already. The breach flashes are also an amount of money. So you need that plant to happen for them to go for the buy. If they lose pistol on defense, they're not going to Stinger buy. Unless it's like 10-2 or some shit, you know, where they have to buy. But if it's like 8-4, 7-5, even 9-3s, I don't think they buy when they lose pistol on second round.
Putting the pressure now down onto Icini. Let's loose anyway. It's going to be the ult here into his hands. Round to the
oh
side.
My God, he still gets him. What a big kill. Now he's playing Bucky close range.
2 seconds left to try and play for, but they have to clear out these spots here. Can they deroute IC from this position? Lying in wait with
this
the
is
Bucky
insane.
in hand. Oh my God,
and he delayed long enough for the rest. Oh my God, he almost got leaf. He delayed long enough for the rest of the team to come.
Tucked to the corner still. His position's going to be noted. It's a pit drop down.
Oh, he dropped on him.
Leaf. My God,
he dropped on him, dude. That's so lucky. That's so lucky.
That's a ridiculous round. Stuck in a corner, flashed up. Pits just so that he disguises where he's playing.
They did last round. Let me see.
He had a rough map on Lotus, couldn't really get anything done. But he's come out here with the iBuy power ace to go up 10-2 after 4 rounds. Absurd, but exactly what the doctor ordered for G2.
Exactly so. Make sure you follow iBuy Power on the socials. Plenty of rewards to be given out.
Pardon me.
Exactly what G2 needed.
No. Well, I'll show you once we get a timeout or something.
Rifles now. Slow walk up for the drone here, just trying not to reveal their hands, but that's going to be a stun. Locking down onto Superman, he's in a lot of trouble here, but most of the util going to be narrowly avoided, not sent in his direction.
The salvos were really deep, so it didn't actually even clear out where Icy was holding. So they haven't actually cleared vent here. A smoke over towards Mail. And now Icy gives up that position.
I think you're right that you still saw a Stinger buy, Titus, but it was when G2 took the attack side. Right, that's a
slapdash, really.
You'll take that any day.
Yeah, not good enough.
Oh wait, no, that was a defensive ult. Never mind. You'll take that any day for G2 for sure.
The ultimates, they were hoping to at least get a pick. Superman.
Oh, what a pick by Leaf.
Caught in that transition, and Ye now has to do it all from this spot. Near sight.
I don't think his gun was sticking out either, so he has a chance to play the smoke here to maybe get one. Big flash for double swing. Wait, hold on. You did good there, to be honest. And the spike's up on the balcony.
Looks it down. The spike does need to be reclaimed at this point, and Icy revealed his position with a bit of stray spam. He's
That's unlucky. I don't think they knew that the spike was down on balcony.
Quick TP.
Valin, he's in, he's out.
It's a getaway job.
Icy might have been hoping that he could defend that.
They did as much as they could there for Nature and Ye after Superman died right away.
We're slipping away from G2 on Lotus.
Yo, does Icy somehow win another 1v3?
Money's not good. Still looking to make
If he doesn't get an immediate kill in spawn, he's gonna save his weapon.
I mean, he'll probably poke and prod and see if he can get given a free pick.
Now you save.
Make things easier into a 1v2, but with nothing going, nothing given,
especially
he's
against
back
Trent.
Up. Yeah, and Trent's gonna have those salvos.
Yeah, Trent's in main with salvo. Okay, so we're gonna look real quick here while the round finishes. So if you look at this, AG won pistol, right? So you have to look at economy. If you look at second round buy, what's still left in the bank is 8.2, and there's no money sign. But when they had a plant for G2, because if you look at the overview, you had a plant for G2 and a defuse from EG. So that means they go for a stinger buy this round. And that's how they won the stinger buy. 0.2 left versus 1K.
He's doing all right. G2's really in control of this game.
So again, most teams, especially on attack, or it would usually only happen on attack, unless you're playing a composition that has a lot of refresh util, right? Teho, Breach, Sova maybe, Fade to an extent as well, like your initiators.
Spam IC down to 75. Stuns it forwards, flash on top of it, and that is just instinctual. Superman.
But you need those flashes to continue to entry in with the stinger, and it's hard to do without a plant. So you won't do it on defense.
Receiving a hell of a lot of pressure coming his way now. Under it.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. It could also. Oh my God, no way.
Got that snake bite drop down to his feet. Superman. He's doing dirty work with that gun in hand. And EG.
He gets 3 kills with a Bucky, bro.
That is pure confidence.
This guy's mini Artazine.
Most players in that spot would be backing off, backpedaling.
Unless though, Titus, you could see a stinger buy if like the team kind of like has a good read of what their opponents will be doing, right? And you're stacking a little bit more, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it when the half is still really close, right? So like I said, like a 7-5, 6-6, 8-4, 9-3. But if it's 10-2 and you lose pistol on defense, you would probably buy, right? Because you're 2-11 at this point.
To take the kill onto Valid. It's a freebie when it happens, but most players wouldn't even be in that spot. So 3-3. The economy be damned.
We can have a look in between maps, because I feel like this is still going to go to Pearl. But in between maps, we can have a look at Sentinels, for example, because Sentinels started doing the G2 stinger buy in their games too. So we could have a look real quick on their second round buys.
Hello, pops your head up, says hello, at least with a shorty, and I don't think you're going to be wanting to contest to events too much.
At the same time, though, Jorg's position is fairly safe. It's not like Icy's going to be jumping up there and actually taking a fight with a shorty. So this engagement may end up revolving around an A Heaven brawl. You see the players and the spike heading over in this direction, so it's going to be a little bit of fake B Heaven pressure, trying to draw people over, which it has kind of done. You see these players over in spawn. Only 2 defending A right now.
The ones defending are still, Rolling Thunder and Salvo soon. Counter ult.
It's going to be Rolling Thunder versus Rolling Thunder, handshaking across the
but they lost Heaven control here, so Nature just has to survive as much as he could. That's it. Flash. They gave him a sight smoke, which is good. But losing the player inside screens was huge.
Taken out. Nade rebounding.
Doesn't give a chance here really for Nature to stay alive because Dragon was able to pitch from elbow after. Somehow the shorty kill in the smoke.
Back and forth. This is EG. They're looking to get lucky.
You know, Cosmic Divide retakes this.
The smoke might be exactly what they needed.
Probably has to come down to Superman's pick here.
More where that came from though.
Yeah, now you save.
G2 is not going to let anything else slip.
You gotta save that.
Full control towards elbow.
Get exits at this point.
Could be staring in dismay. Best he can hope for is a couple of exits.
Post-plan positions, honestly, not that incredible from G2. They didn't have ramp control, didn't have screens control, but it doesn't matter much when Nature is dead.
I don't like that we ulted this to counter. when you're playing soft on a side already, right? You're playing super passive on screens or heaven and one over here. So as soon as he dies in this spot, you lose all of this already, right? So stay back, watch screens. You watch screens from these areas to make sure you don't get pushed. These guys after a plant, they're going to be playing on site elbow or off site anyways, right? So your Rolling Thunder will get way more value coming back from screens. And he had so much time to even give up sight.
Nature is still thinking that he's got them blocked.
Because at this point, I get from his perspective that he's trying to ult to delay so that these guys can rotate fast enough, right? But they've been really good on fundamental trait retakes so far, EG. So you hold this spot, Rolling Thunder this, you get everybody start flooding back from Heaven's side, and you might have a better chance to really fight back from map control or side control.
EG trying to control Heaven, trying to control ramp. It's going to be critical if they want to try and play this one into the retake.
It's always Trent that's ferrying the spike in here, which means that it's kind of tough for him to get back out of the site again. He's forced to play on site.
Locked into the corner here. That's an aftershock that misses though. And that util. It's going to be hurting. Did they expect this one to be fully cleared out? Ooh, could be playing spoiler towards it.
Beautiful crossfire setup.
Crossfire setup all the way through and in for it.
Beautiful crossfire setup.
Shot out of the sky. It's always danger, man.
I think they made some noise too. Yeah, they're already pinging screens.
Trent even managing to get up to his ultimate in the midst of all of this. So G2 handle an anti-eco pretty nice.
Look at him scaling back for distance because they know he has a fucking Bucky. That's why G2 is such a well-oiled machine.
Or not. Oh, yeah, okay, Jonah P.
I mean, that's actually not his wish, right? Jonah P's been given another hold point. And this looks controlled from G2. Arguably more controlled.
Although it also gives Superman a pit.
It's very tempered.
But at the same time, man, it doesn't matter how many rounds G2 get on this half. Look at those legs in the air. It doesn't matter how many rounds that G2 get in this half. What happened on Lotus is still going to stay in my head rent-free.
Yeah.
And I'm just still going to be thinking, okay, does EG still have a chance to run this back with a ridiculous second half? And last time we saw Potter take attack timeout, the adjustments were really good off the back end of it. So she's going to take the first here on split, just before round 9 kicks off.
Teams, Josh, as well. I think that, well, at least
I would assume that Superman pits mid, right?
I think redemption, right?
Superman pits mid, you play soft side B, probably from like balcony to support inside the pit.
Potentially, they have to prove themselves.
So I'd probably play like 0, 2, 3.
They've said it many, many times. For a lot of these players, they're very grateful.
Because what's good about this from the timeout is that you have pit covering middle. You have 2 players that covers this spot, so you can't really get pushed through. You can't get flanked from heaven because you got 3 guys over here, and then you can play Cosmic Divide retake on B if they go for a B side plant.
Who are standing against them.
Yeah, I think for G2 it's a different type of.
I kind of like that for
right?
for a strat.
Knowing that you let an opportunity slip. And
seems like they're still trying to go for this pit, but there's just like way too many players, and they're so soft on A.
A long-term goal that you mess up in the short term, and Josh RT has also been
so they don't have like an opportunity to fight for map control on the extremities, and it's hard to fight middle if you're already going to use a pit here.
Perfect on that it's manifesting even in these really important games.
Decoy. I'm surprised they're not pitting.
Jorgamo placing down that clone to make it feel like there's a little bit of mid pressure even after he's left. So a flash, a clone, everybody grouping up over towards A. Now this keeps these 2 players anchored over here towards B heaven. So 3 players on the B side of the map as G2 exec A. The macro is good here. The calling is great from Valen. Look at his teleport into the middle of that Taeho.
But they're also doing it again with no fucking no spike.
Would have been curtains.
But thankfully they're playing soft, so it still gives a chance here for G to plant. But this is for me not clean.
Retake could be set up nice and pretty here for EG.
Although maybe because of the Armageddon, you don't really cover here or here yet. You kind of don't want to have Valen to die to spike once he TP's in, so I respect it. In hindsight, I respect it. Go in and get information and then come in as a team.
Layering down the fire, layering down that lead. Jorgamo is going to do a lot from this spot, and it's not quite planned for him, and he's got a lot of targets to deal with. Too much to deal with, in fact.
The fight on ramp, not really the problem there. Everybody on G2 collapsing on the site. EG playing that retake style. And that's the adaptation that comes out of the tactical timeout, right? Every other round on the defense, we've seen somebody try to hard anchor, whether it's nature or if they're able to get kind of, you know, icy or somebody into the A site. They normally haven't had the full 5 people alive to be able to util dump and just play retake. And here, massive ultimates expended. G2 now have to make that slight adaptation. Valin has to realize, okay, they're playing off-site A more. That's their adjustment coming out of the tac timeout. So we can save utility and wait for post.
Pit's going to be throwing a wrench into the plans, though, I think.
I mean, to be honest, I think this mid-pressure is mostly just going to be a fake anyway. They'll be content with pushing Supermen out of the pit if they can.
So they're still playing that pit, but they're not playing 0-0-2-3.
It's waves of Yuta being used to try and get him control and space back into the pit.
But it's still fine because you're still hard fighting one extremity and playing soft on the other. So respectable.
Sight set now over towards B. This is a different direction.
You're playing 2-2-0 so that the Rays can help out for pit pressure, and you're playing soft A while still helping B. So still a small variation versus what I had. The reason why I was thinking like a 0-2-3 was the amount of times G2 has been finishing on fucking A site.
That Icy and Derek have not full rotated.
Yeah, looking for a safe spot to stand in here. He's got his own smoke to try and make do with still. TP in through the back now. This is going to be chopping and changing the minds of these EG players. Wondering
Nice
what
shot
is
by
going to be happening next. All the way from the side and ult expended. And only the one for his troubles. Icy is plucked out of the sky at a moment's notice here. Leaves it to Derek.
Miss comms.
1v3 plant. Hold on.
I was going to say he almost had a timing to get 2 guys on hell.
And I was worried for a second, but Trent just snaps to the side.
We didn't get to catch it completely in the middle of the round, but I'm pretty sure that 3K from Leaf was ridiculous. I mean, the opening kill looked absurd. Okay, it just catches Ye completely. Gets the kill onto a flying Icy as well. Just as he gets extinguished by the rocket. 16 and 6.
Yeah, that hurts.
A great map from Leaf. Rebounding.
They didn't have a way to really stall the salvo TP towards backside as well. Like a standard B side execute with the Yoru.
Again, a lot of Yuta Valin. He'll try and get the hell out of there now. That's a lot of presence shown by EG.
But the G2 are kind of on the wrong side of the map to do something fast as a reaction into B, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're still going to go for it.
Very spread out, looking to see if they can take a lot of that space up towards it. That's an off angle of Ye. Was hoping that somebody would
no chamber Ye for that round.
It's the same off angle though that he died on in the previous round. It's exact deja vu. That's how Leaf got the opener previously.
EG want to flood in. They're holding the util out into their hands as a flash and a pop play.
They force that ult though. We'll take that.
Superman's trying to make the most of all of this one, and it leaves it down to Derek once more.
Stinger Armageddon, you know, uses here, but
pay off for them. Derek's gonna have to win a ridiculous 1v3.
Only with the Stinger. Drop down. You'll be hearing this.
What's another Stinger?
And he's paranoid. He's looking for a gun to try and make it that much more winnable. This is G2. Good control overall when they get into these spots.
Winning way more in the post plan, right? They're completely turning the tables, flipping the script on what we saw on Lotus. Their attack half looks super clean, pivoting around the map nicely, and once they get onto the site, they're locking it down. So whether that is what Josh RT talked about, more decisive with the first game plan.
Yeah.
He might have died from the fall damage at that point. I don't think you even needed to shoot him. And a small fist pump. I think it's just a sign of satisfaction. It's kind of weird being this favored in Americas. You can't really overperform. There's nothing to get too excited about. If they win this game, it's just going to be like, yeah, we were expected to do this for G2.
Oh, big ult here.
It's been a hard road between the top team, that top dog.
In a sense, you can only disappoint.
Yeah.
Which is a weird position to be in as a competitor.
Extra level of pressure. It's just going to be laid down onto your shoulders.
And so think about the adjustment in this round that Potter
They're
made
selling.
out of the tag
They're selling tail fake on A. They're gonna fucking your ult into B.
If indeed they go back to A.
And do the good old Jogamo Jonah P fault line. Get me an opening.
Nature still had all of his breach util. It looked a lot better. And a question for the mid.
Yeah, he's gonna try to take down Superman on Heaven here with this ult. So Jonah's waiting for him. How do he meet up?
The spike still pretty heavily committed to B, and Ye on an aggressive angle.
Now he's playing with this fault line to get ready to watch this info here.
Will he get cleared though? That's a question. Oh, he's just spotted
There's
out.
the fault line coming out to heaven.
Jorgamo, Dimensional Drift is going to be calling out most of this here.
Nice, I'm going to get in the stall.
This is EG looking to at least push this one back.
Valen got in front
Wait,
of
he
it.
got
Some
in.
time.
He got behind.
Valen is in front, but listen, Ye is on top of it. Forwards and around.
He saw the clone. Shot the clone.
To be punched up from that angle.
That's unlucky.
It drops down and delivers.
It was a nice little lurk behind by Ye, but then seeing the clone just fucked him
has
up.
to be respected. Back and away.
8-4 half for
Two players
G2
left to
here.
stand here on the side of EG for our final round of this first half. You need a miracle. You need luck. It's not going to be on their side. Leaves it down to IC, making all the noise in the world, and G2 4 to stand as well to put a stop to all of this here. Just an impossibility at this point. IC's done well to avoid most of the util coming his way, but yeah, spotted out and dropped down here. It's an 8-4 finish for G2 here. Familiar scenes.
Let me just have a look real quick at
and in that sense, the narrative also.
Sentinel's last matches.
The same. EG win the pistol and then 2 other kind of rifle rounds. And that's all they're able to manage in the first half. But we saw what they did on Lotus. The run back was ridiculous. Yes, they're not going to be on the defense side. Yes, Ye is not playing Clove. But could they do it again?
So for example, here, if we look at their game versus mibr today. So if we're looking at their overview, they played defense, right? They lost pistol and second round. So we'll look at this one here. Economy second round. They still had 8.6k in pocket, so they didn't buy, so they went full eco. Split game, let's see the overview. This is probably mibr Stinger buy. Nope. They just won with classics on the second round. That's insane. Okay. And then what happens on Diffuse? And in round 14. Round 14, they didn't buy. Interesting from Sentinels. But I know they did buy. They did do the buy. I think it was against Cloud9. Overview, Ascent. This is, they won with full classics because they lost pistol round on defense, so you're not buying Stinger buy.
Between these two teams here, and G2 were hoping that they could drag it over the finish line for map number 2, and earn themselves a spot as well to extend the play all the way.
So yeah, again, I feel like it's just attack side buys off plat on pistol.
They weren't able to play offsite retakes.
Even if you lose it, when attack side of your plat, you get value on buying.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
G2 were in control, but you would have said the same about the first half of Lotus. I think the difference here maybe being that Ye is going to be playing Astra, which does not take anywhere near as many aggressive fights as the Clove did on Lotus.
And he was defining, I mean, listen, that extra element that was needed
to push them over the edge, to win rounds that should never have been winnable. That was Ye in map 1. And you heard, I mean, you heard it from Potter. She was like, yeah, I mean, you just want to get Ye comfortable and let him kill everybody.
Yep. Good game plan.
Maybe he can do it in the clutch here in some post-plant situations. And their post-plants should be incredible with both the pull and the salvos. But my question is, are they even going to be able to get into those kind of spots?
I see no raid boss. They didn't buy him the frenzy.
See the Ye jet, and then suddenly you're back.
You're trying to leverage a lot from
dangerous territory
from nature here to get heaven control.
Both of these teams is going to be about the here and now, one round at a time.
Already used his fault line.
Territory gained early on here. G2 seeding mid control and a ramp.
Drone saw 2. Counter drone, double push on B main though is nice.
Yeah.
Within the first 45 seconds.
And 2 players watch Derek towards heaven, just by the drones of G2.
I mean, this is so good for G2.
Inclination, I think that this is going to be leading over towards A now, with all that space taken, especially with these players.
Everything is indicating and leaning towards a G2 pistol round, because they are closing that gap. They have all this read. This is perfect.
Nature. He's going to fly. Yeah, right here and now. And even a stun as well for the follow-up, just in case there's that safety net granted.
And they'll be too afraid to go back towards mid because they lost all that space already for EG.
The A side, but G2
the double flank's going to hurt
playing
them.
And feeling like they are one step ahead. Deep Smoke is going to be obfuscating a lot, but it's being held in time. And Jonah P
Safety over the shoulder, watching for his teammate. Here's the running, and listen, he's going to be the one doing the gunning. And G2 trying to make their way forwards now
No
into
way.
the side. How have they
Got
done
salvos?
this?
No,
But Derek's left to
13
do it all
seconds.
still into the 1v2. Heroics ordered up. Jorgum already full sticking, full trust in his team.
And Leaf delivers with a 3K. Holds off that attempt at a clutch from EG.
Stinger buy?
I think this round more than any showcased G2's ability to punish certain playstyles. EG are
Stinger buy from EG. They got a plant. Only 2 players stayed alive. You're forcing a buy out of Leaf. Because Leaf is 18 HP left.
Whilst they had vent control, had a ramp control, they just paused.
Stinger
And
buy.
in the meantime, G2 had already pushed out B main.
And I love the outlaw buy though. The outlaw buy to counter the stinger buy is
EG are
Doggymo's
going to
gonna
take a
farm
page
middle.
out of the book of G2 though and force up with stingers.
Joggemo's gonna farm
Can their
mid.
success rate be anything similar?
They just spot that. Just jumping across here. Smoke's going to be recall, hoping that they can bait a few of these EG players out wide into the open.
They need a drone to come out to push
No one biting.
Jaw away here.
Salvos.
Okay, salvos work too.
The stun. Nade's going to be rebounding as well, so open access now, giving up towards vents.
Jogamo has the outlaw, but there's actually only 2 players on EG that have light armor.
Oh my god, wait, Superman made it up.
Superman is.
And the
Oh
timing,
my
wow,
god,
the
he
snap to
digs
the
him and
side,
doesn't kill him.
Just in time.
Regen shield too.
That could have been a deadly mistake to be making, especially against this EG team, looking to try and take the fight straight to them. That's a great
Oh
stun.
my god, what a flick by
Slows down
Trent
the
when you
approach
turn around
here.
and kill him
G2
with the
just playing
Spectre.
this one back ready to defend or flood in, whatever it takes. Still towards screens here, and EG have got access over towards the side at least. Here, forwards into the smoke. Stepping forwards, trying to dominate most of these positions. Nature is hard committed. Stunned to try and reposition here, but he's going to be in the danger spot.
Huge. No,
Potentially.
oh, wait.
Damage
It's not
done,
traded
lining
though.
them up.
Nobody could.
Off
Oh
to
my
the
god.
side, yay! A lot is going to be asked of him.
Oh,
he's
he's so fucked.
paranoid, nearsighted as anything, and the aftershock at his back just seals it up nicely.
There was no trade on Jonah P.
not
He
able
ran
to
out
find the
free
same success with
after
that force.
Jogemo died.
And at this point, G2 should be sailing away with the map. You gotta think.
Change of plans.
EG got the plant and they got 3 kills, so they might even be able to get stingers up or some kind of rough half buy here and make a good go of it in round 15. But it's not going to be anywhere near as powerful as a classic bonus. It's G2, in fact, who are going to be able to take a lot of this light weaponry further forward. It's a bit unlucky there, to be honest with you, on Superman, because I think he caught a great timing onto Trent at A-Ramp. And Ye couldn't get it done at the very end there.
Nice, guys. Let's go.
A bit of relief, perhaps,
Yeah.
in terms of the tone of voice that Trent is using there.
For EG, they realize it's a dampener on the spirits. Working with barely anything.
Stinger no shield for
Coming into round 15
nature.
here with G2.
Interesting that he goes for this buy when he's like
Bucky
behind,
lying
trying
in
to like
wait.
fault line for people. Probably give it to Derek. He bought shields
Smokes
too.
off. It's going to be a lot of util forwards and around.
Maybe second entry, trying to move up
flick
with
of
him, you
wrist.
know?
Does the job there, especially with the decay damage kicking in. Accuracy not really needed with the Bucky in hand. Making a lot of noise in the process here. Stunned up.
Oh, goodness me!
Double kill with 1 slug, bro.
And it's clinical from G2.
That hurts. That hurts.
They're going to be able to take these light weapons forward into the next. Or force up if they want to. You're expecting EG to come into the next round with full armor because they know the Outlaw is there on the other side. So maybe we'll see some of these G2 players discard the Stinger or the Bucky. Or hell, just see if you can make it work like they did in this round. That shot is sublime, and then followed up by a collapse. Monstrous from Leaf.
It's a silly game sometimes.
It certainly is. But isn't that why we love it?
Yep.
25 kills for Leaf.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, after
I mean,
15 rounds.
Scoreboard check, you've been seeing glimpses of it, but like you said, Josh, 25 kills for Leaf. A lot of them against some ecos, don't get me wrong, but
he has over
it's monstrous.
He has over 6 times as many kills as Valen does currently. That's crazy. But I mean, yeah, he's just dominating. And you do get these performances out of Leaf. They were super common at the start of the year. Early part of kickoff, the first 2/3 of kickoff, he was an unkillable machine. He was out there slaughtering people. Looked like he had walls on. But he cooled off slightly and now will still give you a huge map where he dominates every now and then.
Dude, the rumors around the
And he can be the difference maker to
the
just send G2 strolling
Demon One
forwards
and
into the
Rossi
series
kicks.
and onto Pearl.
Both Lev and
right.
Energy
No
are like
better time
struggling
frame
to
for G2.
fucking find good players that
And
not necessarily
but
good
this is
players,
a team
but like
that sometimes
players
people
that
have been
fit
looking
their
at
vision.
Thinking, are they chokers? You know, in last year they missed out on 2 domestic trophies when they certainly were favored to win at least one of them, I would say.
Yeah.
And then after losing in the Bangkok finals, they kind of choked their first appearance at a global as well and bombed out. So I think there has been a bit of scrutiny on this team. And if they lose here, I think that narrative will go crazy. But right now, they're looking in control and composed. And this round is just about how much damage they can do to EG. The weaponry advantage is massively in favor of the attackers. But this orb feels like death is on the other side of it after what Leaf did.
Yeah, he's still got that bucket.
Oh, he's stuck in vent potentially.
And pulled back potentially, I think, by this util. I think there's a pocket for him to play in, yeah. So survived for now, but Vent's control giving up.
Don't tell me he still gets one. He does.
Jump over and step past that threshold.
Yeah.
He meets his
Like I said, this is going to
demise.
Pearl.
G2 up 2 kills already.
What were the bends? I didn't
Desperation
even look.
now is going to be called for, but these EG players step up to the test and the trial once more, but you're going right back into Leaf, running and gunning forwards. Derek, at least with the trade, and they do have open access to that A site.
EG Ben Haven, G2 Ben Fracture,
Just committed here. Push forwards, that's Derek.
EG Ben Icebox,
He had to cross
G2
safely
Ben
with a spike in
Ascent.
hand. It could have been
Interesting.
curtains for the round,
Nobody's
so
playing Ascent
feeling the
against
need to
Evil
expend that
Geniuses.
ult.
Yeah, he's done a really good job trading out onto
Pearl
Jordan and then
remains.
giving information about that player in heaven. A Teo ult, put them into checkmate. So now Valen's got it all to do.
Paranoia. Oh, what a shot!
That is a round from Ye. He only
How
gets
did
2
it?
kills.
I looked away
He's
because I
from
thought
vent,
EG was going to
picking
lose
up
this
that
map or lose that round.
Kill onto Trent as well with Derek's ultimate.
How'd they win that?
Really good map control. And that's the kind of impact you need coming out from Ye. Up at the top of the scoreboard with Icy. But they're going to need a bit
caught
more
jogging
of
him
that.
off guard. That's what happened.
Oh, that's filthy.
That is fast. Oh my.
Now they have done a tiny bit of damage to EG's economy. 1 light armor, 1 bulldog. But Jorg, they had wealth on the side of the defense, and now he's picked up an op. That's going to be looking over towards A main.
The pit in mid on top of it. Large amounts of util from EG looking to see if they can clear out most of that space.
Superman has to be really worried about salvos and a stun at the start of the round.
Forwards to set up the kill.
nice.
Jorgamo.
He's just got so much space over there because
They're just
Superman
shutting down
has to
Superman.
play passively.
Yeah,
Superman, who
Pantomime
against
chance
Loud
like that.
wasn't he like 14-0?
Options are starting to dwindle now.
Hello.
EG, yep, spotting Jonah P. Creeping and crawling off to the corner. Taking up most of that space. This is pressure
Yeah,
by
he's gonna
Derry,
come up
he's
huge
feeling
on
it.
the towards this
Ye
A
could
site
be the
here.
difference maker again.
Sound bait.
Look at what he's
Sound
oh,
bait.
yeah, Derek.
Sound bait. Derek.
That's a huge
Nice
kill.
play.
Bait and switch.
Smart play indeed. Maybe enough for them to wrangle control of another round.
They still have drone, no, they don't have drone anymore, but they do have Boombot.
Stave
So if
off
Icy
map
moves
3
up
a
with
little
them,
bit
any
longer.
Boombots in here? They're gonna cross this pit
My
without
eyes-
Icy.
my
Yeah, I
eyes
was
on
gonna
the
say
mini-map
like
appealed
you gotta
for Ye
fucking
to
go
make a
where
move, but
don't
he's
go
just
through the
kind
pit.
of been tucked in that corner for a while, and instead EG have been putting the pressure on the pit. But I don't
They've
think
double
you're really
pushed
gonna
into
get
main.
Leaf
They
out.
notice it's coming A.
Pressure again. I mean, Derek barely stepping, teetering forwards.
The thing is, like, Jogmo doesn't have a TP anymore.
This one. Jogmo does
So
not
he's gonna have
really
to come
a
up
backup
huge.
strategy. He needs a kill to get his dimensional drift. It all lies in wait, and it all leans on that. An opening kill potentially. See if he can get the hell out of there. Just misses up to the side. There's a flash up and over. Icy drops
Yeah,
him.
now they plant.
Dead in his tracks now. Plant
Trent's
is
too far away
down.
for salvos.
Safe round the corner.
No spam to deny that one.
Double flank puts pressure on Derek. His salvos are back in 5.
And
but
they
he
can't
won't
salvo
have a
because
chance
they're
to use
afraid
them.
to like give up their flank as well.
Right from the corner, Derek twisting and turning, just spots out the 2 players. And what is the reaction? What is the call? G2. They put him
Derek's
in
gotta be
vice
watching
grip.
flank, dude. You already had somebody
blink of
watching
an
heaven
eye.
over here. Small
All
mistake.
the advantages that EG had. Dismissed, scattered.
That's twice.
sent to the
And
wind.
Derek is getting timinged a lot.
And there's a really
This just
nice
makes me remember
adaptation
the
from G2
the
to
Lotus
work
Heaven.
against what EG are going for.
So like
EG's
trust that you're gonna watch that
post-plant
spot.
setup
Keep
is to
watching that
rely
spot.
super
It's your
heavily on the
responsibility.
salvos, on the pull, and that means they need a safe place for Derek, a safe place for Ye. That's not going to be screens or heaven. It's got to be ramp. And so when this flank comes through, you're denying that safe space for the post plant. It's a really simple but nice idea from G2, and it works out perfectly. They're up 12-5, 7 chances here to close things out and send us to Pearl. which will be one hell of a map to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Yay and Icy on double duelist potentially.
Yeah, already had an idea I was going to go to Pearl.
Bit of a ramp take here, called for.
EG would receive a Schlack in here.
Stand to set it up, Walkabout's for leave. Now you're in the danger zone there. Punished for it. Drop down despite the weaker weaponry of some of those EG players, and forwards is called for. Elise with this one stepping up and round to the side. Trent is left on an island. Jorgamo missed his shot, backed himself out and away. Repositions himself into sight now. He wants to try and spell Spoiler out towards him. Yay, my God. Just cracks it open here. EG, round by round, is what it's going to take for them.
And this should have been one of the more difficult rounds to take, because their economy coming into this was pretty rubbish. They had a couple of stingers, managed to make that work in mid. You could argue a little over-aggressive from Leaf, but he was expecting that to be pretty heavy A-ramp take. EG baited him by putting a player into A-ramp, but still having two heavily watching the mid flank. EG already making those adaptations because they know that G2 are looking to push out and get behind them if EG commit to an A exec. So you're seeing cover going out. A real nice evolution, even though they've only managed to pick up 5 rounds, even though they're down 7 in this map. EG are still thinking about, okay, what are G2 trying to accomplish? How can we shut it down?
Yeah.
And that's the mark of a team that's improving, thinking, all throughout the playoff run.
Yeah, still believing, I think, as well, that they can win the map. It's possible to drag it back.
It's very unlikely, but what does that matter to EG?
No.
When has this roster, when has this org ever cared about what's likely?
And expectations that we have coming into series for this squad, it's just a consistent level up.
We're just waiting. This has now become weight room for Pearl chat.
The chances numerous for G2.
It's almost inevitable that at some point G2, either by virtue of ults or a huge round from somebody, be it Leaf, Jorg, Trent, they're gonna get it done. The question is, can EG make it difficult? Can they push them to the brink? Can they maybe find the one universe where they get the comeback?
Flash held. It's a tepid approach here by EG.
They're hoping to catch Superman or Yay as they make the walk forwards. And Potter has talked previously about the strategy on attack being to get an op into Ye's hand.
Trap's going to be triggered here. Yay has to try and put a stop to it as well, to be that dampener, but it's just traded out, evened out, and it's quick getaway. All the way through sewers. Grab the spike and get a run on, but they're going to be going straight into Jorgamo airplane. Bucky, seen this one before. EG already is Icy, delivering death from above. Jorgamo tries his best to do damage of his own.
At least they know that Valen TP'd up there.
The job here, right? He took the fast timing through vent, deleted both of the A-ramp players, and now EG have got themselves into a nice 2v1 with ults to work with as well. Derek's going to be able to get his Teo ult online. I mean, hesitate to say it, but it's almost unlosable for EG.
Valen has had the best map so far.
Make it go. Spots out the first paranoia. Held and let go here with the salvos to try and slow down the approach. Watch for even the showstopper. I mean, listen, whatever it takes. Absolutely anything to try and drag it forwards, one round at a time now. Can critique EG, I think. Maybe say that they could have been a bit more frugal. You know, it's going to take ults really to try and make this map a bit more winnable, but I think that just shows the pressure that's on these players' shoulders.
7 chances down to 5 for G2. That was an eco round. I think they'll be happy that they forced out the showstopper, as you're talking about, Brent. The op was in Ye's hands there, but they've not gone for it again. I'm not even sure that they had the money, actually, to go for it again. On the other side, though, Jorg's picked one up. So he's looking to try to get himself posted on A. Salvos early, so that you can leave the Yoru on this aggressive angle.
Superman's been like mad avoiding A main against Jaw here.
Leave A main and go and help in mid.
Just getting picked every single time, can't even lurk. I mean, that's such a good win con for G2 as well. Because now these guys can just focus to play double initiator while these guys are just holding middle.
Find information on where a player is holding. Reach out into Teo could just gift you a pick.
They're looking for it. Full line. Narrowly avoided.
What an entry by Superman, though.
Wow, okay. Straight in.
Smokes.
Kate flourishing right behind him. He's going to get that open, and now EG looking to try and take control of the rest of this side here. It's ults expended. And G2, they've got some of their own. Valen collecting that kill. Derek, he's not going to be having a chance to really
cause any more impact into this round. Pitch drop down on top of it. EG trying to put a chokehold, a bit of blight now to dampen most of the side. And here's that Armageddon. Ult to the
counter
round.
ults
G2
too.
looking to make the play forward into
back
it.
sight.
Jogging through the back here. And here it is, stunned
Nice
to
trade.
IC, quick with the trade as well.
Nice trades,
like
IC.
flies, bodies toppling on either side.
Where's he?
Get the plant down.
2v2, and time still an important necessity to play around here. As you mentioned, Josh, there's no plan whatsoever, but hunting, lying, the Trent will drag you all the way.
Oh my god. What a double tap.
Point here, somebody on G2 was going to
What a double tap.
the play to seal the deal. And that 2K was crispy at the end. Despite G2's, despite EG's best attempt at making some level of a comeback out of that one, G2 were just too much in control. No run back in the second half possible, like Lotus. And we're going over to Pearl. I think a very, very fitting map to close this one out.
Oh, yeah.
Pearl was the final map for G2 of Bangkok, and they let it slip. Pearl was the final map just recently when G2 played against 100 Thieves, and it looked like they were going to let it slip, and yet they clawed it through in OT. And now Pearl, the decider map here again to define whether or not they go to Toronto, whether or not EG go to Toronto. Couldn't have it any other way.
No. It's been a messy, messy map for them in the past as well. A blight.
You know what I haven't done in a long time, chat? I haven't done a one-up puzzle.
G2 are looking to try and set that
Let me play a
record
2-minute ad
straight as
first.
well. We'll see if they can close this one out. It's a ticket to
We'll make it 3
Toronto.
minutes, chat. We'll make it 3 minutes and we'll be back for the third map. But I'm going to do one-up puzzle while we wait. 7, 8, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 cannot be here. 6 can be here. 6 and 6. 5, 5, 5. 5. 2, 4. Eight. So 8, 8 cannot be here, cannot be here, could be here, and could be here. But the 7 cannot be here, so the 7 is here. So this is 8. This gives me 6, 5, 4, and then 2 1's unsolvable for now. This is 4, 4, 3, right? So we can't solve that yet. So this is guaranteed an 8-6 here and an 8-6 here. 5 cannot be here. Oh wait, 6 could be here still too.
Can Trent, however, have the firepower for 2 of these members? Oh my god! Nature takes care of him, but that's just the start. He's gotten it down to a 1v1.
6-6.
And it's going to map 3. The only way that this one could be decided. G2 manages to get that massive win, 13-7 on Split. But of course, that sets up our final map. It's going to be Pearl. It all boils down to this. Welcome back, everyone. GB alongside Mimi and Ender. And, well, let's talk about Leaf right out of the gate here. I don't want to waste any time because that guy, he's been playing great all series, but in this particular map, Mimi, oh my god, what a performance.
He willed this map 3 out of Evil Geniuses in the first half, having incredible impact on his lurks, finding timings into sights, winning out in every post flank.
Here, this
And then in
1,
the
2.
second half, he's the guy to shore up the map
2,
as
1.
well. This
1.
was an absolute standout individual performance.
I'm not gonna lie, for like 90% of this map, all of G2 is like barely positive, if that, and Leaf's on like a 3.0 KD.
No help.
Literally no help until the last round when Trent comes in with the 2K to finish it off. But like, even going onto the defensive side, this guy was playing like escalation, getting active with the bucket.
You were talking about it in the last pre-match too. He's a guy who's adding a lot into the team, is helping Valen with the leadership.
Is that a 3-8-6?
Popping off in the server too.
Oh my stars.
400 ACS nearly, 3.0 KD. I mean, it's just outstanding from Leaf.
It really is. What more
6 cannot be here.
could you
6,
possibly
6 is
ask
here.
for from your player, man?
For everyone else to step up behind,
That's it. My guy's out here freaking dragging the Jansport across the finish line. He's like, please, someone, you know. But honestly, I give him a ton of respect. Really incredible stuff there. But here's the thing, though. It wasn't just Leaf. He also had some good plans. He had some good executions from G2, which, of course, is what we come to expect from him.
It was interesting, though, because thinking back to the last map, like how much of the planning was actually Leaf giving ideas. But here in this first half, G2's execs into the site were super effective, especially once they got ults online.
Yeah, I really love on this map the way that they play around Jojima and the Yoru. I think they do a great job of finding different TP positions for him to enter onto and combining that really well off the drone, off the missiles, and quite frequently managing to isolate that player as the site anchor, stun missile them, jaw TPs in, he gets the opener. It's so good out of G2.
Yeah, I just am a big fan of watching Jaw path on the Yoru when he has that ult up, even clearing out those tiny little cubbies. You've got the nades going into back site here, threatening with the TP in as well to get this little pinch going on the players coming out from heaven. Just really nice stuff consistently through this first half, which gave G2 the 8-4 lead. Right? That's exactly what they got in the first half of Lotus as well, except this time they were able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and capitalize on it, they most definitely did. I mean, there you can see the track and the success of G2 in the white there, really just showing that once they have that lead, unlike map 1 Ender, they weren't going to let it go.
And contrast the post plants, 8 out of 10 rounds for G2 on Split, where they won a single post plant on their last map of Lotus.
But now we have to turn to EG. They have been on a 4-series win streak. They have looked great. They already took one map off G2, but they are in a tough position now. They got rolled over on Split. But I feel like if the win conditions for EG in playoffs could be summed up, it is Yay and Icy. And we're heading into the one map where EG is playing double duelists with those two on the Yoru and the Jet. No one else is really playing that comp. It is very unique to this 2025 EG team.
6.
Oh boy. Even thinking about this, it is so... Of course it ended like this. It just makes a lot of sense, right? Because in Americas, we just seem to be gifted with storylines all the freaking time. And you're in a situation, Icy, he could potentially take the team that, honestly, the team of scraps, of the leftovers, and they find their way to a Masters event. Or you got G2 going right back to where they were, but this time a little bit more battered and bruised than they were previously.
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm thinking about those key moments that are defining G2's year, right? I talked about the 3 big games for them, right? It was the kickoff finals that they finally won a domestic title. And then it was the finals over in Bangkok where game 5, they head on to Pearl and it slips away. They can't catch a single break for them. That felt horrible for them. And yet now we find themselves going into that same map on a final map. And this is the difference. This one map is the difference between...
Yeah, the amount of times that G2 has to play a third map on Pearl this split, where it means the world, is crazy. The overtime against 100 Thieves, and now having to play this against EG to qualify.
He stuck by EG in 2024 when everyone else left. He made the choice to go to G2. And now his former coach with her brand new team has a chance to eliminate him and eliminate America's best team from a chance to play in the first North American International since they won in LA.
Look, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. If you're just tuning in and watching Valorant for the first time, you think we just made this up. You think that this is a script that we just happen to make up out of thin air. But no, this is what's happening. This is what's at stake. Map 3 is going to decide which team is going to move on to tomorrow's lower final and head to Masters Toronto. Of course, you don't want to miss it. We'll see you in a little bit.
1, 2. Why am I not solving something here? 87654. Yo, robots. It has been a long time. How you been? How you been? I've been well, man. Thanks for dropping by. I have been a little bit MIA for streaming because I've been just traveling and casting, and whenever I have like free time, I'm just chilling with my family. But it's good to always be able to stream and watch some games here and there. What have you been up to? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Must be Salsum right here.
It's all led to here. Pearl is a decider between G2 and EG, all the way to the brink, genuinely, for both of these
I wonder if
teams.
this could go any faster. Let's go playback speed at 2. Oh yeah, we're catching up. We're catching up. Yo, thank you, man. Yeah, I did feel kind of in a zone for the G2 SEN game and also the C9 SEN game. Honestly, the playoff casting we've been doing has been probably the best casting we've done so far, so I'm pretty happy about it for sure.
On Pearl this year. But it doesn't.
But thanks for showing your love, dude. Really appreciate it. It means a lot because it proves to Riv and I that we're heading towards the right direction.
They're for the past. EG, they're forming the future. And it all comes down to a map here on Pearl that drips with history for G2. There are so many moments, even of this year so far, and we're like halfway through, that you can think back, and they've been pivotal to whether or not G2 have won, lost, choked, or fulfilled their destiny.
There's nothing more pivotal than here and now. This round, pistol round for Pearl.
Yeah, the C9 versus SEN game was a map 1 Zekin versus C9. True. Dude, that guy was fucking farming. That guy was farming for sure. Attack side wall from nature, by the way. They're preventing a middle crunch.
Of those thorns within the first 15 seconds.
C's going to be offloaded on top of it as well. This is not a stall. Use delay. Jorgemon. All going to be taken out and triggered nice and early. That was just to give EG that bit of peace of mind. They're already lurking all the way up through.
Big fight for Ye. Gotta win the 1-1. Nice Icy gets both kills on streets. Could get a third one here. Oh my god, that's so nice. Oh, he blinded himself. Icy, man. What big openers coming from this guy. Bro, Icy's so good, man.
Wrapping around from behind. Trent has got it all to do.
Now he delays.
Salvo's into the corner. Nature's wide as anything.
Did so much damage too. Icy's low though. Salvo's already been used. You're pretty much winning this for EG.
Against an Icy and Superman.
Can't lose this.
The discipline in their minds.
That was so nice by Icy. How the hell does he win both fights right there? He's like a fucking amazing pistol player. Why is such a bald egg casting at EG? Doesn't he hate them? Yeah, we don't get to choose what games we cast. But I'm sure that EG has definitely gained some like brownie points after the way they've been playing G2 so far this game or this series and this playoffs, to be honest.
And picks them up another pistol. Now G2 are not going to force this. Even though they could buy like.
Oh, by the way, Titus, if you're here, you see what I mean? G2 lost pistol. It was a 1v2. They're still pistols only because you need that stinger. Sorry, you need that plant. The 300 credits gives you more stars, gives you prowlers, C's, gives you razor thorns, gives you a wall. It's super important to get that 300 credits.
To a degree, flashed up as some support from the rest of his team here, but there it is, lying from the side. Squeeze being placed and put down onto some of these players. G2.
But they are giving Lee from Marshall no armor too. Just trying to pop shot them.
And shut out here of the site.
Which makes sense because, I mean, Jogimo's fucking just got to kill with a pistol, so they could always turn around somehow with just this refreshable util. That's what they were waiting for Trent to get his util back up, and now they could start flooding in. It's got to be smart here on crossfire setups. Ye has to trust his team that's watching his back, so he doesn't have to worry about looking towards our right side. Starting to hurt.
Cheeky shot indeed,
and it's not planted for them. They have suck at least.
Off to the side here, shots need to be hit,
and they're good.
Decent try and a decent effort by G2.
Big kills coming out from Derek too, because he's gonna get closer to ult now.
The one to collect all of those kills and gets a little.
I was watching Sideshow streaming in China games today, and he was molding, and he has to cast I'm sure he's all fucking like getting big clicks for sure.
Quite a bit of damage done. But this is where we get to see.
Bro, respect on Derek using fucking minima.
you a quick rundown of what EG love to do. They're an unusual team on their attack side of Pearl. Almost every other team is going to be taking fast A main control, then going back to mid or back to B. And instead, EG normally are going to opt into taking a bunch of mid control first and then going to deal with the extremities. Yay with the Guardian, though, has his watchful eye over towards a potential push from Jorgen Trent, as they did on their eco round.
Could be in the danger zone. Gonna be worried about the flash play with a haunt over.
EG's bread and butter are these A splits.
This is it. Trent crouched down, ready to pounce at a moment's notice, but the shot just goes wide here. Yay! Finally dealt with. Jorgamo just needs to try and get the hell out of there before the squeeze comes through, and he can hear it. The rumble.
You break the vines before it pops. It just pops. Like, you really can't go in. So it becomes a big fight between Nature and Jaw. Oh, he gets it through smoke. Oh, that's sick. That's a sick pick.
EG finally get themselves active and into this site.
Don doesn't want to give his spot away because he'll get traded right away.
Enough to go for a spam kill here. He doesn't have anybody watching.
I mean, he might wallbang him now because his teammates are closing in. Yeah, I was gonna say.
No one was watching. Or even anticipating the position.
Now they can't even play the Salvo's post spot.
For it, just a jiggle out wide, trying to play the rest of his team all the way.
First fumble from EG could be costly here.
Keeping it going from split there with the form, I should say, Josh. I should say.
Absolutely. I mean, he found his moment perfectly.
To be honest, like if we already had somebody TP or in church and somebody's already playing here, why are we still droning like here and here? Should have droned for a pit,
found
no?
his moment to pounce just as they were escaping from the plant. The form's looking good.
3, 2, 1. Nice! Let's go, Jake!
And Jorg calls that double swing towards the end, and they pounce.
Discipline.
Big fucking flank, big fucking spot from
early A control.
Valen.
And this is where Jorg and Trent have been playing. They've got the read. It's been pretty much the same for the last 3 rounds.
Am I not gonna get my Yay versus Crazy Guy Toronto? Bro, if EG goes, that's like 3 Vietnamese players.
On top of it, so EG.
We got Fat, we got Derek, who's half Viet.
Full control of forward.
We got Nature, who's our honorary Viet because he drops Dumas. Then we got Crazy Guy. Bro, we got a lot of Viets at Masters.
You know, there's still bodies in this area, including Derek. Alt online. And now they leave. Do they keep Icy in this position? No, he actually retreats with the rest of them too. So you're expecting Trent to re-drone out this area at some point. Here it comes, to be able to get all of this information in A main again. They realize there's nobody here, and now they don't need to keep the stack on A. They can just leave Jorgamo posted, and Trent, Jonah P, they can rotate off to either cover mid or B.
They might be going straight into the blend.
Has Derek been to Lancet's franchising?
EG only just getting that wall out.
With 100 Thieves, right?
Luckily, boxes to play around and jump over here with the Armageddon. That's lay it down.
Will Derek bang Asuna?
We'll push forwards for a moment, but it's already faded before. The Pinta could really
Will Derek bang Asuna Stellar? That was Champs, right? 2022? They beat Fnatic on Split. Actually, speak of the devil.
They call for it! Fighting forwards. Keen to try and drop these players before
oh my god, they're doing it.
A go of the plant going down here.
This could be a clean 2v2 right here.
But the flank, Jorgamo is going to be hot on their heels all the way through and around to the side. Dodge him round.
Oh my god, that was such a nice jiggle by Derek. Now you guarantee the round because Superman snuck through. Oh my god, man.
The reposition from Super was perfect. And somehow he found the timing to
He went with the LCQ, 100 Thieves. That was the LCQB for franchising.
Completely.
We have to look back. Let me look back.
Was a bit of a whiff, though. They should have had
where Shroud was on SEN, that was definitely 2022 because I remember. Sorry, Shroud LCQ was 2021 because that was the LCQ who must not be named that was played by COVID.
That should have been around at G2.
And I remember because I was casting that SEN game and I called Mike Tyson online.
They knew it was ending
I'm pretty sure.
The Tejo ult early, missed time.
Was it 2022?
And yet still success.
I'm sure I called the Mike Tyson on LCQ 2021.
Passion there for these EG players, fire in their belly.
Am I trolling?
Stack 4 players to fight B. Sorry, to fight mid, but not an aggressive fight of mid. Just stacking, knowing that.
Oh, you're gonna have to make me check now. I'm checking now.
Make it 5.
Both teams.
They're playing anti-eco. It's okay. We can check. We can check.
There's a tipping point here. Be triggered at a moment's notice, and here it is. The go button is going to be called for here. Hole needs to be contained, but he's EG players, but blind as anything. Can't really see whatsoever. Ramping aside, Nature and Superman. He hit him with the 1-2.
Delayed hit at that, but it does the job.
They clean up, clean
Where's that
house.
LCQ chat?
Those are the rounds
First
that
strike.
EG
I'm already
thrive
down
in,
to first
actually,
strike.
where they bait out a trap play and then just contain. Things got a little funky here. Jonah B, who's jumping around, getting kills all over. But cool and calm, still like the waters. EG, they persevere. Jorgamo's going to pull out this operator, so it looks like he's going to try to
Oh,
take
well,
an
that
aggressive
LCQ
line
was
over towards B.
2022
He's popping
then.
down his teleport before he gets into position. And this is exactly
Wait,
where
how come I
EG
don't even
are
see
heading.
that LCQ?
Drone no.
Am I trolling? Oh, here it is. Last chance,
Get the hell out of
2022.
there early. Doesn't want to be suppressed and caught out onto an island. Icy's forwards though, with that dimensional drift, Cosmic Divide is all going to be laid down, but there's a gap to play in. Straight shot just missed, and a bit of spam into the corner, Jorgamo.
Yeah, you're right. It was 2022.
Off to the side here, is this going to be overzealous?
Wait, so
by Icy?
am I remembering wrong
Right,
with 100
okay,
Thieves at
not
Champs?
really regretting, as I say that G2. They're drawing blood, they're drawing it now. Taking a fast and loose approach all the way through into the site. The plan is already down though, as this is being played.
Yeah, that's at Champs 2022 as well. That's it. So his last game was also at Champs 2022 to play Fnatic, where like in the group stages they beat Fnatic on Pearl.
You called it out, Icy, maybe a tad further forwards than he should have been.
It was like the
Honestly,
map,
he had
where like
backup from nature.
NA was
It
like
a
fucking beating
coordinated
everybody
push
on
from
Pearl
EG,
because
just
they were
masterfully
somehow
dealt
were
with
so good
by
on Pearl.
G2. Both of these teams are super
Yeah, before
happy with their
franchising, yeah.
opponents are the one
Yeah.
driving the tempo forwards. If you try to play fast in
Oh, so you're asking
they
since
can absorb that
franchising?
aggression.
Sorry, I fucking
Sometimes the
misread.
chaos gets the better
So yeah,
end of
since
them.
then no.
And sometimes, like in this
Because
round,
after that event, I
anticipating
think
dealing with
Derek
it perfectly.
got dropped, right?
G2 knock EG down onto an eco round.
Let's go. Let's go.
Didn't he get dropped and started playing for FaZe after?
There's that fire straight back.
Or Rise?
Shoes on the other foot here, but my eyes peeled onto Ye.
Or it was Rise to
Just
100
looking to
Thieves, right?
contain at the start.
Yeah, so
Now,
after he
we
dropped
saw
from 100 Thieves, he's
a
been
game
waiting
against Crew a while back.
for an opportunity in
Went for an updraft play, and they just flashed into art to get info.
and
over
trying to
whether
qualify
anybody
again.
was
So
there.
100 Thieves
And
was
that
his
would have
last
set
game
up
before,
ICE
or
for a
last
double
team before he
peak
joined EG.
on that defender. But alas, no one's home.
So it would be his first land since
Early.
partnership.
Even Jorg revealing his hand, showing that he is here. There's presence, waiting. Gonna be controlled though. Already coming through. That's gonna be up draft and away.
Oh my god, and he TP's out too. Bro,
That backup
talking about
policy
broke
and
his
that
ankles.
plan lying in wait, but
I'm not sure they know that Icy is this deep pushed. Okay, now the Prowler detects it, so he's forced to back up.
It's all over the place.
It is a little.
Armageddon even being committed.
He made it out,
Just to
he made
clear
it
this
out.
space out.
We'll take that for sure.
Causing a bit of a timing.
Wait.
Oh my! It's collapsed onto them with the
What
salvos
happened
in
there?
hand, and Icy barely survives. The
I guess they were
salvos
just getting shot at by
dissipating.
Trent
You
over
have
here too, so
mid-control.
they had to run
It's
to
a
safety, and then
2v4.
Salvos were there.
And Leafs flipped the map.
That's
He's the
unlucky.
defender, and he's now deeper into mid than the attackers are.
30
So,
seconds left.
a weird opportunity for timings and a little bit of info. Those
He's
jumps
probably gonna hear that for sure.
probably heard by Leaf, although maybe not, because the rest of G2 are not reacting, not responding. And Derek is going to have salvos, and he's going to have the tail.
Did he just try?
There's 10 seconds left. G2
He
have
just
gotta
tried to
realize
fucking
that
Euro
nothing's
clone
happening.
into B. That's fucking hilarious.
To grips with
That's
what's
so
happening in the round,
funny.
as you mentioned.
He's doing this in an elimination
It's all
game
about not
chat.
letting it go to waste. Dropping it to the side
Oh
here.
my
That's
god,
a
what a
jump
shot by
away,
Icy.
goes all
Hold
the
on.
way. Icy's there. Jorgamo! Running dead from
Oh
above
my
with the
god.
pellets and a shorty.
Wait,
Vine
well that was a
quick
sick
on the
shot by
clear.
Icy.
So
On
G2
Trent
handle
behind
what
box.
was an incredibly
That's
chaotic
a
round.
great eco. Yo, Silver Clouds, how's it going, man? Long time, long time.
Out of that, but I also lost track of what was happening over towards A main, and there were double salvo kills. Yay! And somebody else ended up running through A main, I think, and then just into the
2v4
salvos.
with a
What was
fucking
that?
what's it?
Not just pick your poison, but they just
A fucking
didn't
frenzy.
realize they were caught in the midst of those cloud bursts, and just didn't realize where the salvos were. Popped out of it, and suddenly, as soon as they could see.
But they almost made it close there for EG. I'll take that as a bonus round, or as an eco. You baited out the Armageddon. You made it a
He's managed to
expensive because you killed 3 players. Look at the money you have left for one of the players. Jonah P has 450, Leaf has 100.
Where he just slowly takes a
Winning this one here would probably put them into like a stinger buy. Or a mix buy. You'll have rifles and stingers, and then you could probably start bringing the econ because knowing G2, they're probably buying those moments where they lose a round like this. If they lose a round like this, they would buy.
Win and go to Toronto. It seems almost incomprehensible that EG would win with him not being the best performing player, because that's exactly how their Pearl has gone basically every other time.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is that he didn't have dash anymore, because he used his dash to try to get Jogamo down over here. So he doesn't have dash to even get back sight, so he's trying to group up with the team.
Save for a spot like this one with the thorns in through the back.
There's counter util from Trent, so you need to tap, avoid, and fight. Nice 1-for-1, big flash. Yo, these are good trades. What a stun. Trent again is activated. Trent is activated this map. This is the playoff Trent. This is playoff Trent again. This is a wrong time for EG to see Trent activate at this moment.
Maybe you could argue a bit of a quiet game.
But again, trades are amazing so far here from both teams.
He was there in the final round of split, but otherwise it was all Leaf. But this is his map. And he stamps his authority upon the game. 4-4 and knocks EG down onto an eco.
Trent's the best player in America? Yeah, 100%. Especially in the clutches.
Rounds like that.
But now, unfortunately, that breaks EG's econ. So now G2 doesn't need to go for that hectic kind of like buy. But they made it close last time here for EG with this type of buy.
More S4 from Ye.
That is so clean.
Timed peak.
If nature hadn't got
Vandal and fucking Sheriff wall bangs him.
Given that hero rifle to him, he goes forward,
drops the gun behind, so it picks up a Phantom.
And now EG
I have
have
two
weapons
weapons.
to play with.
Yo, why are you repeating what I'm saying, Sideshow?
The playoff
I'm the one casting, not you.
You do not want to be opted into that fight, Leaf. Barely.
Yo, what's up, Ty?
Bit of bullet tag there. Could have been.
I don't have anyone, to be honest. I don't have money on either teams because both teams, I fucking love them so much. Like I said earlier on, if you put a gun to my head and tell me whose team's gonna qualify, I would say please shoot me. Because I can't decide.
Getting active, and this is just a strange round entirely. Chance is still here. Two players with rifles in hand. Dash forwards to try and cut this one up, but there's a smoke to obfuscate. Off to the side and into the corner. A bit of spam will do the job there, and Valen steps
great
forwards
openers, but didn't get what they wanted.
Just about delayed. I mean, 35
Wait,
seconds
he heard the flash from spawn, so he knows that one's there.
They realized that
I know Lease is playing pillar, but Spike's on it in his direction.
I mean, Ye, even if he was back to his absolute prime form, I don't see the win condition. The net is tightening. Players all around him, completely surrounded with 15 seconds left and the Spike nowhere near.
Nowhere to run. Not even a chance to really plan at this point as well. There's Leaf. Hyper active in the moment.
That was a super intelligent round from Leaf. The way that he responded after jiggle peeking.
By the way, the amount of EG fans that are in the arena has grown so much.
Take an aggressive position at pillar. He knows that these guys, this is the weak side.
Like what was the game? It was Crew. It was the day that was Crew versus EG, and then after was Sentinels versus G2. And after the Crew EG game, there was actually only half the crowd remained. They wanted to stay more to watch EG than they did to watch Sentinels versus G2. How crazy is that?
He's out there playing other video games and watching your VODs. He knows exactly what you're doing.
SEN 1 versus MIBR.
And there he takes the perfect space over towards B-Long and deletes the weak side.
There are SEN fans who are G2 haters, so equals EG fans? Yeah, maybe.
Now, something else that I do want to point out.
But then you would think they would stay then to start cheering for Sentinels for the game versus G2 after, no?
In their mid default, they're walling art on the attack side. So they're not saving it to watch the flank. They're not saving it for post plant. They're saving it to make sure that G2 can't re-clear through art. And that, I think, is because they're anticipating an anti-strat.
Yeah, maybe. Some fans are actually like that. The crew, they have like Leviathan and Crew and like fucking MIBR jerseys worn one over the other.
I think G2 are just happy getting info on A. Like, A main is so empty of presence. And the way that Trent and Jogamo are playing it, they always know if it's going to end up in an A split. Yeah. Because Trent's going to drone it, Jog's going to get posted on it. This round, Jogamo looking like he wants to take the operator over towards B long. And it's another one of the rounds where EG are actually in that direction. We saw this earlier on as well.
Back end of that timeout here, EG are looking to see if they can stem the bleeding because that's 4 rounds in a row for G2.
The thing is, I don't see how Jog gets value out of this because Icy's going to...
Oh yeah, 100% robots. 100%.
Can he get something done before Icy ults? I mean, Icy's on the opposite side of the map.
They would actually go hard if G2 doesn't qualify. Especially with Sentinels at the grand finals.
Really committed from EG without the assistance of their Yoru. That makes me think it might even be part of a fake.
Not sure where the presence is coming from, but
I think this is going to be a real test of Leaf. It looks like Icy is going to ult over towards A and try to make it feel like an A fake, or try to make it feel like it's really A.
It's just him.
The question is whether Leaf buys it.
It's solo pressure at best.
And to be honest, the gate crash has just disappeared, so Icy's missed his timing.
Yeah. Can't regroup with the rest of the team. I think Leaf is fully aware. Look, no one from G2 is really budging from this position. They know.
Yeah, they're going to start using the ult to execute towards B.
Yeah, and that's the Leaf game sense again.
Sentinel Drift to try and clear through here. The trouble is this is going to be running dry ever so slightly, but he's got a TP to try and back in the way. He's going to try and point out some of these players for the rest of his team to try and take it. Steel guard and forwards. Jogamo goes for it.
Well, you got some good info with that ult. Great distance with it.
Indicators, yeah.
Pod got so much info though on the side of G2.
EG get themselves into it though. Good
TP out. Now you play around here. Yeah, perfect.
Clears the way most of the way in through the back of the site now.
Now they can play this bunch of util for post plant. I don't know how long until the next salvos.
Sight, and now G2 can focus forwards.
Spam in through the smokes. G2, they need these kills and they need it bad.
Wait, Nature got 2 back through smoke.
Dropping to the side here. The smoke's going to be dissipating. 3v4 playing into the post plan and not expecting Ye to be just so tightly committed into that corner. Valen knows the spot, but listen, it's all
and he killed
just
everybody as well. That's
EG.
huge. Again, we get back to that same scenario. Look at the economy on Valen and Jonah P. They're going to have to go for a rifle stinger buy.
And that's how EG need to be playing these post plants. Get back, get far away
How
from
big do you think Ye's defense up will be for EG?
Salvos, pull, spam to be able to work with. It's fine if Ye
plays
a bit of an aggressive angle.
Probably huge.
But Nature picks up 2, spraying down 2 players that were miles away
I would expect Ye to just shut down an area.
Let's go, baby.
Hyping up Ye, who is at the bottom of the scoreboard right now.
I would probably see Ye Icy on this side and Icy TP towards B or vice versa, you know? You'll still put both duelists together, and then once they actually anchor up a side, then they'll just leave Ye.
And lying in wait, it's almost rinse and repeat. Finding the kills, Jorgamo's
oh my god, what a flash. What, did they throw the flash
Who
above?
will be the new challenger to step up to Ye?
How did that fully blind Jogamo?
Send your best. He's in form.
And remember, we talked about the buy that we have, those Stinger
G2
rifles.
Again with a great read that EG like defaulting over here.
But listen, they're already holding for all of this space, man. Doesn't matter.
They're so good.
It's just 1 by 1. They weren't willing to be patient and allow EG to be the one stepping forward.
How'd that flash hit Jogamo though?
They forced the fight.
Did Icy throw the flash above the wall? Like what happened?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty serious mistake there. And it means that EG, they take the lead in this half. And Jorg,
they lose in half. True.
Valen, he's down to 100 credits.
We'll have to see what they do on defense for sure, because that was the question.
So bad heading into the next round for those 3 players. Trent, he needs to keep this rifle just so that he can drop one of them.
Yeah, he does. EG already going hunting.
Yeah, he's got full util too.
EG though do tend to be slow in
and armor. So next round, like what? This is 1 round that they lose. It's 1900.
That player.
Actually, no, they'll lose 2 rounds. So that's 2400.
He could updraft to check art.
That puts you at 3.
But it doesn't look like he's going to go for it.
8, 50. So you cannot buy a knot for Jogamo. So you're going to buy a rifle.
Desperate for it. He's going to try and hold on for as long as he possibly can.
And he is going to keep it.
Yeah, being swarmed, but it's going to be slow going, I think, for EG. Seconds dwindling down. The wire there. It does keep the gun in the end.
Leaf,
yeah, let me see if they show that flash.
They're trying to force the fight through the crack.
Where'd that flash come from?
4 players stacked at double doors, waiting for the fight to come, and it was so close.
Where'd that flash come from? I don't know.
Contact early. I think EG would have committed. And G2 are going to take a tactical timeout here. There's only 1 round left in the half, but Josh RT.
Josh is starting to feel it, dude. He's starting to feel the fucking PTSD of Pearl. Fuck. I feel so bad for Josh.
Yeah, because the economy, it is dire.
It's all over the place.
Trent should be able to drop one, so they might only be coming into this with 1 bad weapon, but more likely 2. And I think, credit to EG, this has been a closer first half than we saw on either Lotus or Split. They still won the first pistol though. They've won the first pistol on all 3
Chat,
maps,
remember how crazy this storyline is, by the way. G2 ascends and are like one of the best teams in the world right now. But because of the rule sets around Ascension, if they're not making it to champs, they're going to relegation.
I think into some of the carnage that EG opt into, especially when it gets dire. I mean, we've had some messy situations.
How crazy is that?
But for EG to be up
I don't think they would lose Ascension or whatever. I don't even know how it works, to be honest with you.
Look at this. The outlaw purchase from Ye.
That's a different story in itself. I have no idea how the fuck they're going to do Ascension.
Only one light armor.
Because
So
Ascension
G2
brings you 2 teams from NA, 2 teams from LATAM, 2 teams from Brazil. So if one of these teams, like 2G most likely will get relegated, and then fucking G2 comes through. That's 8 teams. You're trying to do an 18 bracket with buys or some shit. I don't even know what they're going to try to do.
An exchange, that's an updraft again. That's so
He
sick.
does that all the time.
Knives in his hand.
And then,
Ye's the
let's say
only player that
G2
I see
somewhat
going
makes
for
it
that
and
in
2G
the
goes down.
modern era.
You're going to have a
And yet he's
17
been
fucking
successful
Ascension
with it
bracket.
twice in
How the fuck do you do that?
recent
I have
history.
no idea how the fuck this works.
Clearance now for EG all the way through, and it's up to these G2 players.
I'm gonna ask for
Risks of their
clarification
own.
once we
Jordan
get
will
like
reposition. He knows that
once
they've
champs is
lost
done.
control
You
of
know?
art. And absolutely everything is called for here.
Oh my god,
Straight
he hit him for
shots,
140 as well.
Barely alive.
G2 really are falling into the trap. The slow attack side defaults from EG are forcing G2 to go and look for information, especially with Trent down. They don't have the drone.
Yeah.
So they have to put their body on the line. They have to go and peek for info.
Unless they do Jonah P with the this.
You run the risk of walking into Ye.
'Cause I think
They're
Josh is
worried
probably
that
still
there
thinking
could
that Jonah
be
P's
people in
playing
A-main.
Breach. They
don't
could
really have
still
util
find
for it.
info.
Jonah P could throw a horn, to be honest. But they need to get a move on re-clearing A main, because all of these G2 defenders are in the wrong
Oh, they just
spot.
found the timing after that flash.
Leaf is under mad pressure on B.
Already. 25 seconds left to play with here. Already dead in most of the util. That's a steel garden.
Oh, he missed a right click.
Right click in hand. His damage done. But Leaf is under scrutiny. It's all about what he can deliver from this
he's
spot. And how
slowed
much
and
time can he
sucked.
buy for the rest of his squad
The
to
wall's
get in?
broken.
The walls, Triad up and away. Cosmic Divide.
he
It's
gets him.
chaos. It's anarchy. And that's why EG
Oh my
thrive
god, that was chaotic.
and look their best. 2 left to stand here for G2. Try and make a play forwards, cross section. Looking like all sorts of weird and wacky business. Step forwards and around. Another kill here and a rifle picked up at least for Balin. Missed his chance and missed his opportunity.
Oh my god, chat.
Here for EG.
What an insane
And I
storyline.
think a really respectable half from them. The later the half went on, the more G2 struggled, actually. Early on, they had a game plan that was working fairly well. Here's that replay. The flash, getting information that there's a player there, though I think they already knew, and the updraft as well. They were looking for that earlier on, and they commit with it there.
Come on. Oh my god, I got the op kill, thank the Lord.
EG can genuinely eliminate G2 here and go to Toronto. They have all the opportunity in the world.
Does Sasha know what he just said? Or is he still in this conspiracy mode? It would be insane, right?
This pistol round upcoming. Heavy emphasis going to be placed by both these teams, of course, because Toronto is on the line. For G2, it was just almost, I mean, expected, anticipated. I think just from the beginning, a lot of people really saying, okay, well, of course they're going to be there. But now they are being pushed to the brink by an
You almost could
team
start building the
that
storyline
has
that
just had an
G2
unlikely
is
resurgence
crumbles under
like nothing
pressure.
we've seen in quite some time. Genuinely,
They've
maybe
done
the
good
most
runs,
recent time
though,
we've seen it was
right?
when
Didn't they
EG
have a
did
good
it
run in Bangkok?
2023, when they went on a run themselves. And that is a scary thing indeed to think about.
The echoes are unmistakable. And yet, G2 have got to dig deep and find it within themselves to be able to live up to their own expectations and the expectations of the fans around
Actually,
them.
G2 was always on
G2
upper
have
bracket
also
run,
only
right?
won
During
one pistol
Bangkok?
round so far. So they really
It would be
need to
nice if
step up
G2
and
wins a
draw this
pistol
one
here.
level
That
at
would mean so
7-7.
much for the team.
Forwards as IC steps up, but that is a heavy Presence going to be waiting for him here. Quick evacuation. That's Superman. Doesn't want to be caught out into the open by it. Good opening kill for G2. And at this point, it's about how you.
Yeah, outside of like losing to EDG, like G2 had a very good run until they got to T1.
Really clean 5v4s on Lotus.
2-0 Liquid, 2-0 Vitality, 2-0 Edward gaming again.
Out of their grasp. They can't afford for mistakes like that. EG have been really good even when they're a player down.
And EG have nobody lying over towards B. Triple push though. Reclearance into mid.
We've got information for when G2 actually exec into B because they still have that wall over there. Nature's going to be providing that info.
Forwards here. There's going to be lineups going up and over. Will you hear the footsteps? The
Yeah,
rival.
pretty insane. Pretty insane turnaround. But it also it probably like.
Now. Wall not even going to be
I don't necessarily think that G2's figured out.
That's G2.
It's just maybe teams know how to trade more precisely against G2. Actually, to be honest, that brings me back. I said this during the cast too for G2 against Sentinels. Sentinels did such a good job shutting down like Jogimo on Waylay on Ascent, for example. Just because you just know that if somebody's gonna dash, the other's gonna follow behind. Once he refracts, very similar to like when he does the dimensional drift, you're gonna try to use util around him. So you just push behind the altar and try to get the players behind the dimensional drift.
Even if they'd lost there, that might have been.
So now, like instead of G2, like getting good rounds out of like good gimmicks, now they just have to be a little bit cleaner in their fights, right?
The other side, players to disrupt like Ye, who's picked up the mark.
Because
he hasn't really activated in this map.
Think about it now that the game plan too, like if you're looking at how G2 plays now for today, how many times have Trent played off site when they get plans for G2? Not that many times.
So close.
Because teams just know that Trent is going to try to stay alive behind, so they're just trying to find protocols to not give a chance here for Trent to get into position to get outside of sight. So it's like, in a sense, then G2 is kind of figured out. It's just the team is so good that it almost looks like mistakes from G2 when they lose, you know, because they're at the top.
G2 sensing danger here,
but I think it's just the
a little bit similarly to their pistol round. So maybe that's giving us a hint as to what is strategy on the defense.
Competition is getting tougher for all teams in America right now because of that.
And then playing a B
everybody just kind of like leveled up throughout the year.
I think it's dangerous to play B retake against an.
It would make champs fucking amazing, to be honest.
Post plants are nasty. Yeah. But think back to Lotus. G2 only won 1 out of 7 of the post plants over there. I don't think it's.
I know. I saw Trent in the bathroom. I think it was against the 100 Thieves game. Because it was just like long maps, so I had to go pee, and everybody was fucking peeing. So I was like, "Yo, Trent, you're fucking insane." Like he was like farming against that 100 Thieves game. And he's just like, "Yeah, bro, everybody fucking hates me just because I just stay alive on Teo." It's fun, fucking funny. And then we both washed our hands and dapped each other up. You know what I mean? Fucking.
You're gonna be finding it hard, I think, with this lodge. Most of these
staying hygienic here. Hygienic here.
Angles, thorns, just gonna be ticking down the clock.
Here.
There's a chance there for Ye. Time is going to be ticking. Damage done. Good draw. One shot.
I was going to say that had to be a recall.
Jar with a movement. Sidesteps it. Big reveal into Icy as well. Just trying to push these players out of the position. Superman does drop it, at least with the classic in hand, but instantaneous with the trade. And yeah, that's a shorty seen and watched for. Not quite a flawless, but G2 are happy to
take it. Did the dab click and echo? Of course, we're in the bathroom, dude. That shit fucking echoes like
what does EG's
we're fucking dolphins.
Like now that they can get rifles online. Yay.
We're dolphins in the ocean. Just fucking
economy going for that.
Echolocating our fucking DAP.
But first they've got to deal with the bonus round. And I think it's going to be so crucial to get Ye and Icy into positions where they can rely on their playoff form. They have been so much better in playoffs compared to what we saw from them in the regular season. It's all smiles still from nature. Like the score's 7-7. But this round, I think, is going to tell us a lot.
It's snap crackled for show.
Better footsteps and a bit of util.
Yo, bro. No judgment here, Robats. No judgment here, dude. Whatever floats your boat. Just control yourself. Everything in moderation.
He's out. But Ye doesn't know that.
Even Valen inserted as well. Steadily making their way over.
Ooh, the L-Lock could do a lot of damage
like they
here.
want to set up for a B split. Now, I said earlier that EG, normally the strong side of their B split is going to be through mid. For G2, it's going to be the opposite. Strong side goes through B main. So Jorg, he's going to be looking to give information. Find where the anchor is playing, and that is icy, at least for
right now. I don't like EG's positioning. I don't know what the game plan for them to be able to retake this map or this site once the plant comes through.
Shavos into the back, and that has caught. Icy unaware, revealed up to the side. A spam will do it. Supplements it with most of that
beautiful honk coming up from Jonah P.
There's EG. They'll try and play this one back, but this is an onslaught. Aggression is caught for G2, tempering it at the right times. They don't want to overextend. They don't want to overplay their hands. Jonah P, full stick now in through.
I was going to say, the Outlaw's going to do too much damage, dude.
As that smoke dissipates, these EG players are being picked apart.
Hold on,
maybe
hold on.
someone in Yay can activate.
Hold on.
Finding a few kills
Oh!
Yay comes alive!
Dude, my butt just clenched.
We've been waiting for the Yay round all map. Every other time we've watched him on Pearl, he's turned up. And it took until round 15 in a 3v5.
Bro, you went from unlucky Potter, nice try, to holy shit, EG's cooking.
Weaponry, admittedly, but they still shouldn't have been that clean.
That's insane.
How did these kills all come through almost at the same time? Credit to Superman too, because he managed to pick up a couple. But Yay, super clean and with a lineup on Leaf and Trent.
I hit that voice crack, bro.
You're allowed to in those kind of big moments. Potter can't believe it. That's the same kind of facial expression that she was making on Lotus.
Esports 2022 Player of the Year.
Starts doing it again. Well, EG might be booking their tickets.
One of the most unlikely of scenarios here.
Oh wait, the drone didn't see the left side.
Their power to make sure that is not the case.
If they pull it off, I mean, it's got to rank highly as one of the most ridiculous runs we've seen in Americas.
Absolutely.
Along with EG 2023, you know, Crew on the ridiculous LCQ run. This is a run for the ages if EG can pull it off.
Yay. Bit of pressure there with
Oh man, they're gonna get so fucked here on side. They have no stall util. Yeah, Derek with stun, but they're getting pinched in. They gotta work together. No, they should have fucking crunched back to Art, take control of that. Alright, it works. It works still.
Reinforcements arriving, and now less of a worry now for that Art control. There's 48 seconds left.
Okay, here's a TP.
TP spotted.
Nice, they shot it, which is perfect.
No chances to be taken.
Last bit of pivot towards this side.
But they haven't broken any of this util.
No, it doesn't look like a good.
They broke the wall too, so that's why we're gonna go back here.
Tons of Vice utility already implanted on the
The thing is, you're gonna jump spot for nature if it doesn't get. Oh no, he TP'd out.
And there's so little time on the clock.
Wait, he TP'd out.
How did they get it done?
I guess the only advantage for G2 is that it's only nature home.
You gotta pull out the fucking
stronghold setup.
Pull that shit up. Break the vines, break the vines. Let's go. That's it.
Delaying most of this one here. There's only 13 seconds left on the plan. Needs to go down. It needs to be spotless. They haven't cleared back halls yet.
Big flash. I didn't kill him.
Kills are gonna be
wait, Salvos.
5 seconds left.
Oh my god. Oh, they killed him.
And his kills claimed. Dropping players
They killed him.
like
They killed him.
flies. The round is won out by EG. They realize it. They know it.
That
Bro,
utility forcing Trent to
I was
plant
like,
out
dude,
in the open.
fucking icy TP, and I was like, oh no, these guys are fucked.
He was doomed. And with every round
With icy TPing,
here,
yo, nature, like he did whatever he could. The razor vines and a flash was huge. And the run out from Fat. Fucking
attempt at a grand finals,
Let's go, Fat.
Another chance at a global trophy. G2 are going to take a tactical timeout.
Let's go.
Josh RT forced to intercede on G2's
Oh my god,
behalf.
this is insane.
Their economy is pretty tragic, but it looks like, from what we can see,
He just said
Josh
fucking
is telling them
push.
to force up.
Josh
And
RT
giving them a
is
specific
pissed
strat,
that
because
G2 is
are going
playing
for it,
scared.
bulldogs, stingers, that kind of stuff. And on the other side, EG should be thinking
I'm feeling
that
for
they'll
Josh so
set up
bad,
pretty
so
to
much.
extend the lead to 3. I mean,
Again,
Potter's
like I
gotta
said,
be giving them
this is
some
heartbreaking
slight
for
tweaks,
either
but
team that
otherwise,
makes it through.
What's been working has been working.
And this is a gambit by G2, by Josh RT to be opting into this, I think, as well, the full force. When you're already, listen, only just 2 rounds down for G2, but that's a massive difference when you get this late into a series.
I would feel so bad for either team. Whoever loses this one is
the midway portion of your careers.
Yeah, I absolutely agree
Hurts
with
my
that.
heart.
This is going to be one of the defining matches for G2. And you know what? If they win it, if they make Toronto, maybe people will forget about it. Maybe people won't remember G2 squeaking past EG. But if they don't, it will be defining for this year because it'll mean they miss out on an entire global event, another opportunity at going for a trophy, and that's what this team was aiming for right from the beginning of
Yo,
the
what's up, Madria? The match tomorrow qualifies for WEC. Oh, World Esports? World Esports Cup? Yeah, that's cool. I don't really care for it, though. I don't think I'll be watching that game.
No one really wanted second chances offered
Or
up,
that event.
chance to play in Tier 1. These EG players are hungry to prove absolutely everyone.
I think I'm going
wrong.
to take a good advantage of, like, having a good 2-week vacation and just chill with my family.
Hero buy, and that's Jorgon. The rest will still be able to get a buy together in round 18, so it's not as dangerous as it looks. It's not as big of a gamble that Josh RT has called. They're defaulting, getting rid of the Vice Wall over towards Art early on. And it looks like this time maybe they'll commit to the A split. Haven't run too many of these. The drone over towards B is going to keep...
Yeah, the single elimination is kind of like format Gamers 8 or something like that they've done in the past in Counter-Strike.
Do you turn up the heat? Do you try and apply that pressure? Here it is coming from the side and round and wide to pull to try and offset most of this one here. But
oh, that's a huge haunt again by Jonah P, dude. Jonah P util once again is just saving fucking G2. Like how they're fighting with no disrespect after this timeout.
G2 are able to get themselves into the post.
Like Josh is drilling it into them.
They're waiting for the ult. Are they ready to fight? They're going for it with the fade ult.
Yes, Nightfall primed and ready. He's going to be cutting away absolutely everything. Sound cues down and out and around. But nothing else to really step past this one as a threshold of their own making. But lying in wait, just seeking to delay and deny this chance here for them. Star. Valen looking to dominate and take control.
Huge.
Of the round itself.
Huge round by G2.
What a call to make. What a play to make overall. G2. Not done yet.
Not punished for going for that hero buy on that single player. They're now going to have the economy to go forwards. What a pivotal round that was.
Oh, is it only 3 days?
Now knock the economy down of EG. Ultimates are going to start to get online for G2.
Even if it's only 3 days, I'm not going to watch it.
Maximizing bad
I just don't want to support it.
The reactive push through Art was perfect. Leaf hits a shot with the Sheriff. Valen always playing inside the smokes. And it's writ across Icy's face. Their opportunity
I want to support people as much as I could, and then take the opportunity to have a vacation in the summertime. Why'd G2 try now?
If only they keep that belief and the proactivity.
Yay. Very aggressive. Dash is primed. Putting out the drone. Doesn't even use the dash to get the hell out of there. He's still staying around.
And even if they hadn't used that double initiator utility to clear, they still had a Vice Flash. So they could be pretty confident right now. There is nobody in mid. But that just means...
Are they going to triple clear A main?
Might have gone a walkabout somewhere else, and you can see he is. He's getting set up over on A main this time.
Bro, Icy, give me like fucking 4 Bucky kills right here.
Set up for a bit of a trap play.
This will be insane. He's going to get spotted by another fucking Prowler right over here. But can he get more kills behind the Prowlers?
Icy is going to try and drop this one down and shut it down entirely. Just a Bucky in hand, he barely gets away scot-free. Armageddon is going to be creating some carnage now. Slicing up most of the site. There's a timing to be getting all the way back in.
Oh, they know it's going A. He doesn't have salvos to hold. But the A main over here.
Bit of a swindle on them. All the way though. Icy is all in.
And that's fucking Superman.
Control is going to be critical. Superman's going to lock this one down. Time of the essence once more.
They have to clear A main.
And G2, they need that extremity control. Leaf, yes, you found it. Consolation prize indeed, but Superman reveals his hand. Drops off control of this one. G2 are the ones that are going to
huge.
The heat.
Huge kill.
Manage it in time. There's no cleanup.
Oh my god. They're backstabbing everybody on pistols. Okay, it's okay. Trent and Leaf are alive. They're going to win this.
1v2 now. 1v1. Icy.
At first, it was looking crazy there for G2, and I was like, wait, Trent's still alive.
Ridiculous from Trent. Leaf was miles away. It really was the 1v2, 1v3 on the.
All right, sounds good, robots. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. It's been a while, dude.
Got stuck on the B
Happy to see you again.
Completely out of the fight. And Trent did it all in an uncomfortable spot. Manages to find the pick onto Superman and turn around, deal with the flash, and clean up Icy. Monumental. G2
Trent's fucking locked in.
To ask the question of could Leaf deal with that? Okay. Navigated, but that was just an eco for EG. Now we get to see them with rifles and ops.
Oh, dude, yeah, with an op. That's what we were asking for before. Was it you, robots? We'll have to see, but you're gone, so we're going to see it for you. Bro, he's got a float op kill? Oh, my God.
Takes a peek, takes a shot. In through the back as well. Icy will be pushed out.
Oh, my God. That's what I was telling chat. Getting both duelists together to control space.
Hasn't been heard rattling around.
Bro, and now they're fucking scared. They're fucking leaving.
I mean, if used at all in the last couple years, it's
They
been
still have
used
wall for info
ironically,
here, so they
sarcastically,
could actually
referring
hold
back to a
this.
peak that most people thought Ye would not return to, and yet this run has really showcased.
Right now,
they've
like
still
it's
got
important
it.
for you to jiggle this
still
because the
can be a
path that you can get
powerhouse
in your weak
that
spot
takes
is
people
this right over
to
here,
podium finishes, perhaps.
right?
Who would have thought this EG team could be on the precipice of making top 3 in
So
Americas?
G2 slowly walking back into
global.
A main for contact
G2
is
stands
actually
in their way,
huge
but it's a 5v3
because you'll be able to
this
get a
round.
plant at
And
least
EG
and
with
waste a
all of the
lot of time
advantages,
because
they're
you still have
playing safe,
3
they're playing
players over here. It'll be
Derek
so
just
late to
spotted.
rotate over. If they get, I was gonna say, if they get a kill on top of that, that's everything.
Steel Guardian's going to be used almost immediately here. G2 taking no chances.
G2 is gonna turn this around. They're gonna win this round.
Super confident, but they've lost Trent, so no salvos in the post plan. They're forced to try to make a play, and this double push.
No.
Remember, I talked about this weakness.
Leaf is gonna find.
I talked about the weakness of this. It now becomes a weakness all the way to spawn because of that kill.
Of course, you've got to take risks for G2. It's a 3v4. You need these kills, and you need them now, and they're going to be finding it. Icy drop down, but that really does reveal the hand. And a whiff. Jonah P can't quite manage the control of this one. That's going to be the pull rattled off nice and early, but they flipped the map entirely. Knives to the side, run into
Oh
the
my
side.
god, he refreshes knives just on time.
Shuts it down, slicing and dicing. 4 kills.
Oh my god, yay.
Diablo.
Oh my god, yay.
And he might be the king of hell, but he is ice
Oh
cold on this
my
stage right
god,
now.
yay.
He's managed to push himself back up to the top of the scoreboard for EG. If you were wondering, when is this guy going to come online? Well, it's rounds like this. He's had 2 of them so far on defense.
That's insane that he got a floated kill.
And this still had a lot of danger in
If we
it.
get a
Whilst
shot
the
of
post-line position
Josh RT,
is not
he's
actually
definitely going to be
great,
livid.
Nature can tuck around on a steel box.
Yeah.
And Leaf was left at
See what I mean?
was not really able to do much. Josh can feel the game slipping away. There's only 1 round in it.
Oh my
But the
god.
momentum, honestly,
The
feels like it's
Econ's
there with
busted
EG.
for G2, man. If EG wins this one, it gives them a chance to get to 12.
G2, I should say.
G2 with a plant will be huge, though, because they'll get a stinger
Jordan
by, and
gets
then
the ult
you'll get a
online.
game again. And that's a huge ult to
G2
get. That's a
normally pretty
huge
good in rounds
ult.
like this. But Jorg can sometimes overheat when the pressure's on in spots with his ultimate.
There's no wall watching this time around.
It's really difficult to get anything done with the op when your opponent.
So he's going to
has a
path
Jordan
around or
ult.
behind this
Crazy.
with the ult.
Who's next? Throwing for the reclearance out through A main. It's going to be the dimensional drift as well. Pushing forwards. Not too much spotting many of these plays whatsoever, but there it is. Revealed here.
Oh my god, how does Superman still get the kill?
He's being challenged.
Before Jogamo still even got behind. Double smokes too. Oh my god, Ye survives. Who is he, Osbos? Is this fucking Osbos? No way, he stuns them both. He stuns them both. He stuns them both. Oh my god, Trent. Oh my god.
Do not doubt them in their spots, and for Trent to do it all now in a 1v2.
Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, no.
Focus in that round for G2 was on taking Ye out of the
Is
fight.
this
They
happening?
spotted him with the prowler, and they were
I'm
so
I'm
focused on
currently
him,
living
they
in
weren't
disbelief,
ready for
chat.
Superman. And then they were so focused on Ye again,
I'm in utter
they weren't ready
disbelief
for
so far.
Derek, who springs around a corner with a 2K. Ye was an incredibly expensive decoy in that round.
Yeah.
But what works, works. And EG on
But
Nico
Superman getting
now
that
have to
first
make
kill
something
while we're
work
still
with
joining
this
for info, that's a small mistake though.
Otherwise, EG are going to have 3
There was a little bit too much antsiness coming in from the art.
opportunities to convert.
Because
and make
Jogamo
it
hasn't
to
cleared that
Toronto.
yet. He hasn't even flashed,
Eliminate the
decoyed, or
tournament
anything for the
favorites,
team
a
to start
that
scaling down
nobody
towards art.
doubted would make it.
This is crazy.
Now pushed to that brink. So much ass of them.
We talked about that stinger buy, right, chat? They didn't have the plant, but they still got stinger buy.
And yet aren't G2 so good at putting themselves in position to make the stingers look broken? If any team could do it with a bad buy like this, it would be G2.
How do you get it
I
done?
can't believe this is happening.
Yes, you have mid-control. Lying in wait, watched for by EG. That's Ye with the operator onto the one side.
You're looking for information, and then you're probably sight smoking. You know, if Valen has 2 smokes, he can pop them either side of that default, and you try to close the gap.
Looking to try and go into this one, a bit of stray spam as well. Trent catching a bullet to the leg there, but alive in time for the plan itself.
Op retake.
He is hyper committed.
You could definitely go for an ult because you know there's a stinger buy.
Space to be called for. G2 want to try and
I would
fight this
risk
one
it.
tooth and nail,
Risk
Derek.
risk
Right
the
back down
razor
here, it's an
vines
exchange and a handshake.
or
Two in
steel
hands,
garden.
that steel garden. Nature lying in wait and lets it loose now.
A pistol in the smoke.
That smoke and timing! Timing barely going his way here, but that's into his face!
He gets a knife kill on Ye!
Knives out!
Another knife kill by fucking
To the side.
Jogamo.
Such a quick response to
What is going on with Jogamo and fucking knives, bro? Ulted.
Pushing them back and away. 9 seconds on salvos for Trent. No stick inside, going to be occurring for now as well, but straight spam has to do it. Superman sticking, straight shot, nice out, running it down.
Oh my God.
Chances in this round. The G2 come out on top. They have plot armor. It's ridiculous.
What is going on?
Jorgamo's been.
I'm trying not to yell chat because my kid's sleeping above me, like in a room above. But how did that happen? Another fucking knife kill, bro.
That's absurd. That is absurd. Vice alt.
I knifed the guy again. I always get a knife kill.
And they've broken the economy of EG.
That's
Porter
insane,
is forced to
dude.
take a tactical timeout. Her last one of the map.
Oh my God, that is fucking insane, guys.
It all looks like EG.
Jogimo is the one that turned it over.
They were about
If
to go
G2
into a
wins this,
situation,
it's
had
all
they
thanks to
converted
Jogimo.
that, where they were up 12-9, 3 chances. They got to convert
Well,
at least one of them,
Jogimo,
surely.
Trent,
Maybe G2
in his third map.
could have clawed it back to OT, but OT would have been guaranteed. And now, no such safety net. G2 are favored to tie up Pearl. And it is tense out there.
This is
How
insane.
have the last 3 games for
Tense?
G2 been this good?
Tense is not out there.
There was going to be an enormous gap between G2 and the rest of the pack in Americas. This, I'm not going to lie. Listen, I'm ride or die Americas, but this was looking like a one-team region a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, it was.
Like 3 weeks ago or something, G2, they had head and shoulders clear of everyone in Americas. And you can argue over whether it's a slump in their form, a step up in everybody else's, but there is no denying that G2 have been putting on ridiculous entertainment in their loss to SEN, the win over 100 Thieves, and now whatever the hell this is going to end up being against EG. I'm sure it doesn't feel good for them.
No, the tension on the stage, man.
It is cinema.
It is cinema that we're watching. But you can cut the tension with a knife that's occurring. EG.
I don't think he uses Armageddon here. I don't know what type of trap play you could have done here at this point. You can't really push them forward into Yay. So you got to save the Armageddon for the next round. Play for the 11-11, keep your money right, gun round. There's enough money from Superman to get Yay not next round too, so that's probably what's happening in a timeout. I think that timeout was to figure out their economy and see what the plan is for the gun round. And how do they leverage Yay to shut down players again with the yacht? Is he already floated up here and gave his position away for this pick? Is he going to get a different spot? Watch him updraft and fucking get a pick in this window.
Heavy emphasis.
How insane would that be?
Work from EG as well. You can see it with the player positioning. Derek is umming and ahhing, but the time gets late here. Doesn't matter that EG have the weaker weaponry. Derek has salvos. He's got an ult.
And the stack is going to be in position.
Salvos, where the hell do you run? Where the hell do you hide? Nowhere to go. Still cut up to the corner here. Icy's feeling like it needs to make a play forwards and around. Jorgamo trying to lay claim to most of the site. Still, there needs to be that clearance, and it is there eventually. Trading, dislodging Icy from that spot.
Rounds like this, you get to see that discipline from G2. They look clinical there.
Here comes chat.
Stack, flushing out every
The biggest swing round of both of these teams' careers. Armageddon still available for Derek. Jogimo has ult. Icy has ult, so they have 2 dimensional drifts, one on each side. I think I saw Nightfall or something else, but there's a lot of ults for this round at 11-11.
If they end up losing here, are going to be looking back at both of those and just feeling sick to their pits of their stomach. Here's
2 cosmic divides too, so ult advantage is for EG right here.
One of these teams to a match
Ye
point.
has the up, got it purchased by Superman. He's watching mid. He's not going to walk out for a pick, but he's posted up. So they played this before. They've played this before.
Similar beginning here from G2. Drone forward to clone on top of it.
Nice. He broke the door. He broke the clone, so they didn't proc up the wall.
Well, the Utopian sent forwards though once more with that Cosmic Divider, aiming to fake it, to try and pull these EG players away, but they're up through mid, still walking around the site. Does anything give this one up? It's already a gate crash all the way through into the back of their spawn as well. Reinforcements can arrive at EG. Jorg is going all the way, he's going a distance right now. Revealed in hand!
Oh, how did they catch Derek, dude? Derek had the fucking Armageddon. Wait, Ye gets an up kill though. Oh no.
EG, we're not to be moved from that feign, from the fake.
No, an overheat.
Wrapping his ray all the way from behind. G2 laying claim and laying siege all the way to the site.
Oh, Ye should have kept going, dude. He just held down instead.
And Jonah P, the lone Canadian that we could even send from Americas to Toronto,
He gets the
Bro,
job
that is
done with
also
the
true.
3K. He's been
That if
quiet in
G2
this
qualifies, we
map,
get Jonah
setting
P
up
in
the rest of
Canada.
his team.
Oh, dude, I don't know who the fuck to root for anymore.
Play in front of the home crowd.
I respect that he wanted the kill, but I would have liked him to keep pushing. He already knew that somebody was there behind the shed. Keep going. If you're going to overheat, just fucking go for it. But Derek dying in spawn, that's going to haunt him. Derek should have gotten that free kill onto Jogimo.
It's nothing.
This could still go OT though, because they still have 2 ults on the side of EG.
And all for just a chance of overtime. G2, they're in the driving seat.
Guardian doesn't get a kill.
First kill claim.
Superman does though.
Back immediately. Superman, quick with the trigger.
A main drone clear. But the thing is, this is false info. If they heard it on this side here, okay, this is a fake. You're gonna finish on this side.
Now droning out A, trying to keep the A
Icy's gonna
players
TP.
anchored to
He
their
has to
spots,
TP.
while the spike makes its way over towards B. A site thus
Oh,
far
his
undefended.
TP's gone.
Crash just expired on B as well. And EG, they're doubled up to defend double doors. There's nobody coming in that direction. G2 may end up here having a free plan and being able to play posts with Trent and Valen. Things all look set up and
Oh my
tidy.
god, this is gonna be a retake play from
to be able to
EG.
make it through.
You see the wall, stars down. It's going to spell it out nice and pretty here. You've got to try and be coordinated here. Triple jump up,
He's too far to get salvos in.
G2. Clone dealt with backside control.
Oh wait,
It's
he's
gonna be
got
theirs,
it.
But Derek has an ult lying in wait. This is Jonah People sticking this one as well. Taking that timing and a bit of damage in the process. Double tap. EG. It's all on the line here. And now
Oh my god, they're
G2
playing
pushing.
long distance with
matters into their
Spectres.
own hands. They realize it. Armageddon. They want to take the fight to him. Don't let EG take the initiative. Don't let them take that space and timing. Blind, out and around. Derek, he needs more than that.
It's over,
Goes
chat.
down without a second
The
thought.
Armageddon pushed these guys away too.
Rapid indeed, but EG have got to do it all. Just
It's
nature
over.
and Superman side by side. Backs against the wall. Shots need to rain supreme. But G2.
Oh, that is so heartbreaking.
A ticket to Toronto. Secured in
That is so heartbreaking for EG, but holy shit.
What grit and determination. So many moments on Pearl.
Oh
where it
my
felt
god, that
like
was an
EG
insane game.
Could have been in control, and yet
Josh
G2
RT has the
denied them,
biggest sigh of relief
turned
there.
their dreams to ashes at every
Oh,
twist
man.
and turn. Round 17, round 21, round 23 as well, all massively pivotal. All went the way of G2.
And heartbreak for these Evil Geniuses players.
Derek's got to feel that too, man.
All down
That
straight
Jogimo
against them.
TP that catches Derek with the knife out,
Nobody
that's
thought
got
that
to
they would
hurt him.
make it to this point. Nobody thought that they would be pushing G2 in a
Because that
series
Armageddon
like
could have been
this.
huge.
They've proved that they are a team to watch in stage 2. But it's a long way before those matches begin. And so we're not
And then
gonna
the
be seeing these faces for a
Armageddon to
while.
push them into
They
the
were
Spectre. I
within
respect that play,
touching distance
where
of
you're just
Toronto.
gambling the ult, right?
But that dream was dashed and denied.
But
by
the call
G2.
from Valen to push into spawn
tournament
was
favourites
insane in that round 24.
through in
But
games
what
now
a good
against
series,
100
dude.
Thieves and EG.
Fucking mad
You would
respect.
not
Mad respect to
believe it if we
EG.
told you that at the start of the stage.
Yeah, and there it is.
Jorg
Oh, I
giving
love it.
respect to his
I love
former
it.
coach. And they were pushed to the brink.
I love
A
it.
sigh of relief on the faces
Oh my god, that's so fucking
of these
heartwarming,
G2
heartwarming
players,
as
but
well.
they have earned their opportunity to
That
make
type
another
of
global
goodbye as they
trophy.
walk away too. That's fucking sick.
I can't imagine what it feels like for those players.
But
And
Jonah
they've got
P,
more
we get a
matches ahead of
Canadian
them in
representative,
Americas,
chat. We get a
domestic
Canadian
trophy to fight
representative.
for.
Absolutely.
But they don't look like the solid favourites that we thought they were gonna be.
But regardless of all of that, the big ticket item was going to Toronto. They get it done. Tenuous was the fashion.
Oh
really.
my
Really
god,
just
what a
pushed all
fucking
the way
series.
to the brink. G2, they bring the best out of
Big
some of these teams, I
respect to
think. Everybody
EG.
wants to
Big
bring their
respect to
A-game
G2. Big
against one of the
congratulations
top
to
teams
G2
in
as well.
Americas. They get their chance really to right some wrongs of the past.
If
G2
anything as well,
squad
chat,
struggling
I had a
against some
conversation with Potter,
They want to try and make it to Toronto. They've made
and
it
like
here
she
and
was
now.
telling me,
They give
if
it a
for
chance as
us
well to see if they can run it all the way
we
back.
lose
See
and we
if
don't
they can
qualify for
lift the
Toronto,
global trophy.
as long as we end up with a good split.
I gotta say, Leaf
And
played
she
an outrageously
and
good game.
EG turn it
He
around
was
from
the
week 3
carry
moving
on
forward.
Split that made sure
And
they
that
won
gives a lot
the
of
second
hope
map of the
into
series.
EG going to
And then
split
he
2.
comes through again with another great
And
performance, drops
they should definitely
21
be proud
kills
for sure for EG.
in this map too. But there's 3 players that are dropping over 20 here for G2. Valen having a massive resurgence in form to come through at the end. but also Trent and Leaf, the players.
Oh, the haunt in there as well. Yo, the util from Jonah P.
For G2 this year.
See how much it means to him.
And Jonah P gets to play in front of a home crowd. Probably the only Canadian player that we'll see representing Canada in Toronto. I think the only other possibility is Koala Noob from Na'Vi. And I don't know if he's going to make it. Listen, I don't want to throw shade, but that's unlikely.
Yeah.
Then again, so was EG, and we saw what almost happened today. What a run.
Oh, what an insane series, chat. What an insane series.
But honestly, it still was a crazy run from EG.
No, it was.
This was a team that was 4th in their group and then ended up 4th in Americas and so close to being 3rd.
And everybody wanted to doubt them for the longest time, even when they're making this run, this stretch in through the lower bracket. They got denied at the final hurdle.
Chat.
Here.
I'm gonna end it early. I'm gonna let you guys watch the interview with somebody else. I'm gonna raid you over to Demon 1. I think it's running a 24-hour stream.
This is an EG
so
heating up, not just at the right time now. They're giving you hope.
So we'll go and support him. Even if my numbers in our little community is nothing to compare to his numbers.
Every single team bringing that A game.
But let's support him. Oh, wait. The settings doesn't allow for us to rate them.
Yay and Icy and their playoffs form, that's going to be a big thing to watch heading into stage 2. Can they keep it up? Does the team continue to improve?
I'm in a stream.
For this long gap that we have before stage 2.
Chat, I'm sending you over to Anders.
And now out, and the focus is on our Toronto teams, of which we know them all.
We all do, of course. And then we're going to send it down on the stage. River standing by for that Verizon post-match.
All right, chat, thank you so much. We're going to call it a night. I'm going to try to go to bed early, too, because I'm going to have a big day with the family tomorrow.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Great cast.
I'm going to take in a church, do a little bit of prayer,
Squad of G2
and chill with the fam. But I appreciate you all for coming back with me to hanging out, because I have been away from streaming for a bit. But every time I come back, there's always a good crew. So thank you so much, friends. Say hi to Anders for me. Congratulate Anders for me as well. And we'll catch you soon.
We're in such
Bye-bye.
a special position to learn from those mistakes, and like we're so grateful for these opportunities. And I'm constantly seeing my players grow.